But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
It's not joyous. Not joyous at all.
Joyous.
It's not joyous.
I love joyous holiday seasons.
I was telling Anthony, why can't we have different holidays every year? It's the same shit. Everyone makes believe it's not, but it's just the same shit every year. It has gotten better because I have kids. But I was driving home yesterday, and the giant fucking red Christmas balls are on 6th Avenue.
Yeah.
The same shitty trees in this lobby. The same fucking Russian asshole is setting up his tree stands for the trees in my neighborhood. It's the same shit.
People love familiarity.
Why?
I don't know.
Why can't we mix it up a little bit?
You look, you go, I remember that from last year.
We have absolutely no creativity as human beings. We just follow fucking tracks and do the same shit.
I don't know.
Sorry. Good morning, everybody.
Kind of happy about Christmas coming up. I got actually Ange and company got my tree up in my house. It's all festive already.
You got a Christmas tree in your house already? What's wrong with you?
You know,
you hate people.
No, I love Christmas. Let me tell you why. Because Ange and Keith, their house is pretty much destroyed. So in order to, feel a little better and get away from her house and stuff, she decorated for Christmas over my house a little early, which is fine.
That certainly makes sense. But do you have the same Christmas decorations every year?
You know what? Inside, I got a few new ones. Outside, completely different than last year.
All right. Now
completely
you're
different
talking.
than 5 years ago. It's a whole new company.
Now you're talking.
They're coming today to finish it up with the cherry pickers and throwing all kinds of shit all over my house, my Catholic house in my Jew neighborhood.
My thing is, though, it feels like the same exact thing year after year after year.
That's pretty much called, what do they call that?
Christmas.
Life. That's right, life.
Well, no. Well, I try to move in different tracks.
Yeah?
That's what I try to do. Sometimes
You're a
instead of
rebel,
taking the
Jews.
exact same fucking, way to Long Island, I'll take a few turns.
Here's some new ones that I got. No, imagine that. That would be terrible.
Nazi Christmas ball.
Swastika Christmas ball.
Well, you did
people out there.
You did ignore my invitation when I did my leap year party. My every fourth leap year party. None of you guys showed up.
That's true. I forgot it was leap year that
It's
year.
amazing. Everybody comes over and we just play that song Jump and we all leap about my house.
That's terrible.
That's a fun party.
Does it seem a little early for this Christmas stuff, though? They're jumping the gun a little bit.
They are,
but
doing a little pre-Thanksgiving shit. You're right.
When we were growing up, you didn't dare put a Christmas thing out until after Thanksgiving. After you saw Santa Claus in the parade, then you're like, oh, okay, now the Christmas season has begun.
Come out.
Now they're like, fuck that. We got to sell some shit. Let's get this party started. So pretty much right after Halloween, you start seeing the hints.
That's it. You start seeing Christmas.
But now
Roosevelt Field.
Travis.
Who are you?
Travis.
Hi, Travis.
Just filling in for Erod.
Hi, Travis.
I was at Roosevelt Field Mall on November 2nd.
Congrats.
Yeah, well, lucky for you. No one else could get there. Sorry.
And they had their Christmas tree up.
They did already.
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just dumb. That's because they want you to buy stuff.
They want more shopping days, right?
Well, if you go to a mall and you see Christmas stuff, around, then you'll buy more. That's the logic there.
I think Thanksgiving has taken kind of a back seat too. Like Thanksgiving's not as big a holiday as it used to be with people. So they move Christmas up a little bit. Thanksgiving kind of is just there.
Thanksgiving's early this year, right?
Is it considered early?
Well, that's why this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Because it's usually a little later in the month.
Yeah.
A little later.
It feels like it should be 1 week after now.
Yeah, it's going to be the 22nd this year, right? Because that's crazy.
I don't mind a little Thanksgiving, too. I get to go over to the family's house. We laugh. We drink some wine. We have some fun.
I went to meditation last night, can't you tell, as I'm out of the box with aggression. And
it brought it to the surface.
And one of the gurus over there.
Guru.
I'll say one of the gurus was wishing us all a happy Thanksgiving, but she was having a tough time with it because, she knows what it really means. How he came over and completely destroyed every Indian that lived on the East Coast. She goes, but, you go to the rest of America, and you certainly still see indigenous people.
Yes.
But you don't see any up and down the East Coast now, do you?
They fucking kicked their asses
Thanksgiving
over that Mississippi.
Thanksgiving meant well. Yeah. For a few days, she said it was a beautiful celebration.
I thought we had the cornucopia and the turkey and stuff, and the pilgrims were shaking hands with the Indians, and we all sat down at tables and ate. That scene is so fake.
But all I want to say is this. I understand what needed to be done, but let's not sugarcoat it. I always hated that growing
I love
up.
things that are sugar coated.
You do.
They're delicious.
Frosted flakes.
Like, look at this beautiful painting of what it
No.
looked like.
That is
The
a
Indians
fucking-
are so grateful. They're kind of, sitting down.
They've copped a squat, much like they do when they eat, and the normal, smart people are sitting at tables.
Right.
And like they're all serving, the white ladies are serving the Indians food.
Right.
And they're like, hey, and they're taking a little bite. And the dog is there barking.
Right.
Urf, urf, our red-skinned friends. Urf, urf.
Yes.
And it's a friendly, festive occasion. The painting says it all.
See?
Look at the white pilgrim woman speaking with the squaw in the background. That's nice.
She's probably
Yeah.
saying, how do you get your vaginal lips so legendarily fat? I've heard they're meatier. And the girl's going, hi.
From Jim Norton the First.
I mean, that might. I don't even think that went down.
No, of course not.
Why can't we teach
Never.
that we had to kick their asses to take over this place because it was a bountiful land?
Needed this shit.
You know what Thanksgiving is? Thanksgiving is like the governor on Walking Dead coming back and telling everybody that something that they were the heroes and they had. That's exactly what it is.
Don't worry, everything's good.
Just get up there, tell a story, everything's going to be fine.
And
Fine.
You think when Christopher Columbus put his head down at night, he felt a little guilt, just a little guilt, going, "Geez, I didn't discover shit."
Fucking explorer
There were-
/ conqueror. You didn't feel guilt. You loved it.
There were millions of people here already. I didn't discover anything.
That's your job. Yeah. Discover. Yeah, I discovered this journey.
Come on.
But he felt like he did for the Queen, though. Like, he felt like he did for Spain or whatever. Europe,
Isabella.
like that. Yeah, he felt like he did his job.
He did his job. They fucking took ships that you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
Might go over the edge.
You just topped in and head off. That's a ballsy ass move. You make it sound like Columbus and his guys come over here, which is different than the Pilgrims. I know. I don't want to hear from people. They just didn't even the same thing.
I know, but it started with Columbus.
Right.
That's all I'm
But-
trying to say.
But it's like
Thank
you
you
don't
very much.
understand. It wasn't like these pussies came over on the goddamn Norwegian cruise liner.
That would have been nice.
And shit.
Why didn't they have one of those?
Know if they were even going to make it. And then when they did, and they find shit, it felt like, hey, I'm entitled to a little piece here. Get your fucking ass a little further west.
And I'm sick of hearing that, there was risk involved because they didn't know if they would go over the edge.
Yeah.
If you see the edge, wouldn't you fucking turn around a little bit?
They did.
Or is it kind of like the top
They
of a
thought the
waterfall
horizon.
where it just
Yep.
starts getting faster and faster and you're not going to be able to turn it
They
around?
thought the horizon was the edge for a while.
I
there.
understand that. but-
Crazy.
But if it was the actual edge, you wouldn't go over the side.
Well, you had warning with the sea monsters right there. So
Oh,
you
okay.
didn't just go over the edge. First, you had to battle the giant squid and octopus.
Gotcha.
And the big Loch Ness monster-looking thing.
And if you got past
And
that,
if you got past that, then you're just falling off the edge anyway. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. They had warnings.
So she unwillingly last night wished us all Thanksgiving, but
boy.
she's uncomfortable with what
Well,
what went on.
Who's comfy with that?
Huh?
Who's comfy with the whole thing?
I'm very comfy about
Genocide.
that
We do
because we wouldn't
understand.
be here.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened before I was alive. Who gives a fuck?
Thanksgiving doesn't bother me as much as Columbus Day, because Thanksgiving, I think, is about more than it is more. We're celebrating. It's become about being thankful for what we are and what we
that's
have.
true.
I don't think necessarily of the history. Whereas with Columbus Day, I feel like they're celebrating something that we probably should at least teach more accurately.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving, I think, is a bigger. Yeah, you're thankful. You get your family. Everybody's stuffing.
You got your turkey.
Your turkey, your
mashed
cranberry
potatoes.
sauce, and 20 legs of lamb.
You don't think the Indians and the Pilgrims actually got along, right? That's just
Maybe
stupid.
like for a second.
No.
What about
I doubt it.
fucking what about Pocahontas and John Smith?
You know what?
They hung. They got some fucking. There's commonality in some fucking pussy.
You know what?
John Smith's like that fat vag-lipped fucking Pocahontas.
Yeah, he saw that bulging, her papoose, he called it.
The name was actually John Smith Norton. Little did they know. He was,
I'm a big fan of the Native American women.
Yeah?
I see
Jimmy
Native
loves
American
them.
in your bio, and I'm like,
like
I'm
that.
in.
You're in. You're
Love
all
it.
in, right?
He likes a
Love
pussy
it.
to look like it's half scalped.
I fucking do. Should look like an injury. It turns me on.
Fucking tomahawk wound.
I'm a big fan of those ladies.
But Thanksgiving right around the corner, certainly.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
That's nice.
I like that it's what they call short week.
Yeah, no kidding. A very short week because I don't even remember doing a show yesterday.
I barely have any recollection of being here yesterday.
I told Anthony we had one of those rare ones where we were both fucking exhausted.
Very hard, those shows. Yeah.
Thank God for Bill Burr.
Bill Burr ruled. Jimmy
Bill
Norton.
helped us out. Yeah, of course.
Great. Yes.
But Jimmy was probably tired, too, from his Dallas trip. You know?
I'm always tired.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I fucking went back to the apartment yesterday and insta-crashed. Boof, out like a light. Woke up occasionally. I woke up to see Travis come in for a little while.
Yeah.
I asked him how his day was. It was very homoerotic. Yeah, it was Jerry and Kramer.
Aw.
He had the fucking... Old man Leland was busting his hump over those reports.
What does Travis take off first, his shirt or his glasses?
Pants, actually. He just walks around with his glasses, shirt, and no pants on.
With his underpants still on, though?
Just sitting on everything to claim it, to mark it with his asshole smell.
Oh, God.
That's how you know Travis's claims time. He puts ass hair on it.
Oh, my God.
Did you guys play Undie Flip together?
No.
No time for Undie Flip?
Yeah, I couldn't get on one side of the bed more, though, when I was just laying in the living room on the pullout watching TV. And then Travis, like, comes over to, I guess, take a seat or something. And I'm just like, this is uncomfortable.
Who's Big
I
Spoon?
didn't say anything. I was Big Spoon.
Wait, you both sat on the same couch watching TV?
Well, I don't
the
have
bed
the
was
couch. The couch is folded out into the bed. And it's just, there's no other chairs in the room. And the TV's in there. So I was way over to one side.
And I'm on the opposite corner.
Sitting on it to watch TV.
How
It got very uncomfortable.
How close did you guys come to making out? Did you have
to
kind of-
making out?
Yeah, did you have that itch? Did you have a little itch?
Nah, a couple of pecks, but
little,
no open mouth.
A little curiosity?
That's slow, like moving really slow from like leaning in towards each other.
Look, I shan't sit for your fantasies, Mr. Ross.
Did Travis crab walk his hand over?
No,
the
Travis,
sheet.
pretty.
We played Are You Nervous?
Are you nervous?
What is that?
You ever played? Yeah, you never played Are You Nervous as a kid?
No.
Oh,
you-
God, no.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, you would like put your hand on someone's knee, say Are you nervous? They say no. Put a
Jimmy
little closer.
laughs at that
Are you
stuff.
nervous? No.
Oh,
Are you nervous?
sure.
Oh,
I
right,
never played that.
right.
Wow, I never heard of that.
I call it Are You Infected?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Travis like finally just gave up and was like, well, I'm going into bed. And he went into the other room.
Right.
Well, yeah, some of us don't just spend the entire day sleeping.
I did. It was great. Sleeping and watching fucking Seinfeld
And slept all day, Travis.
all day.
Apparently, I don't know. I didn't get there till like 8 o'clock, but
Yeah.
bedtime.
It was,
for me.
yeah, and then that was like bedtime. And I was waking up, and then 3 in the morning I wake up. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm awake for like 10 minutes. Back asleep.
Nice.
4 up. 15 minutes. Boom, back asleep.
Are You Nervous sounds like a rapist game. That was invented
yeah.
by a rapist. That's
That
a
is.
rapist vibe.
Just an excuse to get some things done.
Or a guy convincing himself that he wasn't raping a girl, but he really was. Like, are you nervous? She's like, no, I'm okay. Because he's afraid of dying.
Right.
Anyway.
Is anybody watching Boardwalk Empire?
No, I know
Stupid
you
show.
like it.
Oh,
and
it's fucking
I hear it's
unbelievable.
great.
Overrated. Dumb show.
Wow.
Bobby Cannavale is on this year, and his character's
actor.
name is Jip. And I have until yesterday I thought it was Chip. I've been calling him Chip the entire season, and it's fucking GYP. I'm so embarrassed.
No.
It's an awesome show, man. Fucking, I know I said awesome again, but it really is.
I heard it's very good.
Of course
very
it's a
well
good show.
acted, but I have not dipped my toe in it yet.
This guy is an amazing actor. Isn't he a stand-up?
Jimmy Norton, yeah.
Why do I feel like he's a stand-up? You guys all know him in a way. I saw him at a Jets game once.
Yeah,
I saw him.
he was in Chris Rock's
Really
play.
nice guy, man.
He's doing the Pacino play on Broadway. He's a great New York actor, but no, he's not a comic, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But he plays a tremendous sociopath on Boardwalk Empire.
Remember yesterday,
No.
Roland was talking about the best hamburger in New York City. Roland needs a show on this channel.
Yeah.
I went and got the burger.
Was it good?
It was amazing.
He sold it.
I forgot the name of the place already.
Think of the sponsorships he could get, too.
It was
All these
amazing.
places.
It was just a shitty joint that's making the best hamburgers in New York City. He's right. It's called Melons.
Where is it?
J.G. Mellons?
Yeah. I think that's what he said yesterday. It's on the east side. My wife happened to have a doctor's appointment over there, and she goes, I'm getting those burgers. I'm like, let's do it.
Damn.
She brought them home. They were fucking amazing.
Is it JG Mellon?
Something like that.
Did you know?
I think it's on like 74, right? Yeah, 74 and 3rd. Fucking Roland needs a show.
What was so like
The
good
meat.
about him? Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't buy the right meat for hamburgers, I think. Because on the Upper West Side where we live, we can't find a good burger. They're all adequate, but this thing was awesome.
Too much fat or too lean ain't good in a burger.
It was
that perfect combo.
It didn't feel too greasy. First
What
of all,
percent? What percent
of what?
fat to fucking lean?
Oh no, it
in
was
a good burger. Because too lean, they're dry and they stink. Too fat, it's like ugh.
You know what? Dumb answer.
I'm thinking
right in between. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It didn't feel too dry and it didn't feel too greasy. That's the only thing I can tell you.
you need that.
And then they had the round French fries.
Curly fries?
No,
Not
like
curly-
this.
curly
Like
fries?
Fucking quarters.
Oh, right. They
Little-
call them potato
What? What do they call them?
chips. No.
Yeah, I think they are actually.
Yeah, they're like the big, but they're not like
But they're
thin.
meaty.
Yeah.
I was in heaven.
I like
We
those.
loved the fucking burgers.
I like
yesterday.
those.
So Roland's got to do that show more often.
80 lean, 20 fat. Is that a good burger?
80 to 20?
I'm thinking
Sounds about
less.
right.
Thinking 85-15, but go fuck yourself.
85-15. My God.
All the reviews say that the food is really good, but the people there are grumpy.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. My wife was like, there was some just asshole at the bar. And yeah, you could. Yeah, because I think it's a place where people go to drink to or something. She said it was down and dirty, man. Yeah.
The title of this one review says, "Good burgers, not moods."
But who gives a fuck with those happy places? If you're focusing on making your product really good, I don't care.
No burger for you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a fuck. But then again, you can't go the other way where they just throw the food at you and they think that's hilarious.
That's too much.
Well, we talked about that recently. Those dumb places where the whole thing is to treat you like shit.
Yeah, it's their
no,
gimmick.
thank you.
It's their gimmick.
No, thank you.
Sorry, I ain't paying for this. What am I, a fucking cuck?
I saw that they have one of those places in Chicago when we were there, that
Yeah.
Dick's Last Resort, and I was going to go there, and I'm just like, why do I need to go there? I have Twitter.
We should. Yeah, exactly. They should just call it Twitter.
Twitter just getting shit on, right? Assholes giving you shitty information and an attitude.
Yeah.
That's all I need, strangers giving me shit.
Yeah.
I remember a time when you sucked. No one was able to tell you ever.
Yeah.
I missed those days.
Because no one would tell you to your face.
No,
Ever.
Well, they still are a bunch of pussies that
Yeah.
won't tell you to your face.
Exactly.
But there was a time, like, if you hated a radio show, someone on a radio show hated a segment of a radio show,
You had to send a
you just had to
fax.
live with it. No, I'm talking even before
You
that.
tell your friends, like, yeah, that guy sucks.
Right.
But he'd never hear it.
Or you had to get their autograph after and go, "You're dead, fucker." That was instant feedback on talk radio.
Yeah.
We should go to one of those joints and just be assholes back to the staff.
Yeah.
There's something I'm going to say about that. Fuck that. If you take your family and friends to one of those places, you find who the simpletons are in your life. The ones that enjoy some, that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. They threw the water basically at me. Oh, is
did they?
this place a riot?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, they just dropped your dishes on the table, kind of like just
Clang. Yeah.
like a clang. And that's supposed to be wonderful.
And you go, thank you, and then they go, phew, they
Yeah.
just look at you, and you're like, why am I paying for this?
And then what? The shittier the service, the more of a tip you got to give?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Because it's like a show.
Where were we when they had the attitude? Was it Chicago where they were like they were going to send people, but they didn't? They said the place is notorious for the shitty attitude.
Yeah. Chicago.
What was the name of the place?
Danny just said Dick's.
Oh, I didn't catch it. Oh, I think
Dick's
you're
Last
right. Okay.
Resort, right?
Yeah, unless there's I'm sure there's a few places like it, but that's the one I know.
Yeah. We should go to one of those joints and make the waitresses cry. That would be awesome. Oops, did I say awesome again?
We could do it.
That's today's word. Wonderful. Enjoy it. But the burgers were amazing. Amazing. Nothing better than a good hamburger.
Oh, you got to love a
Period.
good burger. Yeah. Oh, Dick's Last Resort. Look out. Oh, they're grumpy.
Watch out.
Even their little logo thing there. Oh, he's grumpy.
Oh, a
Look
grump
out.
face.
Look out.
I think I remember seeing a T-shirt that said, "I got crabs."
Right.
Can we
Who
talk
laughs
about
at
these
that?
restaurants?
Right.
Let's fucking give them a beating. Oh, God, who would wear a shirt like that?
Those are always the worst. Like I remember a few years back, I was down in Key West, and like the big hangout there is Duval Street with all the bars.
Right.
And so like the big shirt is like I got Duval'd on Shit Street or something, or Duval faced on Shit Street. Ugh.
That's wrong.
I got
Shit.
I didn't realize. I thought it was actually Shit Street.
I got an uncle that appreciates T-shirts like that, and he would show up to family functions with really inappropriate T-shirts. You've been a bad girl, go to your room for a spanking.
I swear I didn't know she was 3, something like that.
Oh boy,
He would
just
show
totally
up-
inappropriate.
Oh
shirts.
God, yeah, he would show up at family functions thinking he's like, so cool, and we would just look at him like, "What are you doing? The fuck you doing?"
Yeah, Travis just brought up.
Embarrassing everybody.
You remember those Big Johnson T-shirts right back in the 90s?
the Big Johnson T-shirts?
Yeah, well, I'll try to pull one up here. Where it was just like it would be like
hundreds of them.
Yeah, it would be like a company, like Big Johnson's, like charter fishing. Or
Right.
something.
I don't remember. I don't know if I remember that.
Pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always some stupid Big Johnson pun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there they go.
If you've got the nuts, you got to go all
Yeah,
in.
see, here's Big Johnson's surfboards. It's not how you ride the waves; it's the size of your Johnson.
Oh my God! I swear to you,
you don't remember?
I don't remember these.
Chip
And they were
wears these.
they were big.
They're hilarious.
Those are fucking great because it's like you got a big pecker.
Here's Big Johnson custom cycles. Drop her end, give her 4 strokes, and hop in the saddle.
I swear I don't remember this. Do you remember this?
Who would wear that?
My uncle would.
These were big, and also remember the co-ed naked T-shirts.
Yeah, a lot of co-ed.
I remember
naked.
co-ed.
Oh God!
naked
Yeah,
lacrosse.
those were the 2 big T-shirt
I didn't.
things.
Co-ed
I didn't mind those.
I remember.
I didn't mind those as much. This would be just. Give me a couple more.
Those
of
were
these.
terrible because it was always. It was the first time you saw it was kind of funny, but then it was like, all right, this is a co-
69th annual Big Johnson quarters tournament. Hit the rim and slip it in, you guys.
Oh, my
69th annual. Get it? Your face is by her pussy and her face is by your cock. Right? 69?
It doesn't say that on the T-shirt.
Boy.
but I would imagine so.
I was trying to craft a tweet last night, so I had to look up smelly vaginas, and then I started just reading about smelly vaginas, and I started dry heaving.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get an education?
Well, my tweet, I haven't been able to craft it yet, is like, when you pull an onion off a fucking hamburger and then your fingers smell like onions 3 days later?
Oh, boy.
And then I wanted to compare that to smelly vaginas, but I was trying to come up with some of the terminology and all. But then I blew off my tweet and just started reading about smelly vaginas
that'll
for like
happen.
15 minutes. There is some horrific things that happen to women out there.
Really?
Fuck. They don't know why they have smelly vaginas. Some just have them. Some just have them. Others get them.
Yeah.
And I started fucking gagging. Oh, what? You got another one?
No.
Smelly vaginas?
Well, yeah, because it's like
Well,
it's like having another mouth, but in your pants, and like you have to deal with it and groom it and things.
Well, this one site, I wish I could find it again. They were writing about their experiences. One girl goes, "I could smell my vagina when I have my pants on, so I'm assuming everyone else can."
Wow.
And she needed help. She's like, "What is it?" And I'm just getting fucking
What is it,
turned off.
pH? There's a lot of pH problems. They got to put litmus paper in there, test
Yeah.
it with a pool testing kit.
And she goes, and then if I open my legs, even though my pants are still on, it gets worse. And I'm just like, holy fuck! I just want to write a stupid tweet.
She's walking around in fear, just in utter fear.
You got the site?
no, but I found
It'll grow. Just fucking Google smelly vaginas and start reading. I
hope this is-
You will not eat breakfast this morning.
This is one from Yahoo, and I swear I hope this is. I just pray that this is just trolls and people having fun. I know that your vagina is supposed to have a smell to it, but it smells kind of like cheese to me. I sweat a lot, and I just shaved most of it off down there. Everything else is normal. The discharge isn't thick or smelly. But
That's bad.
See, that's what I was reading last night. At first, it was kind of fun and stupid, and there was some humor to it, like a girl talking about how she could smell her own vagina when her pants are on. I was laughing.
You wanna hear the
But
worst
by
part
the
of
end
this?
of it, I was like, oh my God. It's horrendous.
sorry if this is gross, but I really have no clue what's going on or if it's normal or not. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm almost 17 now, just so you know.
Oh boy.
Please help.
She's got a life of fucking hell in front of her there.
And,
It's not supposed to smell like cheese already.
No.
And of course, because we do this all the time, yes, I had a girl friend that had a smelly vagina, and I finger popped her before Thanksgiving break, and then I had to drive all the way home to Long Island from Geneseo with my hand out the window. There you go. There's the story today.
That's it.
But it
I
works
made
both
it short
ways.
this time. One day I wanna like have E-Rock really find those stories we've told a million times, and just do a montage of us getting into
telling
them.
them.
Or not even telling them,
Or
but
just
getting into it. Yeah.
That's a good
How
idea.
about just the times?
Because then we look at each other and go, "Oh God, this story again. All right, I'll make believe I never heard this one."
In 2005, it was 8:44.
Yeah, right.
And in 07, we got down to 7 and change. Now it's 3 sentences. Smelly pussy drove home.
Did she get an answer, by the way?
Ooh. Yeah, well, yeah, here's one. Let's see.
I'll look up the site that I was looking at, just so.
There's the answer
If
right
you're-
there. Shoot yourself. A cheese box. Throw your pussy in the oven. Make cheese bread.
Smelly.
Wash it out.
It says, if you're wearing panty liners, don't wear the kind with the plastic backing.
Oh.
Your pussy needs to breathe, in so many words.
All right.
Body wash. Do you have it over there? What you were
Body
looking
wash.
Yeah, ehealthforum.com. Women's Conditions Forum, smelly vagina.
at? Health Forum.
This was all so I could craft a dumb tweet. They're like, oh, fuck that. Oh, wait, maybe that wasn't the one.
Uh-oh.
And then I think you have to click on smelly vagina area. Smelly vaginal area.
Wait a sec. I think I got it here.
Wait, I thought.
Smelly vagina, page 1.
Yeah.
Women's Conditions Forum.
Might have been. That's the only one that's highlighted on my Google right now. I think I went to my computer, unfortunately.
Oh, God. This is all.
No, you got to go to the one where they're describing their problems. It's really fucking hilarious.
Dude,
and
listen to
gross
some of
at
the
same
topics.
time. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is awful. Like, after pregnancy. Like, I don't even want to click into that.
No.
Minor yeast infection problem. There's no such thing as a minor yeast infection problem.
Well, unless it's minor.
It's a major yeast infection problem.
Yeah, you either got it or you
don't
don't.
have a major
I
yeast
think.
infection problem, or it's healthy.
I read that differently.
Ew! Fishy after sex.
Oh.
Stabbing pain in my breast. I got a cut on my vagina.
I got a cut on my vagina.
This is awesome.
It does say that. I got a cut on my vagina.
Bad pussy smell. Like there's levels of it. Sweaty or sexy is one thing, but then there's a dirty, like there's a weird, a tart, like that cheesy tart smell, like touching your tongue to a battery, which is really revolting. I don't mind one that smells a little bit from working out or sweaty.
Yeah, normal.
No, but there can be a sexy smell to a woman who's got a clean pussy that's not dirty,
Sure.
but can be sweaty. But then there are the ones that have like a yeast infection, or that's fucking horrid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this it right here? It says, for a while now, I hate saying this.
I wish you could find the one with the pants on, but I don't know.
Well, this one
where
says,
it was.
for a while now, I'm going to say her vagina has been smelling nasty. It's whenever she opens her legs.
Oh, yeah.
She can smell it, so others can, right? Is that the same thing?
I think so, yeah. Where are you?
That's the eHealth Forum one.
Yeah, because I was deep. You know,
I'm too nervous to see a doctor, it says.
I was all in. Start out as, all right, I'm going to try to craft a tweet that maybe a couple people will giggle at. And the next thing you know, I'm 20 minutes later really deep into this.
Elbow
topic.
deep.
Going, wow.
Do you know the girl who gave me crabs when I was younger? I fooled around with, and I'd always kind of been attracted to her. And we were talking on my steps, and I was sitting on my top step, and she was standing 2 steps down.
Oh, boy.
And I could smell her pussy through her jeans from 2 steps. I'll never forget that. I still fucked her after.
Did you love that you could?
No, I did not at all like it. It was disgusting to me.
Yeah.
I still banged her 3 times. She had the crabs twice.
Elmer's glue on your dick.
Oh, dude.
That might be the forum, so read a few more. Go down. What are some of the other problems the ladies are having?
Well, this is one.
I don't know if that was the one. It might be,
Thread.
though.
So I guess everybody's going to be responding to her.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, but then they add their problem to her problem, and then it becomes one really nasty problem by the end of the thread.
People are suggesting that she could have a yeast infection.
Yeah.
This lady
That
says
yeast.
all vaginas have an odor. Some are smelly, some aren't. Everyone is different.
I hate when you pull your dick out. There's that little curdled milk on the bottom. You ever have that though? It's like whatever it is. It's not a sexy like girl cum thing, which can be really hot. It's
Jesus.
It's like awful. Like that's why I don't like to lick a girl after I fuck her. Like I don't like the mixture of the juices.
No, yeah, no, you don't mix the juices.
Be a terrible cuckold. Shower first.
Well, maybe this is something for the back office. Maybe they could get a few of these. I want to read some of these on the air now, but I can't find the exact forum I was on because it was definitely different problems.
Oh, come on. This is fucking
What one? You found another one?
Well, it's just like this lady's just posting here. I too have a smelly vagina. It's just, come on.
I too.
They're empowering themselves.
This was my night.
Yeah, come on. Look at this fucking thing. When I take showers, I scrub pretty hard down there, but it still smells. And then there's a frowny face.
Frowny face. Emoticon.
Now you understand my night as my son is like pulling at me, going, "Come on, let's go play.
No, I need
play
to-
with my guys." I'm like, "No, I'm doing homework for the show,
I
son."
need to study.
When I'm on like a first date with a chick, like that's all. Like I'm not thinking about like what we're gonna do. Is the dinner gonna be good? Where are we gonna go later? What movie should we watch? Does her pussy stink? Does
Wow,
it stink?
really?
And am I gonna be disappointed later?
That's a little
Because
excessive.
no, it's not, because it's a fucking deal
Yeah.
breaker. Like to invest all that time and energy and money, let's face it, and then you get home and then it's just fucking awful tilapia fucking pussy. Fuck that.
I always think that does her pussy stink when I'm watching any woman on the news or in a movie, and at times I'll let it slip out. It's it's really awkward.
But there you go. That's
wow.
It went from hamburgers to the stupid onion smell on my fingers.
That's harsh.
I could craft a tweet with fucking smelly vaginas, and then I gave up because I was deep into smelly vaginas, reading about them last night.
Smelly, I mean, how many characters is that right there? Just smelly
Yeah, it was,
vaginas. That's like 11 or
exactly.
12.
I was trying to come up with what it's called. What
Vaginosis?
vaginosis, right? Bacteria.
Vaginosis.
Bacteria vaginosis, I think.
Yeah, bacterial
I think
vaginosis.
That's what I learned. Yes, I thought there was a fancier name than that.
Yeah, no, that's when there's a fluid buildup. A lot of times it will be caused by yeast or the pH balance being off, and her body will sweat, and that will cause vaginosis.
You're thinking of cunt stank.
Right. Any seepage.
Yeah, seepage. A lot of times the underpants will be ruined.
And then the other thing I thought about yesterday, because I was like I said in this meditation class, anything worse than dry, stale breath when you can smell it on somebody else. I'm not talking about bad breath. That dry, just stale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'll tell you what, I do, and my ex had the greatest name for it. I won't say it on air because it's whatever, but it was just a really brilliant, accurate word. She was the greatest at describing smells.
Really?
Was it?
Yeah.
Did it fit her, what she used to?
She also called it talking breath, which is when someone talks too much and their mouth gets dry. But it just,
Of course,
Shit, man.
of course.
But it just summed it right up.
Wow. Oh,
I got nervous. The stinker
he
came
just
out.
talked out of his ass.
But yeah, that dry, horrible, and some people have it all the time.
Just
like
stale.
always.
It's not necessarily a bad breath. It's just, oh my God. Everyone's doing their stupid breathing, and I'm like, the room was filling up with a dry, stale breath.
Oh, you smell it during meditation?
It was horrendous. Then I had the fluttering eyes again last night, and she was out of her mind going, oh my God, that only happens to people that have grown up in the culture.
What?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
My eyes flutter when I meditate. I guess that's a transfer of energy. I'm feeling a lot of energy. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not going to sit here and make believe I do.
How long is
But every
meditation?
time I tell her my experiences, she freaks out like, oh my God, we got to study you.
Study.
I was, I don't know, like 25 minutes.
No, how long is the class? An hour?
Hour. Kept my eyes. Try to keep your eyes shut for an hour straight while you're awake. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I did last night because she talks and stuff, and there's chanting and just setting up the room. I'm like, all right, I'm closing my eyes right now, and I won't open them for an hour. Try to do that.
Can't do it now.
That was we should try to do it. How long do you think you can last?
What? To shut my eyes?
You'd be paranoid, though, that somebody's doing something.
No, I'd fall asleep. I'm like a cat.
Jimmy, have you seen the pig on the elliptical yet?
Oh, boy.
That wears the I'm gonna sweat more fucking sweatsuit.
No, guy
Like
or
the
girl?
hefty bags, the girl.
No.
I almost pulled out my camera, and I didn't give a fuck if they threw me out of our gym yesterday. She's moaning, huffing, and puffing.
She fat?
Yeah, right next to me. The fuck? You're not the only one in the fucking gym. Moaning. And then huffing and puffing, breathing really hard.
Nice.
What is that about?
I don't know.
Why can't you keep it to yourself? Why do people think that they're the only fucking people alive?
They're working hard, maybe.
You get to a point of being tired. I took a class after Opie and I bumped each other in the gym, and I took a half-hour ab class, and then after that, there's an hour class, but I can only get through a half hour of it, of like jumping around, like doing like football drills,
right?
Cardio. And once I get to a point, I'm so fucking beat up. Like even during the abs, you start going like no, and I didn't care who heard me. Like I don't try to do that.
Is the whole room doing it?
No, a couple people. I was panting so hard. I'm like,
wow, I just can't do that.
I was just so beaten by this fucking exercise. Like I was so
mad at this lady last night, and then she's been at the gym forever. She should quit because she's the exact same size.
Does she punch?
It's the elliptical machine, so she'll go really fast for 30 seconds, screaming and yelling and fucking moaning and huffing and puffing. And these things, because it's New York City, you're on top of each other. There's no room for anything. So you're right next to the fucking person.
Yeah, I don't know her.
And then she'll stop to get her breath again, and then she'll start up again. I wanted to film her so bad. I got to get a hidden camera. I got to fucking do some upskirting. I mean, I got to upskirt.
I saw some woman who
have to film her,
who was heavy, who was punching the fucking speed bag outside, and they said she's there for years. I'm wondering if that's her. Yeah,
I don't know.
And she was fat. I'm like, what is she doing? She's here for years.
I don't know. Yeah. So that was my dumb day yesterday, I guess.
I always see a certain sports guy, and I don't want to say his name because I don't, on our. We watch him a lot. He's a sports announcer, and I always see him at the gym. And I know
I say hi to him. He's a miserable fuck.
He never even said, like, I've seen him.
I want to say, hey, we know the same people. I know who you're talking about. He's one reason why I'm in broadcasting.
Ooh.
Because there was a time I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into sports broadcasting or whatever, and he was one of the guys I looked up to when I was growing up.
WW?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not.
He's a legend.
But I've met him, and he's at shows at the Cellar at times, and he's a great guy. I'm like, why is he? Maybe he just doesn't. Talk
when he's on TV, well, you know what? He's a lot like Regis. Regis works out at our gym too. And
yes.
when Regis is not that fun-loving, going on Letterman, doing the stupid bank commercials guy, he's an asshole, and he's a miserable fuck, in my humble opinion. I've seen him 100 times.
How about you spot me, you spook?
He walks around completely like monotone. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but not much emotion going on in his face. Doesn't talk to anyone. Walks around completely miserable in the neighborhood. And then you see him on TV, and you're like, "That's the same fucking guy. There's no way."
Guy.
And this guy that you're talking about is the same way.
I told you he's bonkos. But I've talked to him in person before, and he was really nice. Like years ago at the Cellar, he came, and we spoke after, and he couldn't have been friendlier. So I'm like, maybe he's just weird at the gym, or maybe he doesn't like to be bothered when he's like. I don't think he recognized me because I wear a hood when I work out, so I didn't take it personally.
I just said hi, and he just made believe I didn't talk. I'm like, really? You're one of those guys? That's just wonderful. He brings his little lunch to the gym too every day. Sits down with his little sandwich bag and his little soda he pulls out.
Really?
I just expect a little more from this guy. He's been around forever.
I love the food there.
Love it.
I eat every day.
Well, he's trying to save a little money, I think.
Really?
Why else would you bring your food?
Dude, I love to sit there and have some nice chicken or some. Is tilapia bad for you?
No.
You mentioned that, Dan. Did you say tilapia before?
Tilapia is a good. That's an all right.
It's
fish.
a good fish, right?
It's all right. I'll eat it.
Is it healthy? I mean,
all fish is healthy unless you got the
swordfish is bad.
The
mercury
in it.
Yeah.
Radiation.
After we had that talk, I was asking the people behind that counter, is tilapia a swordfish? I don't know what it is.
Tilapia swordfish.
I don't know if it's a swordfish.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Looks like a bass.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mole.
I like a good fish.
That's tilapia.
That's tilapia.
It's delicious.
Never knew that.
Vegetable juice. Fucking vegetable juice gives you horrible gas. Dude, you think my gas is bad? You've never seen anything worse than me trying to keep my asshole shut while trying to guide a massage therapist's fingers.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
That's a struggle.
I've had a few very close calls.
Oh, imagine just a hot coming out.
A part of me wants to do it one time and film a hidden camera massage and cut gassers. I want to do that so bad because there's so many times I could.
Shit,
I think that'll be a hilarious video.
fucking hilarious.
That's the best part ever, by the way.
What?
Not the noisy ones.
No.
The one that goes,
The hot ones?
Yeah.
it's just hot.
They cup your balls for a second. Yeah.
You get your ball seat up.
It's not
for
just a smell.
a split second.
The air actually gets a texture to it going into your nostrils. It's terrible. Like fucking smells like a refinery.
Well, everyone knows who we're talking about, but whatever.
Yeah, I just don't want to say where he works out. But he's a pleasant guy when I've spoken to him, so it didn't. Like I said, I didn't take it.
No, I want to just say, hey, man, we know the same guys, and you know, you're one of the reasons why I'm in broadcasting.
If you said
He
hello to
certainly
him,
is one of the reasons why I'm in broadcasting.
if you said, because I'm bad at recognizing people too. If you said, "Hey, man, it's Opie," he would probably stop and go, "Oh, hey, man," and talk to you. I don't know why I had to do my impression of him.
Oh, like what's his name did when you were with me on Columbus Avenue? He was going for the big blow off, and I go, "No, man,
Strahan.
Opie from Opie Nothing." And then Strahan stopped and talked for a minute or two, but he didn't want anything to do with anyone saying hi to him.
Sometimes they just like he's one of those guys now that especially that he's on Kelly.
By the way, I love the guy.
I like him too.
I'm not trashing him.
He fake looks at his phone when he's walking just so people don't bother him because he's probably getting stopped everywhere he goes. 20 people are probably stopping him like, "I love the show, and what about when you had George Clooney on?" And he's like, right.
Oh, right
So,
already.
so these guys act like they're doing. I told you, Kevin Bacon was walking on Columbus Avenue one time holding a cell phone to his head. And I'm like, I bet he's fake talking just so no one bothers him.
And I'm the complete opposite. I'll hang with a fan to the point where they're uncomfortable and want to leave because it doesn't happen as much as it used to. I'll run into one. I run into one a day easy. And sometimes I'm like, I'll give him way too much time. And he's like, "What the fuck, dude? I just wanted to say hi."
Dude, I love the show. Cool. What are you doing now?
Yeah, right.
You busy? Oh my God!
He admitted it. They're not as popular as they used to be. I've been saying this for 7 years, and I finally got the answer. I've been telling you guys. Where do I post this?
That is fucking.
I have
funny.
done that a few times. Though.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what? We already did the picture. I said hi, and I just want to go home now.
Yeah, I'll talk to somebody once in a while. It's a weird. I'm always, and I've said this before, I'm always surprised when we have black fans, even if it's as stand-up. I don't know why I am.
Yeah.
But like, I guess, I was on the road with Kenny, and I was in a Whole Foods, and a black guy came up to me, a young dude in his 20s, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm a really big fan of the show."
Nice.
And I'm
No,
like,
you're
"Thanks."
not. You can't be.
I was like, "Well, two of us would appreciate that."
Yes.
Two
but
out of three is not bad.
I was like, "Thanks," and I don't know why it feels like oh, I'm really happy to know that. I guess because we just don't see as many black fans.
Well, you're hoping that your humor or your dialogue, whatever you're doing,
Translates,
transcends that whole thing
Yeah.
of
All groups.
race.
Yeah.
When women say it too, it's even a little bit more. Like when white guys say it, because I guess that's, I'm not as surprised. But when I hear a black guy or a woman or somebody ethnic, it's like, oh, that's nice.
Right.
I'm glad it doesn't come off that fucking.
Yeah.
Or a Chinese person who doesn't even speak English.
Right.
Kidding, that never happens.
Got me. Got me on that. Why the Groundhog clip? I love that movie.
Just about spending too much time with a stranger, you know.
Oh, Ned
Yeah,
Ryerson?
exactly. Because then that's what Bill Murray does when he flips it on him. And just, I don't know where you're going, but can you call and say?
Yeah, play that.
This is like all of the scenes
right,
spliced
I've
together.
never seen that whole movie.
Are you kidding?
Dude, I've watched part of it and I really liked it, but for whatever reason,
Ned Ryerson was. This is a story I haven't
So good,
told.
Jimmy.
This is a story I haven't told in years, so I'll make it quick. Ned Ryerson was living in our neighborhood for a while because he was doing a Broadway show or a film.
It's just Ned Ryerson.
Yeah.
I
you're just
saw him
calling
walking
Ned
around
Ryerson.
all the time at Columbus Avenue in the 70s, and every time I saw him, I would go, Ned Ryerson.
Oh,
would he
no.
acknowledge it?
He laughed once, and then he fucking was done with it. He was done with it, and I would do it all the fucking time. I would be with people, and I see him come, and I'm like, "That's the guy from Groundhog's Day."
You know how many people must say
Of
that?
course. I'm not saying that I'm an original.
He's so
great.
good, though.
That's
Guy's in so
him
many.
now?
Yeah, he's in a
Ned
ton of stuff.
I've seen
Ryerson.
him in so many things, yeah.
He was in.
He was Sammy Jenkins in Memento.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. That was probably his best role. Another dead bird mystery, huh?
What's that about?
Dead bird's mystery again.
They're just dropping dead.
Again, yeah,
Birds.
we get this every once in a while.
Fucking birds.
Birds.
Enough of the birds.
I'm getting a couple of tweets. Tilapia is a garbage fish. Catch fish farms use them to clean the tanks.
All right.
Tilapia is a bottom feeder, which is why they're cheap. Not the best choice for earring fish, you think I wrote.
Well, I read a good article on fishing a while back, and we've pretty much eaten all the really good fish. So then, like, these places had to get creative. So they started, like, tilapia and dogface fish, it used to be called, but then they named it. They give these fishes romantic names.
Yeah,
so
you don't want to
eat it.
order the dog
Right.
face fish.
And what happened was they got desperate, so they started. These were fish way back in the day. They would just throw back. They had no interest in. But now because we've fished the waters to the point where there's not enough of the good shit around, they now catch the bad shit. They give it a fancy name, and they get a bunch of spices and sauces involved with these fish, and people are eating it.
Looks like a dog face.
Yes.
It's crazy.
But what is that now called? Like Chilean sea bass or something like that?
No, I eat that all the time.
I do too. I don't want it to be dog face.
No, Chilean sea bass. Yeah, that was a fish that no one ate.
It's good.
That shit is righteous.
But it's how they
Love that.
prepare it and stuff.
It's really good. I like Chilean sea bass. I had sea bass last night.
Somebody help me out with this.
It's all prepared the same way.
Tilapia is a shit-eating fish.
Get a trout dog. Have a clamwich.
I can't eat tilapia anymore. I don't want to
No,
garbage
it's
fish.
still good for you.
But you'll have a lobster, right? I mean, it's the same
No,
thing.
it's funny. I did eat a piece of lobster last night. I do not eat lobster.
You ate it last night?
I was at Del Frisco's with a bunch of the comics went out. Noam invited us out to eat, so we went out and had a nice dinner. Saw Bob Kelly for the first time in a month.
How's he looking?
It's good. I mean, same, you know.
Damn, Bobby.
Yeah, I fucking caved in and split a dessert with Bobby and his wife and a few other people.
Boy.
Can't not eat fucking.
Did you lose a hand? Yeah, you're a dessert boy.
I
You
tried.
love
I've been
dessert.
really good, but it's like when there's that many, fucking dumb Keith Robinson is eating bread. You ever eat banana bread pudding?
That's
Man.
Oh,
ridiculous.
fuck, man. I've never had
Good
it.
stuff.
Don't go to Magnolia's.
Oh,
right in
dude.
our neighborhood, you could get the best banana bread pudding ever. Right in our fucking neighborhood. 2 blocks from where you're living.
But it's
3
like
blocks,
you get
whatever
so
it is.
obsessive with like working out, and it's like, you know, I'm fucking, I'm so sick of looking terrible. And then you know, it's like you're like, okay, I'm gonna fucking punish myself for a couple of days because the holidays are coming, so I know I'm gonna eat bad. And then I eat bad, I can't even enjoy it. It's like I feel all I do is go home and pinch my fat. It's like just shut up, enjoy it.
How's your vagina?
I think, dude,
Does it smell?
Stinks. Yes, it's leaking fucking tilapia and lemon butt cake. It's a garbage pussy. That's why those pussies smell. They're bottom feeders.
Okay. Thank you. People are helping me with the fish thing. I hate when we talk about shit that, I don't know, I thought about years ago, and then you got to kind of like get all your info together quickly.
Yeah.
Tilapia was originally an African lake fish.
Damn.
With no real name, and then they give
The
it a
white
nice,
fish brought it over.
but then you give it a name like tilapia. It's like, oh, that sounds good. And then the Patagonian tilefish is now sold as Chilean sea bass.
Oh, okay, tile, but it's not like a fucking
But if you-
dogface fish. I want
Yeah,
a
but
dogface.
dogface fish is another one. I know maybe that somebody help me out with dogface fish. What it's now called. Yeah, but if you saw tilefish on the menu, that doesn't sound.
Oh, maybe that's why. Okay,
that doesn't
Chilean
sound
sea
like
bass
something you would
rules.
order. But Chilean sea bass, that's like, oh, nice.
It's amazing that I'm actually care now. Why do I care? I enjoy the fish.
Right.
It's gutted and cleaned and fucking. What do I think? I'm going to find little fish feet in it.
It's a really bland fish. It's all how it's
God,
prepared.
is that a creepy?
Which one is that?
That's the toothfish.
The
The Patagonian.
tilefish.
No,
It
it, says
says
toothfish.
toothfish.
It was saying toothfish.
Patagonian
Maybe they're different
toothfish.
fish.
Oh, okay. Maybe this guy's got it wrong.
That looks like the fish heads. Fish heads.
Right.
Roly poly fish heads.
Yeah, everyone's saying, oh, you know what? That guy got it wrong. A bunch of people saying it is the Patagonian toothfish.
Wow.
It's
That's
now
lovely.
Chilean sea bass. But you see what I mean? They had to change the name so you would eat it.
But you know what? That's why that encourages me because that thing has some fucking teeth because he knows he's fucking delicious.
Yeah, he's got
Nature
fight.
gave that thing teeth because everything would eat it.
Look at him.
I know I'm yummy. Let's take Nixon.
Got a big mouth. See? Mouth, Jay.
Edward G. Robinson.
Edward G. Robinson mouth. They are tasty. I do like a good Chilean sea bass.
Chilean?
Yeah.
Is it Chilean? I always said Chilean.
Chilean.
Probably Chilean.
I call it Chilean.
No, I think you're right. I think he's right.
Yeah.
Chilean, if you want to.
I call it
A
Chilean.
fancy man.
Yeah, that's
Is
good
it
shit.
Chilean?
We used to catch sea robins out there on Long Island.
You got beat them with a fucking crescent wrench.
When you get them in a boat, forget it, man. These things, just to get the hook out, almost impossible.
yeah.
Why?
And you threw those things back, but then, I was talking to Sal.
Why?
He says his family eats those things.
What's wrong with him?
Look at that. Who the fuck would eat that?
That's a horrible looking
They
fish.
fly out of the water.
Yeah, sea robins were plentiful
do they have teeth?
on Long Island. They're horrendous.
And they're dumb fish. They're not even hard. It's not a challenge to catch.
Right.
You just dunk your rod in the water and you're going to get one.
But you literally got to smash their fucking heads in when they get on your boat.
Why?
You got to take a tool, a fucking hammer, and just cave their fucking
Yeah, if you're
dumb
going to keep
heads in.
them, they're a nasty fish. You eat this shit, right?
Yeah,
Did we
it's
have that conversation?
It's a sea robin, yeah.
I eat it.
Those are actually really good.
But
No,
no one
they're
eats them. Why aren't they sold at restaurants?
They're a nuisance.
Why are they a nuisance?
Because
The
there's just so
sowfish.
many of them.
What?
This is just they're overpopulated. You could fish them. There's no.
But if they're
limit
good
on
to eat, who cares? Why would it be a nuisance?
them. I don't know.
That's like saying tuna's a nuisance.
well, it's because like
Tuna's not a nuisance.
people like to when they think they're eating a fish, they like to think that they're eating like a very beautiful like
Yeah, it's
silvery
weird,
thing that
you're
comes
right.
out of the water, and then when you actually see what it looks like, it's like, oh, that thing's disgusting. You
I
know?
will guarantee you, if you brought a sea robin in here, prepared the best way possible,
Yeah.
every single one of us would go, "Oh my god, this is disgusting."
Disgusting?
yes.
Oh, it's really.
I would
delicious,
guarantee
actually. I'll have my nonna cook it up.
But
for
sea
you.
robin, they don't
Nana.
Get, they don't get
Who's
big.
who's Nana?
Who's
My
Nana?
grandmother,
My Nana?
Yeah.
Why
What
Nana?
the fuck is that?
Dumb thing to call your grandmother
That's-
a Nana.
What's a Nana?
What's a Nana?
That's how you say grandmother in Italian. So I call
Stop
her
making believe you're
No.
more Italian than you are.
I've heard Nana.
Yeah, Nana.
I've heard
Who
fucking
came-
grandma.
Who came over here in your family?
It
Nana.
was them, my nonna and nana.
All right, you're
what?
You're two
My
generations
Nana and
removed
Nana.
from that
It's
shit.
Nana and her grandson Yana.
And Nanu?
Nanu.
That's great.
Nanu.
Fucking Mork is your grandfather.
Nanu and
Nanu
Nanu.
and Nana.
Oh,
Nana
yuck.
and
God,
Nanu.
people sound stupid at holidays. Hi, Nana and Nanu.
Nana Nanu.
Oh,
You know, you guys can make
with
fun of them
E-Rock,
all
it's
you
Shamu.
want.
No, right?
Not here. Uncalled for.
But yeah,
Perfectly called for.
another thing that's really popular is monkfish. It's like really beautiful fish. It's like kind of
Yeah, but they're always just sitting there praying. They're so easy to catch. You ever see one of them light themselves on fire? And
Someone's saying they
Those
use
scales on the top of their head.
they sell that as Chilean sea bass too. Some people
Really? Monkfish?
Yeah.
are they the ones that say what's the poor man's lobster? Is that what they call it?
poor man's lobster.
I hate the expression, but they're supposed to be a very good fish. It might be a monkfish.
No, a lobster is like a crustacean. A monkfish is like a fish.
Yeah,
No, no,
really?
but that's what it's his
we
nickname
understand that.
I don't
Oh
know.
fuck! We went to school.
Yeah.
Well, there's another fish that's
It's,
really
not
good.
what, it's two different things we're discussing at this moment.
Yeah, the fish is they think
Jimmy's
only
right.
the taste.
There's something that people call the poor man's
Could you Google
lobster.
that, Danny? Poor man's lobster. It's a nickname for a fish that's.
And if we're talking about lobster, Caribbean lobster stinks.
Yeah.
You always get tricked into getting lobster when you're on vacation.
Crawfish or crawdaddies?
Crawdaddies is
It's
like
like
poor man's
lobster.
lobster.
No, I think it's a fish.
Crawdaddies.
It's a fish.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
a fish.
Might be a haddock.
That's what they make fish sticks out of.
I don't know. It's
I remember a joke, comic little picture I saw in Hustler once, and it was a woman. She's laying in bed, and she got a giant fishtail hanging out of her pussy, and the husband's coming in, and he's like got his dick hanging out, and the bubble over her head said, "Not tonight, dear. I have a haddock." Just remembered it forever.
I remember a Hustler cartoon. There were two hunters in the woods, and they were looking at a bear trap with just two bloody testicles hanging in it, and the caption was, "Somewhere out there is one mean fucking bear."
Aren't they great?
The funniest cartoon. Playboy's cartoons stink.
Yeah.
Hustler cartoons
Hilarious.
are fucking a scream.
So why don't we
they
look
were
up
always
Hustler
good.
cartoons
Oh
after the
my
break?
god, I love them,
They should
dude.
make a calendar out of it.
Yeah.
Dude, they're the fucking.
And more silly shirts.
They're genius cartoons.
Could you imagine wearing a Hustler cartoon on a T-shirt?
I think I've said this one before, the one with Superman sitting in a chair, and he's fucking looking up, and there's a girl kneeling in front of him, and her head is in the ceiling with cum dripping out of her mouth. He blew her head off.
I know skatefish, right? They take skatefish and make
Scallops.
Make scallops out of them.
Yeah.
They use like a cookie cutter, and they just cut out little circles out of the skate's wings and
like
stuff.
a melon baller.
Yeah, and they make like fucking fake scallops.
I
Crazy.
hate scallops.
I don't know.
I love a good scallop.
Poor man's lobster
Not a
thing.
fan of scallops.
I'm getting told it is monkfish. Monkfish can be referred to.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
couple
it's
people saying monkfish is the poor man's
There's
lobster.
a lot of
so-
stuff
all
coming
right.
up, like
'Cause
pike and
they were
halibut.
tasty. Monkfish, I think I had it, and it was. I hated the name poor man's lobster, but eating the fish, I was like, that's actually fucking good.
But Caribbean lobster stinks.
I never had it.
It's horrible. I hate it.
I like it.
A bunch of people sending in their favorite T-shirts that they've seen, and one, nothing like the FBI shirt.
Oh yeah.
Female body inspector.
Colin would love that shirt.
He would.
Oh, yeah.
Colin would go crazy for that shirt.
But he would wear it properly.
Yes.
There are people that wear this shit like, look at me.
How about too much sex is bad for your eyes, and it's written all blurry?
Right.
Oh, wait, I know. It's not a beer belly. It's a gas tank for a sex machine.
That's terrible. Oh, that's awfulness.
Got one sugar.
No. I was thinking of a tweet that Rob Delaney wrote, reminding me that was really funny.
It was good on Twitter. Natterman.
I haven't seen Dan Stern.
Dan Natterman is a weirdo on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's probably really funny though.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's different. He's one you might want to take a peek at.
I got to follow that motherfucker.
We did a live radio show for Tom Papa called. It was really fun. It was at the Village Underground, where it was like an old school radio thing where I did a sketch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like a Thanksgiving thing. He's airing it next week, I think, and I'm in it. And he did a couple of sketches, and Natterman and Gary Gulman did stand up, and they said that they were really funny, but Natterman destroyed.
Nice.
And, I don't know. People are always surprised when Natterman's hilarious because he's a small guy and he's kind of like a nebbishy guy, and people, they don't understand that there's still a brilliant comic in there.
And he's got a voice from another time.
He's the greatest.
I can't do Natterman.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's a genuine, funny fucking dude.
Absolutely is. Why don't we take a break and eat and shit?
Great. I'm starting to second guess my tuna order this morning.
Why?
After the conversation we
Dude,
had.
they fuck up the dolphin nets. They're always getting caught. Like, because I like when they catch dolphins, and there's a dolphin display where what happens is the dolphin swims and his head comes through the wall out of the water, and you could punch him, and then he goes back in. It's called the dolphin puncher.
It's called the dolphin punch.
Yeah, and like he goes hoping for a fish, and you sock him under the jaw, and then he goes back in embarrassed. Fucking love the dolphin punch.
Jimmy.
It's the greatest. Big fat dumb tuna wrecking everything. Big mopey fucking tuna.
All right, we'll
Tuna.
talk about Anderson Cooper getting scared.
Scared.
And we got the heavy metal version of Gangnam Style
Boy.
for everybody.
And I can't think of his last name.
Who, what, what's going on?
I don't remember.
All right.
Sirius XM. The Opie and Anthony Show.
Look at Roger Daltrey's playing the guitar.
What happened?
Remember Roger Daltrey was playing this little riff
Thumbs up or down?
for this video? I liked this song.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked the
When did you tap out with the Who?
wow. I guess sometime in the 80s. Yeah, I don't know.
Did they do You Better You Bet?
Yeah.
Or was that Pete Townsend?
No, that was
Remember
the
when Pete Townsend did his own thing and it sounded a lot like the host, and then you got confused?
Yeah, but only
even though you didn't
gay.
even though you didn't have the Roger Daltrey voice,
Only
obviously.
gay.
Yeah, I think I bailed on You Better You Bet. That was like a big MTV song.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about a bestiality story? Why?
Bestiality.
Did you see that one Twitter account that people started throwing around the other day?
No, which one was
I
that?
thought I was going to get arrested for just checking it out. And Twitter bans people all the time. And there's a lady out there that has a bestiality Twitter account that someone sent me. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, they're going to fucking take me to jail for just
Why?
looking at this shit.
They got pictures?
Fuck yeah.
Was it dogs and chicks?
Yes.
And horses and
there's one
donkeys?
chick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And anything you could imagine, yes, this was happening. Don't send it to me again.
I think you're all right if you just click on them and look. Even bestiality. I mean,
But I'm amazed
no
that
problem.
that has, has slipped through the cracks, as they say. I'm amazed.
Most kind of porn is pretty accepted as far as clicking on it and looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, there's that one type that, you know.
Well, now we got to go to this fucking guy. You want a good bestiality story, Jimmy?
Sure. If it's better than the one I've got in my own personal life, I'd love to hear it.
Let's go to Will in Nevada. Will?
Let's just sit down and bomb immediately.
What's up?
Hello, Will.
Hey, what's up?
Are you friends with Won't?
It was on primetime TV last night. You guys didn't see it?
We don't watch everything.
Yeah, I'm
It
busy.
was on ESPN. The Bears got fucked in the ass, dude.
I didn't hear what you said, dude. Your stupid phone crapped out. What'd you say?
The Bears got fucked in the ass.
What?
The Bears what?
I don't understand.
The Bears.
The Bears. What happened to the Bears?
What about it? It's a bestiality story?
Yeah, they got fucked in the ass.
By who?
The Niners. Ow!
I don't know, dude. Your fucking phone stinks. If you, I think you're fucking around with something, but you at least either get a landline or try it again.
I'm on a landline, bro.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's our connection, but it just keeps,
Yeah.
We hear the Bears, and then you go
Crap
like,
out.
woo.
And then the Niners.
What happened between the Niners
When did they
and the
even?
Bears?
When did they play?
Yeah.
Good times, y'all. Good times.
Dude, what are you saying?
Oh, go Niners.
What are you saying about the Bears and Niners? You had a bestiality story. What is it?
Ass. The Bears got raped on.
We heard you.
Yes. Ugh. I hated this guy's fucking dumb, jokey thing.
We heard you.
You know
it was terrible.
You know we don't do sports talk, right?
Yeah, but you should though. That was a
basic sports shit we do every once in a while.
You want sports talk? Go
That
to
was a
fucking
good game,
FM.
y'all.
The Bears
Go to
got
FM
fucked
radio.
in the
That's all it
ass.
is now is shitty, boring sports talk. Yeah, looks like the Niners got a good front four this year. Blah, blah. Do they?
That guy was fucking fast, yo. And then we're like,
Will you stop with the
fucking
yo?
drafted. And it's like, no way, dude, he got drafted. And then you see him on national TV, and you're like, holy shit.
Exactly.
Such a
Yeah.
small
This
state.
is why sports talk
No, this is why I
stinks.
left them on.
Dude, Nevada's got like fucking
terrible.
only like 102,000 people.
Who cares?
So what's
That's
that
very
about?
uninteresting.
We fucked Chicago up the fucking rump, yo.
Did
Why
we?
with the yo?
Where were you?
Stop with the yo.
West Coast, yo.
I hate this guy.
I like him.
I hate this fucking
I like him
But he's
because
a-
he's so annoying.
He's just a typical sports radio guy, just a dullard who takes pride in what his team does.
Only Jimmy's bottom fall is because he doesn't like sports.
I do like sports, but I'm bored with the whole thing. Like, yeah, we gotta, look, we got some guy in injured reserve, but this year we gotta go out and we gotta get it done, guys.
No, we did.
Ugh.
And we didn't need
Keep
the fucking
saying yo.
band or the cheerleaders. We just fucking dry dogged them.
Oh, just
Here's the yo again.
Hey, I'm East Coast, and it's like 4:30, and I'm drunk, and
No
my
one
neighbor
cares,
probably fucking ate me. So fuck y'all.
All right,
Bye,
fuck
sir.
y'all, Will, in Nevada. He's been very excited. His Niners won.
he
Niners
did
got
that-
a good team.
He did that awful joke fucking 8 times.
I know.
Yeah, because he felt so good about it.
Sports radio is rough to
It
listen to.
stinks.
That guy's terrible.
Sports radio stinks.
It's rough. Maybe after after the weekend on a Monday, you listen for an hour or two.
I couldn't even get that long.
But on a
no.
Wednesday or Thursday when nothing's really happening, I don't know how the fuck people listen to that.
You know who I like? Joe Benigno is the only guy I can listen to because he's a Jet fan and a Met fan. But he's a real fucking fan, and he gets really emotional when they lose, and he screams, and he reacts like a real fan does. That's why I like Benigno. The rest of them just bore me. They're all neutral. Benigno's a fucking...
I used to like Steve Summers.
He's a
a
good
fan.
broadcaster, but
When he was doing the overnight.
Yeah, schmoozing under the covers till
Schmoozing.
Imus in the morning.
I used to listen to him on the way home from BAB, I believe. That was the time, right? And every once in a while he would have Seinfeld on because
Yeah,
Seinfeld was
Seinfeld
a
loves
big
him.
fan.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he was just getting
Funny.
these interviews with Seinfeld. And Seinfeld would come in every once in a while.
That was pretty cool.
It was really cool. That doesn't happen to anybody.
I'm
Yes,
yeah, FAN got me through when we were off the radio and I was riding around looking at prostitutes all night. I couldn't listen to anything. I would listen to Art Bell, and I would listen to what Beningo did on the overnights at Fan. So it's like I do have, I guess, an affection for that kind of sports radio.
Right on. So you got the thing happening there in the Gaza Strip.
Yes, yo.
And you got all the reporters going over there, and we're going to lose one. We're going to lose one.
You think we're going to lose a reporter?
Yeah,
they do like being in the action. They do like getting the one-up on the other reporter.
Thank you. It's like hurricane footage when they have to broadcast from in the middle of the ocean and then tell everyone don't try this.
Exactly.
Well, they're doing the same shit, and then they want bombs to explode while they're live.
Oh,
absolutely. And
they
one of them
it.
is going to get one in the fucking noggin.
They love being able to say, you just heard that. Yes, that was an explosion. Very frightening here.
So when you hear the story that one of these guys was taken out, don't feel sorry for him.
No.
They're getting as close as possible for the ratings.
Yes, they are.
And one was pretty close to Anderson Cooper yesterday.
There is one report now saying 11 people were killed in that blast, but we know 10 members of one family. Also, 2 media centers built. Well, that was a rather large explosion.
Yeah.
That occurred. Just look out here.
That was in his ass.
I can't actually see where the impact of that was. It's actually set off a number of car alarms.
Car alarms, of course.
There you go.
You know what?
That was pretty close.
As much as we shit on reporters, and they are tabloid, a lot of them, there is a real bravery to this. Like,
oh, man.
The way he even reacted, like, I would have been hiding under the fucking console.
But there's no reason to be that close.
He did duck pretty good.
There's absolutely no reason to be that close. It's stupidity.
You know what, though? I mean, if you could hear that going off, you're okay. Because
that's true.
Right.
Because if you'd just be dead and you wouldn't know
You wouldn't even know.
Right.
You'd be so dead.
Whose fault is this one even?
God, are you going to open up that can of
No,
worms?
but I mean, this particular, I heard that they were lobbing
Hamas
shells.
Yeah, Hamas apparently fired the first shot. It was a missile that they shot at an Israeli vehicle that was in Israel. So Israel responded by trying to systematically take out every one of Hamas's missile launchers and missiles. By the way, these missiles are supplied by Iran.
Of course.
And Iran, a lot of people saying Israel is using this as an excuse to wipe out Hamas's missiles because Hamas is merely a puppet of Iran. And if Israel decided to try to take out those nuclear plants in Iran, Hamas would absolutely be lobbing missiles into Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and whatnot under the orders of Iran.
Right.
So this could be a lead up to an Iranian airstrike to try to clear the missiles out before they do that, so that they don't get the full bombardment.
Wow.
That seems to be it. But Hamas, absolutely. And whether Israel was looking for an excuse or not, they got one when Hamas blew up one of the Israeli vehicles in Israel.
Now, this is not the same as the shells that, what was the Syrian or Turkish shells that had fallen over?
Right, yeah.
This is a different incident.
This is totally different. It's the Hamas in Gaza. I mean, they've been going at it forever.
What was happening with the blockade? Because actually Noam, who's very pro-Israel, was saying that there's a blockade in place, and Hamas wanted the blockade, it's to keep weapons from coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
But a part of it was that they were actually limiting the amount of chocolate, and there was some weird things they were doing in the blockade that was bothering them. Maybe somebody knows about that, because I don't. Obviously, that's why I threw it out there.
I'm not a complete fucking apologist or Israeli fucking guy here. But the truth of the matter is, when you're in that situation where you're surrounded by people that absolutely want you done, gone, wiped off the face of the earth, you have to do things to maintain your safety. What they've done, they've built walls, they've blockaded certain things because the weapons come in. Unfortunately, if the chocolate is coming in with a busload of fucking weapons, sorry, the chocolate ain't gonna fucking make it in.
No, but was that, maybe that's what it was. I don't know if that's what the motive, what it was. I don't know what the details are.
Hamas, Palestinians, I'm sorry, they're despicable fucking people. And whether they feel that their sovereign rights have been infringed upon by Israel, try to sort it out, because this ain't working for the past many fucking years. I don't know. Who does it belong to? It was given to Israel after World War II. Sorry. And then when incursions started happening, Israel started branching out with buffer zones, which were deemed illegal but tolerated to a point. They gave some back. They took some. They needed some buffer zones to keep the violence out of their country. But that's an arguable point, too. Did they go too far? Are they stretching out their borders for more than just buffer zones? It's an argument that has no clear-cut answer, especially from this shock.
No, but I'm trying to look at both sides of it.
Yeah,
I'm so pro-Israel, but it's almost like, all right, are the Palestinians really that completely, as a group, just unreasonable? Like, is it really that, like, we think, or is there more to it? Like, well, no, the Israelis fucked up here and there. Like,
yeah, both sides have done their share of fucking shenanigans, that's for sure. But it just seems like, I don't know, it seems like the Palestinians, maybe I'm biased, I don't know. I'm kind of an Israel supporter. They have been a great ally in that area. But
you're talking about your neighborhood?
My neighborhood, yes, Israel.
Learn from your neighborhood.
Israel in Nassau County. Yeah, it seems like the Palestinians are constantly infringing, but that could be because of how they view Israel as, interlopers.
What an exhausting way to live, though. Holy
Terrible.
Fuck.
I mean, if this escalates, we're going to start seeing all those fucking Israelis, the bus bombings and everything again.
Oh, that's right. There hasn't been that
Yeah,
stuff.
that hasn't been in a while because they've had kind of this ceasefire and treaty going on for a while. But, I mean, this shit breaks down every few years. It happens. They go to the mattresses.
Yeah, I wish somebody listening knows more about it, because I know the pro-Israel position, because, again, most people I know are very pro-Israel and they're very informed. But I would like to hear somebody who's pro-Palestinian at least give a reasonable point.
They absolutely feel like after World War II, what was supposed to be their homeland was given to Israel by the United Nations. And they feel like, no, you can't give away our, part of their religious Mecca, if I could use a word, is Jerusalem.
Right.
They consider that part of their Holy Land, and they feel like it was taken from them and given to the Israelis.
Why don't we get one from each side? That usually works out pretty well on our show.
Give them some guns and let them duke it out.
We'll get a couple phone calls. We've done this before.
Yeah.
And then they could explain to you and each other what the problem is.
Yeah.
So we need one from each side to call our show right now.
Yeah, I don't want to be so biased like that. Being biased is fine if I have all the facts, but it's like I hear facts from intelligent people on both sides. It's like,
Well, we got one coming in right now. Bill in Kansas. Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Yeah.
Hi, Bill.
I got a question for Jimmy.
Sure.
Jimmy, just say you get a girl to come to your room, spend a couple hours, treat you good. What would you expect to pay for something like that?
A couple hours, it depends on where you go, man. I mean, I would say $350 or $400, but for a couple of hours, it might be more. I personally never have done multiple hour sessions.
Yeah, well, just spent 2 hours treating me good. I might have got ripped off.
How much?
I figured I'd ask an expert.
How much did you pay?
$700.
$350 an hour. I wouldn't say you got ripped off. Was she really hot? Was it did she kiss you?
A little bit. She kind of had an Angelina Jolie thing going.
All right. Well, why'd you do 2 hours?
As I do a little Cialis, so I was good to go for a couple hours.
Oh, how many times did you bang her?
I'm sorry?
How many times did you bang her?
3.
3 times 700. Personally, I would have just done an hour. What did she charge for an hour? Was it $350?
We wouldn't even discuss hourly. She just said she needed $700 to come and spend some time with me.
Oh.
She told me for about 2 hours. Hey, do you want to spend all night? I said, no, I don't have time for all night.
All right. Well, I wouldn't say you get ripped off because she did tell you up front how much it was.
Yeah.
If she had said it's $300 and then 2 hours was $700, I'd say you get ripped off. But I wouldn't say you got ripped off, sir. I would say that, hey, look, she told you the price and you were willing to pay it. And was it good? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? What's a good dinner date cost? $150 to take a girl out to a really nice restaurant, or $200. I mean, for a 5-star meal or whatever, 4-star meal. Most chicks you got to go out with 2 or 3 times before you fuck them, so it kind of comes out even.
Okay. good. Yeah, I feel a whole lot better about it now.
Yeah. You
you
just
go.
don't do it too much. It's the holidays. You treated yourself to a fucking good
Treat
three-loader.
yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, brother.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Treat yourself.
All right, now we got the phone call. So we got Eric. Eric, you're in New Jersey and you're pro-Palestinian, right?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Eric.
All right, hold on. I'm going to go with Akiva, who's
how you doing?
pro-Israel. Akiva, meet
we doing?
Eric.
Good morning, Joe.
Hey, Eric.
Can we hear Eric first?
Yeah, Eric, what do you got on this whole issue?
Well, it's quite simple. The Palestinians have lived there for thousands of years, and if you look in the Torah, the Ultra Hasid will tell you Jews are a religion. They have no homeland. They don't have a country of their own. That's why they've been scattered all throughout the world. And next thing you know, they're moving into Palestine's backyard, building walls, and telling them they can't live there. There was a goat farmer who's had that family for 2,000 years in his family, and all of a sudden he can't live there anymore. And if he comes back, he'll be shot.
Can I have a chance to respond now?
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in getting to a shouting match, but I don't know which Torah he's referring to, because the Torah that I believe in and the Torah that I can quote clearly promises the land to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Many times
law
over,
firm of.
Israel conquers the land in not only in many books of the Old Testament, and establishes a monarchy there. And then eventually they are scattered once their temple is destroyed, and the Babylonians come in, and then that was the first time the temple was destroyed, and then the Romans kicked them out the second time the temple was destroyed. But we've always had a presence there, and we've always maintained a Jewish, even if it hasn't been a control of the state, we've always had a presence in that land. We have not been spread out over the world and never had a country.
Okay.
So from biblical times, it's been our country.
So you expect to go into this land, tell these people they have to move out because our book says so? That's as crazy as Joseph Smith and the Mormons.
Incorrect. We went into the land and we lived peacefully, side by side with the Arabs. All the way up.
When was that? I don't remember peaceful. When was that?
You need to read your history books. We lived and we lived side by side. The Arabs had no problem with us. They had no problem with us. And then once the conflict started, the Arabs took up arms against us. We gave them an opportunity. They decided to leave the country, and no other country surrounding Israel would accept them into their country. And so the Arabs became the ones, the Palestinians became the one who had no state, because their fellow Muslims would not even accept them into any of their states. The Jordanians did a little bit, but mostly nobody would accept them, and so they had nowhere to go. And so then they decided to take up arms against Israel, who was totally fine with the way that the United Nations partitioned the land. And we were fine with everything. And it was the Arabs who were the ones that took up arms and started making a problem with everything.
I've got one statement, besides the fact that you're wrong, one statement to end it all. Iraq is a dinosaur marching. Why do you think
That's how he bails out his argument. That's how it should sound in the United Nations.
Right.
After a big fucking argument.
What's nice about the whole argument is that even though we have differences of opinion, we can all agree that Iraq is fat.
Yes. That's the key to world peace.
That is true.
I do think if you take this biblical stuff out of it, because a lot of these guys are arguing religion and the Torah and other kind of religious writings, and just take it for what happened in, I think, what was it, the 1948 UN decision? It was based on a post-war Middle East and Europe. A lot of borders changed post-war. That was just another one that changed because of world events. And Israel, the Jews and the Palestinians seemed like they were in the area with these very gray tribal borders. And until something was hammered out, it just continued that way. After 48, the Israelis, who I believe, you say Judaism is a religion, which it is, but being an Israeli, is a nationalist. You know, that's your country,
Definitely.
Israel. You're an Israeli. Israelis are made up of,
many,
you know. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
Well, no, but there were many. There were many completely secular Zionist organizations that sprung up in Poland and other countries in Europe well before the Holocaust that were advocating moving to at the time what was called Palestine.
Yeah.
And all of these people, there were very many of them. I mean, Theodor Herzl, who is considered the father of modern day Zionism, was not himself a religious Jew. He was not a practice. He may have. You know, he may have been somewhat practicing, but he's not what people would consider a religious Jew. But people followed in his footsteps. It was not an issue of religion at the beginning. You know, I mean, first of all, there are plenty of people who it is, including myself, who it is an issue of religion. But even if we take religion out of it,
right.
there's still a secular movement of Zionism, and most of the people who came in the 20s and earlier to just build up the land, irrigation, different agricultural advances that nobody had thought about in Israel. They made things grow in the desert where there was nothing, and the Arabs were just selling oranges.
It's a very productive country and a very strong ally for the United States to have in the Middle East, definitely. Thank you, my Jewish friend.
Yeah. Have a great day. And,
all right, could you check my mail in the mailbox and make sure it's see, I'm implying he's my neighbor.
Oh, he's not. He's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
All right, Akiva.
I would never live in Long Island.
Oh, well, hoity-toity. Fancy boy Jew.
No, I spent 3 years living in New York City, and it was just it was terrible. It was horrible. It's, you know, there's a lot of good Jewish people there, but they're not so many of the non. You know,
I say there's a lot of shysters. A lot of shysters.
Well, no, shysters are Jewish lawyers. That's
exactly.
That's
we know that.
That's what I say.
Oh, I've
exactly.
got my brother who's listening right now.
Wait, I don't understand. They weren't Jewy enough for you? Is that what you're getting at?
Not Jewy enough.
No. It was very Jewy. I lived in Washington Heights for three years. The problem was the Dominican population.
Oh.
You
know, not from a religious point of view at all, just from what the neighborhood.
Just from I want to keep my wallet point of view.
From they try to kick your ass and
and take your shit.
And it's not a hate crime.
It's the music. It's the music and the pissing on the street and making barbecues of ridiculous types of meat that I've never heard of and would never ever touch with a 10-foot pole. And it's a lot of horrible.
So you headed back to Ohio.
Stuff.
All right, Akiva.
Ohio's great.
All right.
Have a great day.
See you. We got another Palestinian on the line here. Joe in Brooklyn. Joe.
Hey, boys.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna put you on with Ben from Israel.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Joe's in Brooklyn. He's pro-Palestine. Ben in Israel.
Joel.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Obey Anthony. Great talking to you guys.
Boy.
And you're listening to us in Israel right now?
In Jerusalem. We just had a rocket attack like 10 minutes ago. We had to run to the shelters.
Oh, man.
That's fun. How are people listening to us in Israel? That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Internet, the app is amazing.
In between the bombs.
The future.
The future. That's right. All right, Joe from Brooklyn, Ben in Israel.
He gets bombs from both ends.
Let's go with Joe in Brooklyn, pro-Palestine. What's up, Joe? What's your thought?
Well, one, I'm a former Marine. Well, I'm still in the reserves and all that, so I've been overseas. I've seen some of that. And I'm not by any means pro-terrorist, and Palestine definitely has a lot of that. But these people, especially like the Jewish people that cite the Bible, the Torah, which is just a fucking magical book. You know, they cite this for like land issues, but there's people that have, lived for 500, 1,000 years in the fucking book. So it's stupid. You can't use a dumb religious book, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I know they hold that dear, but let's be honest, it's fucking almost 2,000.
Agree 100%.
Ooh, 100%.
But here's the thing that bothers me about Israel. I agree with their right to defend themselves, but just the ratio at the killings happened. Israel generally does like a precision strike to attack a terrorist.
Uh-huh.
That isn't very publicized because that's like what we do too. We don't go to CNN and say, "Hey, we just bombed someone."
Right.
Then the retaliation comes, which is then publicized because they do it indiscriminately.
Uh-huh.
And then Israel will go back and shoot. Like the death toll is always very skewed in Israel's favor. Like right now, it's something like 10-1.
Yeah, but that's because the weapons that Israel have are much better weapons. They're much more organized. And the fact is that Hamas loves putting these fucking weapon systems in populated areas to try to protect themselves, and it doesn't work all the time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Anthony. Also, Joe's missing a point. Before we killed off out of the Hamas army, in the week before that, we had 100 rockets shot at civilian homes.
Yeah.
In Israel, dozens of rockets a day, children living in bomb shelters. No country can live with that. And it wasn't that first we killed him, then we waited for retaliation, then we retaliated back. It is inconsistent military targets. And unfortunately, Gaza is really densely populated, and they put rockets underneath hospitals. There are schools within 100 yards of where they keep different rockets. It is impossible to, unfortunately, and I feel so bad for the Gaza people. Every time an innocent Gazan person dies, I feel bad. I don't want to see innocent dead Palestinians. It's not my goal, but there's nothing to do. The only thing that they have to do to end this, to stop the suffering of people in Gaza, is stop shooting rockets. If you stop shooting rockets from Gaza towards Israel, then Israel will immediately stop bombing Gaza. That's all they have to do. But if we just were one day to stop our Air Force attacks, and we were to stop hitting those precision targets, we'd still have the rockets.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
I do have to agree with you there, Ben. I wish there was a better solution, because every time this happens, say, imagine your family dies in a rocket strike, or, you're Palestinian and your family dies in a rocket strike. Are you ever going to forgive Israel? No. So that's another however many years of your generation, of your family, is going to be anti-Israel, and
it works the same way. Works the same way when a bus in Tel Aviv explodes.
Yeah, I'll tell you the difference. Majority of Israelis want a peaceful two-state solution. Israelis live over here, Palestinians live over there, and we only deal with each other a little bit. That's what majority of Israelis want. That's what our Prime Minister Netanyahu has said officially, and that's what a lot of people in Israel stand for. And the issue is that in Gaza, when you're shooting rockets at civilians, it's not what you stand for. And it stinks that so many innocent Gazan people have to die. But yeah, we are going to respond, and we're going to respond the best way we could and hit as many military targets.
Yeah, I have to say, it does make for good footage, but isn't there a better way than these precision airstrikes that do end up killing all these innocent civilians? Isn't there a better way they can do that?
Why would they compromise during a war because they're being shot at with these missiles? Why did they have to come up with a better way to take these missiles out when they're being put in civilian areas? It's not up to Israel to bring the death toll down when they're not the aggressors in this instance.
There's also Hamas's goal is to destroy Israel. And
I love hummus.
Their own
I didn't like it.
Lives are not important to them in that goal. Like, they don't mind sacrificing dozens, hundreds of their own civilians' lives if it means getting that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way to negotiate with Hamas. You can't sit Hamas down and say, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. Maybe now we'll have a ceasefire negotiations. But what they want, like right now, if you listen to what Hamas is saying, what they want is ridiculous. They want open access to the sea. They want open access to the sea so that Iran can send them better missiles, better technology, and better way to kill families in Israel.
Yeah, their ceasefire terms are a little silly.
Yeah,
a little overbearing, a little overstretched. They want the sea. Why would you give them an easier way to get missiles from Iran? It's crazy.
Maybe they just want to export to Hamas.
Export.
All right,
hummus.
hold on a minute.
Genuine Hamas hummus.
I've been waiting for this. We got a guy that wants to interrupt this. Joe in Brooklyn. Joe.
Hey, you, Ben, let me tell you one thing. Don't take the fucking CNN pictures, what they're doing, and taking pictures from Syria, which they killed all the fucking 50,000 people. Nobody says a word when they take pictures out of the old news. A BBC reporter yesterday apologized for taking a fucking picture out of the Syria thing. And why are you fucking blaming the Israelis?
They're taking Syrian pictures of children that are dead and stuff and attributing it to
no kidding,
to Israel killing people in Gaza. Yeah.
So that's a nonsense thing. The Israelis, all they're doing is they're getting rid of these targets. What they do is they're taking a human shield, and all they're doing is trying to protect their fucking terrorists with little babies.
Yeah.
So there's no in the fucking world that they shouldn't die. And guess what? All these fucking babies, they're going to end up being terrorists in 5 years from now. Believe me.
Yeah, they have videos with small children in bomb belts. I'm not saying I'm on Hamas' side at all. The people of Palestine itself, 99, 95% of them are not doing this. That's what I'm saying. It's like when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Ben, let me tell you one thing. Breaking news. Another fourth Israeli just died. Like he was injured this morning. I get the text messages all the time. He just fucking died. That's gonna
depressing text. Jesus.
Absolutely. They tweeted everything. That's nonsense. They're firing rockets 5 years nonstop at innocent people. They don't know what a war is. And then you fucking want to tell me that? What the heck is going on over here? Let them fucking go blow themselves, all these fucking Muslims.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm assuming it's roughly the same thing when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan. Most of the people there are not happy with us being there, but they don't want to kill us by any means. By the time we left Iraq in 2007, in the middle of the surge, we were in one of the worst areas, the Haditha Triad. Anthony, I know you've heard of that.
Yeah.
All the Marines executed the people. By our last month there was 2 IEDs that were set up in the same area. One, the police told the Iraqi police that we worked with about it, and the second time the citizens came out and beat the people because they didn't want any more IEDs in their in their streets. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not 100% pro-Palestine, and I'm definitely not pro-Hamas, but I'm just saying I think Israel, being the bigger nation, being the nation that is supposed to have higher morality, needs to realize that there should be a better solution.
So they should just sit there and take missiles being lobbed into their country. It doesn't make sense, dude. There's no simple solution.
And with that said, this guy wants it badly. Daniel in New Jersey, you're on with Joe in Brooklyn, who's pro-Palestine.
Hey, Joe. Like I just said, people say that Israel's response is disproportionate. But, you're the former military guy. You said before, is there a better solution? You would know better than me. If you don't have a solution, how would you expect, someone else on the air to? The choices are Israel can just sit back and let them launch the rockets, or they can fire back with the weapons that they have.
I'd be happier with Israel doing manned missions in Palestine and actually breaking, how we went into Pakistan? I'd rather that happen. I'd rather a kinetic surgical thing where there's not so many innocent civilians always dying. And I know that's the more dangerous thing. You're breaking Palestine's actual nationality, but I just don't think that sending missiles... Israel, in essence, is doing the same thing that Palestine is doing.
It's different when you're defending...
I know they're defending themselves against...
Yeah, it's different when you're defending than when you're the initial aggressor. They're trying to take out the missiles that Hamas is shooting into their country. So...
Yeah, the Iron Dome I love, because that's a solution where they don't have to fucking send other missiles back. I know they have...
That's what we call Radio Wizard here, Iron Dome.
All right. Well...
All right. I think we made a point here that there's no solution. We're all doomed.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Calverton.
Shalom, my friend.
All right, Joe. Joe's gone. Everyone's gone. There you go.
Well, we settled a lot right there, didn't we?
We sure did.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Yeah, I know. It is a kind of religious thing, which is fucked up. I don't like any type of religion dictating who's blowing each other up. It does come off as really stupid.
From both of them, it's a religious thing.
Yes, exactly.
The Muslims and the Jews, it's a mutual hatred.
They all feel entitled to this Holy Land thing,
and that's why there'll never be a long-term solution. Never.
Yeah, but
will never be one.
Let me ask you something else here, and this has been bellied about. Israel is a small little nation surrounded by people that hate them and want them wiped off the face of the earth. It's made them a very resilient, rugged people. How come in all the Middle East there's that one little fucking nation that's Israel, very tiny, leave us alone, yet all these Arab countries have so much fucking land? Why don't you give the Palestinians a homeland that they could fucking enjoy, call their own, build whatever they want to build out of it? Give them access to pray at Jerusalem at some point, if they need access to their holy land. But give them a nation that they could call their own and build and be a productive member of the world community. But all these Arab nations don't want to give them an inch of land?
Stubborn.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So they got to look at Israel as speck in the Middle East and say, we want that?
That's what they want.
Please, come on.
Well, their argument would be, and I'm guessing it would be, well, but it's ours.
Exactly.
Like,
You're
maybe.
never going to get past
But at this point,
that's like saying, why don't we
have to be made.
That's like saying, why don't we give up Maine, hand it to Canada?
Well,
I'm not saying that. I mean, that's just.
Oh, we could easily do that.
I would love to, actually. I'm trying to.
I think
tired of Maine lobster killers.
It just seems to me like there's a better solution if you take the religion out of it.
Yep.
They feel it's their homeland because of, religious...
People aren't going to budge on their religion ever.
No.
That's the problem.
No, they won't. Hoping all said and done, they all realize, like, wow, that was a wash.
You just threw a lot
of shit.
You just threw a lot of logic at the problem, but that's...
The logic is there's no place for it there in the Middle East.
All right. How about a little heavy metal Gangnam Style?
Oh.
We can just play this to break, right? We don't have to comment on it.
I don't know.
Gangnam Style.
Might want to say,
Feel free to rock.
Might want to say, hey.
What?
It rocks.
Yeah.
You can pot up the mic during the break.
Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
Got another guy in Israel. I know we're trying to move on, but he wants to tell us what it's like to live in a bomb shelter.
Ooh.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
Quickly?
I bet the gassers smell.
A lot of people listen to us in Israel. David, what's up, buddy?
Not as bad as they did in World War II.
David.
David, my son, David.
Is this the David we know? David.
Is he in the bomb shelter, but he left his phone upstairs? He's talking through fucking cement walls.
How frustrating is this? David! Oh, you can hear shit.
I think I hear bombs going off.
Or it's his bad cell phone.
Yeah. It's either bombs or bad cell phone.
Right.
There's a storm in Israel.
Yeah, it must be that, a hurricane.
Some inclement weather.
Oh.
Well, that's not promising.
Oh.
Right off one David.
Oh. Was that a bad cell phone, or was he under attack as he's trying to talk to us?
We got to hope that was a bad cell phone.
That's our friend David from Israel.
David.
Calls from time to time.
Well, maybe not.
All right. Well, the Today Show just referenced something we did to them many years ago. Yeah. This is about us, but they didn't mention our names. Remember the time we had the girl, Wow, do the Wow on live TV?
She had great ones, didn't she? She had nice tits, right?
She did all right, man.
Did she? I thought she had good ones.
Yeah, she did all right. The video is online. The video is online somewhere. Maybe we could put it on our Facebook page. We haven't talked about this in a while. But many years ago, we had a girl go down the Today Show when they did the live audience shot, and we got her to flash her TTs on live TV. It was a big story for us. It was a big get. So for some reason, out of nowhere, they referenced that today.
Wonder why.
Do you remember we had a little incident with nudity, public nudity, here on the Today Show back in 2006? Here's what happened. Really hot and muggy. It's getting dark now. Looks like it could rain any moment. But as you can see, we've still got a nice crowd of people gathered right outside our studio.
A very large crowd, actually. And we're not schwitzing too much down here, Katie.
Okay, yeah, I'm here with Ann Curry. And Katie, of course, as you can see, is down in Philadelphia at the First Union Center. That is the site of the... Did you see it?
No, can we play it again?
Vanna missed it.
I missed it.
Vanna missed it. No, because we... Yeah.
Oh, look, they're going to oblige us.
Right.
Here we go.
Real quickly, watch.
Watch the pan. I totally missed it.
Our producer, Don Nash, has this.
We're out of time. Wait for it. Oh, now I see it.
What year was that, they said? 96?
2006.
But it wasn't 2006.
I don't think it was either.
No, that was the
that.
old NEW.
Yeah. Yeah, they fucked up the date, I think.
Yeah, they did. And there she is. Whoop.
There you go. That was us. Yeah, that was the clip they definitely showed. So I don't think that was 2006.
It was, no, it was at the old... The old...
Katie's all fucked up.
Old NEW.
Why don't we have the audio of this? Because it was pretty funny.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
And then you got Matt Lauer, who went on Jay Leno and called us idiots and stuff. And
Nice.
we got that clip.
We're in good company.
Yeah, I don't hear any audio today.
Seem to be any, huh?
Whatever.
No.
No, it's not working.
Katie freaked out. She's like, "Did you see that?"
She was like, "Oh my god!"
Because they went. She was on remote, and they were like, "Ah."
Those aren't nice tits.
There you go. Womp.
That's fucking
Perfect timing too, man. Look at Katie. I wish you could hear the audio. It was when Matt Lauer had hair, so
Yeah,
it
look at
certainly
that.
wasn't 2006.
No, that was very early on.
That had to be like, I'm going to go 2000, 2001.
I'm going to say 1965.
Oh, wait, convention, so we could do that. So it had to be, we're up to 2012, so 2008, 2004, so 2000 I'm going to go. I'm going to go 2000.
Oh.
All right, whatever.
Oh.
We don't have the
What's
audio.
that?
Huh?
I guess it was a page in a book. I don't know. Gives a shite.
Who gives a shite is right. Oh, yeah, here. And then Matt Lauer went on Jay Leno and he said this.
How about the woman that took her shirt off in the line?
Which I hear you've had a little fun
We had
with.
a lot of fun with it. Did that shock you?
You know what it was? We were outside, and if you've seen the 8:30 in the show every morning, the camera pans the crowd outside, and what I do is, since I can't see where the camera is sometimes, I look at the monitor. And I'm standing there, it happened to be with Ann Curry. Katie was in Philadelphia at the time, and I'm looking at the monitor, and I see the people go by, and normally, you know, hi, Mom, hey, Kansas, go Jayhawks, and all of a sudden the camera goes by, and this woman looks at the camera and goes... And my first thought was it was one of those kind of like plastic pieces that you wear on Halloween, you know, that they weren't real.
They might have been, yeah, when you think about it. Yeah.
And then after like 45 seconds of staring at it, I said, you know, those are real. And, you know, she had written the word wow on her stomach, which apparently is, you know, WOW stands for this stupid radio station promotion in New York called Whip 'em Out Wednesdays. And so she whipped him out.
Well, it's not a stupid promotion anymore. They just got a lot of publicity.
I think it actually said powwow, but gravity had covered the
really
the top word.
Oh!
You shouldn't have got a laugh for that.
But what's weird about it is, think about this lady. At some point during her day, that day, she had to get in front of a mirror and say, yeah, these are ready for national television. And I got to be honest with you, speak as one boob man to another, these were not that great. I mean, I've seen a lot better boobs than these. And yet
You
she
work with
exposes them on a morning show. But you know what's good? In what, 6 years of having the outdoor studio, I think that's the first, there was one other little weird thing, but that's the first time anyone has, you know,
Don't say that now. Look
But, you know, we have, most of the people are great. They're very wholesome people.
He's just a jerk.
You jerk.
A stupid radio promotion. You know exactly what the stupid radio promotion is, so I think it's a pretty good
Motherfucker.
fucking radio promotion, Matt Lauer.
You motherfucker.
Dope. So they referenced that today again on their show. What, Jimmy?
What is this thing on Facebook I got? This woman who everybody's so mad at for posting a disrespectful picture where she's yelling at the... do you know what I'm talking about? It was on Twitter.
Oh. No idea.
It links to Facebook. They said she posted some picture, which I can't blow it up because this fucking cunt Facebook app is such
it's terrible
dog shit. Her name is Lindsay Stone of Plymouth, Massachusetts, and I can't see what she's doing that's so offensive. The picture is like silence and respect. Is she yelling at a grave or something? I don't know what she's yelling at. She just posted a picture of herself yelling and giving the finger to some sign, but I don't know what it is. And like people are like, they're outraged, but I don't know if she's just being funny.
I don't know, dude. I don't know who this person is.
Look at my at mentions on Twitter. It should be on that. I saw this. I'm just curious if it's a big story or it's obviously not.
I'm trying to look here. No one's coming up with any answers.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just someone who, because this organization posted an apology for the offensive thing that their member put up or some dumb shit.
I don't see anything. No.
Okay.
Nyap, nyap.
Wait to make that sound.
It's on whizbangblog.com. It says, meet Lindsay Stone, self-professed douchebag.
People are calling in, so I guess they know about it.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Was it the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
Oh, is that what that is?
I'm not sure.
A lot of people calling. They know about it.
One
They're
thing
in that,
coming in.
They're in that Facebook world.
They're saying silence is respect is the name of the...
Why? Sal, are you on the phones today?
Oh, boy.
He's trying to get the story out of somehow.
Oh, boy.
Just give him a second.
You can't... All right.
Well, I mean, we don't know what the story
No,
is.
he's taking way too fucking long.
Yeah, he's having a conversation.
I think you guys have scared him. Now he wants to make sure he has
That's
exactly
funny. Wants social
what the
security
caller
numbers.
All right, let's say hi to Brendan. Brendan,
Hey, how you guys doing?
what's up, Brendan?
Hey, if that's Sal taking the notes, that guy's a piece of shit. I had to talk 15 times to tell him what the fuck I'm talking about.
All right, well, he's been a little gun shy.
And that's why I say what I say.
I know.
For some reason, we got to get someone else on the phones.
Yeah, you do. Hey, Jimmy, what it is there's a sign in front of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers at Arlington Cemetery that says, be quiet and respectful, because you've got the guy marching back and forth, and you've got the tomb of the dead soldiers there. She's standing next to it, pretending like she's yelling, and she's flicking off the sign. So she's being a total cunt and being loud and disrespectful, and that's why everyone's trying to call her out.
Oh, she was trying to have her little moment.
There you go.
That's basically just a joke that misfired.
Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that is. It's like,
We've
who
had
cares?
a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might be a douchebag, but it's like,
I don't care.
Is it that big a deal? No, who cares? I mean, is it disrespectful? Yeah, but I get it. When the sign says silence, you're yelling. And, it's just you being an ass.
So she was going for a little joke.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just
she
a
is.
stupid joke.
Whatever.
Yeah, she's just trying to be funny.
Trying to raise my kids because of fuck. Yeah. I don't find, it's a dumb joke that went bad.
That's all. Who cares? I just couldn't open that picture. I couldn't open the picture on my phone.
Why? You should be able to.
Well, I just couldn't. I don't know how to save it. They say you press it down, and you can save a picture if you hold it down long enough.
Okay, I completely support our soldiers and our military. This does, we can't fucking lose our shit over every single thing that happens.
It's a sign.
Huh?
It's a sign. Relax.
Completely support.
And she's just being an asshole. So
Yeah, you should beat her up for, it not working.
Oh, goddamn, Jimmy.
What?
Did you fart?
No.
I bet you
That was the monkfish escaping.
Who's this?
Oh, God damn it.
No, this is Bobo.
Oh.
Well, what do you want?
I haven't been on the show in freaking ages.
It's about a year.
Yeah, it freaking feels like the worst.
All right, you're on the show. What do you want?
It's been like, it's been like.
You're on the show. What do you got?
It's been like it's been like the worst thing.
You're on the show. What's going on?
What it is, all right. I also was planning on doing like a little prank bit where I purposely.
You're on the show. What do you want? What do you want to do, Bobo? You're on the show. What's up?
Yeah, I said about this bit I want to do where I agitate token booth clerks.
You what?
I want to agitate token booth clerks on the air.
What? Token booth
We can't put token booth clerks on the radio without telling them they're on the radio. It's illegal.
Well, I can't do that anymore. This thing has become so difficult with me because I can't. There's so much that can't be done anymore.
What is the purpose of this call?
What do you want? You bother everybody about how you haven't been on the show in a while. You're now on the show. What do you have for today's show? That's how this works.
Well, I was just saying, but the thing was, it's been like a long time. I've also been.
You're on the show, so it's no longer a long time.
Yeah,
So what do you have for today's show?
Remember for today's show, all right?
And now you know why you're not on the show. Because if you're going to be on the show, you got to have something.
Right, it's just been so long.
So you're calling to say you haven't been on the show in a while and you want to be back on the show, but you are on the show. Do you understand?
It's a long...
Bobo, if you hung up and then called right back, you would have just been on the show.
Right.
So what would you do then?
You can't call the show to say you haven't been on the show in a while, and then the guy puts you on the show and then have nothing.
Right. But what it is, right, I wasn't sure if there didn't have been anything to do because it's been so long.
Oh, just shut up.
Because it's been so long, right?
Wait, so what's the problem? You're mad that you haven't been on the show in a while, so we finally put you on the show, but you don't have anything for the show, but you're going to continue to be mad that you're not on the show. Is that correct?
Yes.
No, it's just the past. For a while, I just keep waiting and waiting.
And now you're on the show. So what do you have?
Jimmy's had it.
Enough of this shit.
Why would you?
I blocked you on Twitter.
I block them all the time. Bobo, if you've been waiting to be on the show, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be well prepared to have something for the show when we finally put you on the show?
Because I haven't been able to.
And then wouldn't that make our point that maybe we don't need you on the show anymore? And then maybe you just go back to being a listener and you enjoy this whole experience. I don't know.
You know, it just feels weird being around, right?
What feels weird?
Why'd you ask?
No, it's been like since the last time I've been on the show. It's like,
Will you stop fucking reiterating how long it's been?
Because that doesn't matter anymore because you're on the show. So all that shit that you were bothered about and worried about is now gone because you're on the show. So now you got to perform today on the show or we won't put you on anytime soon. Why would we?
Well, there is one thing that's also that is also I tell you about. It's annoying me.
Oh.
Is that I'm getting annoyed at Facebook making it difficult for me to get my old Facebook back.
Well, you know what? You don't deserve your fucking Facebook because you're a dummy who gives out his password. You know what? Why should they give it back to you when you've been told time and fucking time again to stop giving out your password because it's not a chick, and you do it every time? Why should they give it back to you?
Wait, he does it every time? He hasn't learned?
Every fucking time.
How many times have you given your password out? Be honest.
It happened twice. I've been trying to get my old Facebook back forever.
When's the last time you gave it out?
Months ago.
No. You don't deserve it. Why would they give it back to you?
All right, it's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point that I've gotten annoyed at Mark Zuckerberg that I would purposely tell him to give me my own password back.
Ugh, you're trying to talk to Mark Zuckerberg about how stupid you are?
Yeah, you don't deserve it.
If I say it to the guy, I would tell him to give me back my password back.
Why should he? You gave it out. What kind of dummy gives out their fucking password?
Jimmy, you think Mark Zuckerberg has more important things to do than deal with Bobo?
Dude, everybody does.
The stock's in the toilet, but wait, let me make sure Bobo is taken care of.
I also got embodied about my Twitter. People thinking that I'm a fake. Some people think.
Who could possibly think that?
Oh no.
So what are you gonna do, Bobo?
Yeah, you're on the show.
Yeah,
you're on the show.
Stop complaining. Fucking annoying.
What are you doing?
It's not much, all right.
But you can't just call the show to complain that you're not on the show. You're now on the show.
You're on the show.
Ant says you haven't been on in about a year, so you've had a year to think about what I'll do if they ever put me on the show again.
Go ahead.
So you got it. Let's go.
Yeah, not only that, all right. That I've also been thinking people asking me.
Oh, hold on, I got to interrupt. I didn't think this was possible, but we actually got Mark Zuckerberg on the phone.
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg's on, Bobo.
Hold on a minute. I didn't think he was going to fucking pick up today. This is pretty cool. Which line? Okay. Mr. Zuckerberg, it's a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Very good.
Very good.
We have Bobo on the phone here, and he's a little mad at Facebook because they won't give him back his page and password.
So we'll let you talk to Bobo.
Bobo, it's Mark Zuckerberg on the phone. Let him know what you want.
Yeah, there's always all these complications that they make it difficult to contact or anything.
Bobo, before we continue, how long has it been since being on the show? It's been a long time, right? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Right? No, I didn't hear you the first 100 times.
Thanks.
So you violated the policy by giving out your password. So because you're a dumb shit, you can't give it back to him.
Yeah, exactly. Been trying to get the password back.
Well, Bobo, tell him what your password was.
I can't.
Yeah, why don't you give me the password and I'll reset it for you right now?
I don't even know what the password was because it's been changed, right? And there's something fishy out there from giving out a password on the air.
What?
Well, why don't you just give it to me? I'm Mark Zuckerberg. I'll reset it for you.
Yeah, but being giving out on the air, it's not going to help anything.
Well, he's at Facebook headquarters, so I don't think it would be a problem.
It's like 5 o'clock in the morning here. I'm willing to reset your password for you.
It's up to you, Bobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old password, and it's not
Bobo!
On a new Facebook.
What a draining fucking person. I
can't even do it.
Will you shut up,
Jimmy? Well, every day he's with this shit, so we finally put him on.
God almighty, with the fucking obsessive phone call. They haven't been on the show.
He bothers everybody every
Fucking
day about
shut
not
up.
being on the show, and then we finally put him on the show, and he complains about not being on the show and has nothing for the show at hand.
Bobo, comment?
No.
No.
I feel like that. All right. I didn't want to come up with anything until I felt it was going to happen.
But he calls every day. Yeah. For the people that don't know, he calls every day, and we just don't.
You call
go to
every
him.
day. You tweet every day.
Where are you right now?
I'm going to bus to pick up stuff at the post office.
I can't hear you.
I was on my way to pick up some stuff in the post office.
You got to speak up. I cannot hear you.
I was on my way to pick up some stuff in the post office.
Yeah.
On the bus to the post office.
On the bus to the post office?
Why would you bomb the post office?
No, I'm not going to do that.
What are you picking up at the post office?
Just some stuff that was sent to me.
I can't hear you.
Just a package I got to pick up.
If you're not going to talk louder, we're going to have to hang up.
I got to make a P.O. box payment.
Why do you got to make a P.O. box payment?
Because you can't have the P.O. box.
See, you're not talking loud enough. That's why you're not on the
You
show.
can't have the P.O. box without it.
No one can hear you.
Like, you can't have the P.O. box without it.
Why don't you have a mailbox at your house?
I do, but that's kind of an old backup procedure.
What does that mean, Bubba? Why do you need a mailbox and a post office box?
It's a backup procedure.
Let's just say about my household. A few years ago, that place I lived at, the mail was being found open.
Uh-huh.
And that was the thing that protects certain stuff from being found open and not arriving.
If you stop whispering.
No, there was time that mail was found open, and this was a way of protecting from that.
Is the bus moving?
Yeah.
I want you to yell, "Stop this fucking bus! I got to get off."
Yeah, stop this fucking bus! I got to get off.
I don't think you said it loud enough, Bobo.
I said, stop this fucking bus! I got to get off.
Now.
I said it. Stop this fucking bus! I got to get off.
Oh, God.
Like, looking at me.
Are you really on the bus or are you lying?
He's on the bus.
Yeah.
Are you bullshitting?
I'm not bullshitting.
Hey, I hear the announcements for the bus.
Yeah,
so he's on the bus.
There's no announcement here. Probably hearing a fire truck or something.
All right.
Outside, but...
All right, Bobo, congratulations. You now have been on the show, all right?
You've been on the show.
Yeah, you might want to yell, "Let me off this bus, I got to take a shit."
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let me off this bus, I got to take a shit.
Yell it really loud, Bobo.
Yeah, let me off this bus, I got to go take a shit.
What's happening, Bobo?
What are they saying?
Well, they are stopping.
All right, now get off the fucking bus and go take your shit. Go.
No, now you got to yell, "I'm just kidding, y'all."
I'm just kidding, y'all.
He's not on a bus.
Nah, he's on a bus. He's on a bus. I can tell that.
He is.
All right, Bobo. Can we go now?
All right. You were on the show. Congrats.
All right.
Yeah, well, I'll see you guys, I guess, next time you guys ask me.
Goodbye.
We'll see you next year, Bobo.
All right, Bobo.
Yeah, next year.
Goodbye, Bobo.
Well, you know, I haven't been on in a long time. He just kept saying
Fucking-
that.
Is he
So, Bobo,
frustrated?
you're on, Bobo. Why do you want to be on now? What do you got? Well, it's just that it was a long time. He kept saying
Welcome
it.
to the phone calls we get in the office, like
every
on a
day,
weekly
yeah.
basis.
Does he bother you, Jimmy? Is he frustrated?
It's just an endless amount of self-obsession.
We could do this every day. He calls
I know.
every fucking day.
Yeah. Draining, Jimmy? Is that the word, right?
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we're going to figure out this Twinkies thing.
Well, I do believe
We could
they're
try to-
kind of working it out.
They could try some, mediation?
Yeah. I think they got to slam these guys in rooms. And
A lot of people are... Jay Morse. Wow, he's looking all cleaned up on Imus. Holy fuck.
What the hell's he doing?
Promoting.
Yeah, promoting. Jay Boulis. Yeah, I guess they're going to try to figure this Twinkie goddamn thing out.
Everyone's having a lot of fun with the Twinkie thing, but the fact remains a lot of people are going to lose their jobs if this goes through. So the judge is giving them a day or two to try to figure out a solution before they move forward with the bankruptcy thing,
Yeah,
right?
get in a room and start fucking...
Who do you blame on this one? Management or union?
I don't understand how a union can fucking negotiate themselves all out of fucking work. It seems counterproductive to me.
Were the Teamsters being unreasonable? I don't know. But I've heard they had a different union for everything, like to back the truck in, to take the stuff off the dock, to bring it in. Like, it was one of those situations.
Yeah, I think it was the Bakers Union, which is like 30% of the workforce.
Enzo.
No, but were the unions being...
I don't know, but I do know that the larger union
they're blaming management.
That's like the majority of the workers there are not happy at this Bakers Union because they had a deal, and then this separate smaller union was like, no, we don't want that.
I make Twinkies for your father. For your father.
How do you fuck up Twinkies?
I know.
How do you go bankrupt if your product is Twinkies?
Act like you got ho-hos. Get rid of those.
Apparently,
I blame management.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gutfeld, who's coming in at 9.
Yes.
Promoting his book, The Joy of Hate.
Yes.
He was on The Five yesterday, which is a Fox show, and I guess they have Bob Beckel.
Yeah, I like Bob.
Bob Beckel. What?
Bob Backlund.
Is it?
Bob Backlund, yes, he was doing the leg walk.
Yeah, Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about the Twinkies, and Greg put 4 Twinkies in a blender with milk and just made a shake out of it.
Nice.
And Bob just fucking chugged it down.
Wow.
And he couldn't finish the show. I don't know what happened, but he left. They were like, well, but yeah, Bob had to leave. I think he either fell into a diabetic coma or puked his guts up.
Is he okay?
I don't know. That's the last I heard.
Oh, Gutfeld
so I
will
want to
tell
ask
us.
Greg about this. But Greg
That
said it
sounds
tasted
delicious.
great.
Of course it does.
But you can't drink 4 Twinkies and milk at one shot.
Why not? Let's give it a shot.
Oh, man.
Let's do this.
I heard of another one that you can't do.
What?
Should we stick with the Twinkie thing, though?
What's the other one?
Oh, is it the, what's the one?
Bananas and Sprite.
What?
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
Who the fuck tried that?
How many bananas?
Crazy.
I think it's 2 bananas
Up your ass, though, right? You gotta
and like a
chug it.
liter of Sprite.
And what? You just
Liter
make it-
cola?
It's
Yeah,
probably
you
the liter
just-
of Sprite. You can't drink with anything.
No, it's not. It's
and
like
you
some
you
reaction.
make a shake out of it, or
No, you just eat some bananas and try to chug down some Sprite.
What's the other
never
one?
heard
With
that.
bread or something?
I don't know, but I think we need to do
What's the
this.
bread one?
You can't eat 2 of their albums.
What's the one with the bread? I think there's a bread one, right?
Is there?
Crackers? Like you can't like
Crackers?
whistle crackers in your mouth.
Who the fuck you
There's
calling
the
cracker?
saltines.
You?
Mars is the fucking
I like
man.
Saltines or sweet teens.
Holy shit! Really?
See, either one.
Thank you, Mars. Baby powder spray. I got my baby powder.
Oh, Uncle Paul likes that.
Oh, God, it's like an aphrodisiac. Oh.
Oh, God.
Smells like people been fucking.
Why?
Can I have it? Jimmy just fucking.
No, I didn't.
I'll give you.
No, I did
Danny
not.
did that.
Oh, it was a while ago.
Yeah, I did not.
I'll give you
It's
the
worked
clean
this
and
way.
fresh.
Ah.
Clean and fresh.
They're very thick today.
Oh, spray it all over. It smells like fucking in here.
Jesus.
You got some pre-leaking out there?
Smells like fucking.
So why don't we know about the Twinkies thing? Who's at fault here? I heard management's taking way too big of a piece of the pie.
Well, I heard at one point they gave themselves these giant raises, but by then someone said no. By then the ship was already sinking.
Ah, all right.
So I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems to me like sometimes the unions get a little rambunctious.
Yep.
And then they're unemployed going, what happened?
But management
what just happened?
Management proves themselves to be despicable too. Like, you look at a lot of company people that should be getting raises don't get them, and then management gives themselves big stock options. You know what I mean? It's like
they give themselves piggy boy fucking raises.
Yeah, they do. It's like both sides are gross, but management has
Look at some
never
of the
made it
people around
easier.
here.
They've never made it easy on themselves.
Holy fuck, the amount of money they're taking. Unbelievable. Disgusting. But they don't even have to show up anymore. Management, I'm saying. Half these guys don't show up half the time.
Jesus Christ.
All right, well, that's all we have on the Twinkies thing.
Yeah, I want to know more about it.
Mediation, and they're trying to figure out their differences.
All I care about
So
is
what are we
what
doing
happened
about
to
these
Bob.
Twinkie shakes?
I want to try a Twinkie shake.
Twinkie shake?
Fuck yeah.
They don't even sell them. You can't get Twinkies anymore. They're all off the shelves.
That's true. You're probably not going to be able to even find
What are you
Twinkies.
going to do, run out and buy Twinkies? That ain't going to happen.
Good
Why?
luck. It's like gasoline. The rationing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I bet you someone could get us some Twinkies.
I didn't even wait.
I bet I can go down to Dwayne Reed and get Twinkies.
You think?
Yeah.
I would bet a lot of money you can't.
Oh, God.
But you can go to.
I think I can get Twinkies.
I'll bet you a whole $10.
That doesn't seem like a very common.
I would love a Twinkie, but after I ate it, I would be like, why eat a Twinkie?
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't be happy with yourself.
I could go get some bananas and Sprite if you want.
That sounds awful, though. A Twinkie shake sounds delicious. The gas that would give me,
Yeah,
like
but
a half a glass of Twinkie shake, and my fucking hot farts would be legendary.
Problem is, Piggy Boy isn't here to actually do the stunt.
But maybe Sal could throw up or something.
Sal. What is he going to do? Sal's not going to do anything for us.
It wouldn't work out.
prove himself.
Sal.
I mean, I love Sal. He's great.
I like Sal. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's just a bit of a boob.
He eats sea robins. He can't be that bad. Although someone wrote that it's good for soup. Can you imagine having sea
Ew.
robin soup?
The little wing sticking out.
Oh, my God. Who would do that?
That's what I do every morning. See Robin.
Not anymore.
Sal and Troy will both
Not every morning.
are both offering to
No,
which
shit.
the Twinkie or
Gotta be in
the
the building. In
The banana.
the banana and Sprite challenge.
What?
Troy and Sal are willing to compete in the.
Well, what's the official challenge?
All right.
Did you look it
hold
up?
on. Banana.
Sprite challenge.
You take these bananas.
Is that Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Jesus Christ.
You take these bananas.
No one's. I won't tell nobody.
I won't tell nobody. You take these bananas.
Yeah, you take the bananas and flip on the peels or something.
Yeah, it's basically you eat two bananas and drink as much Sprite as you feel comfortable with.
And then what happens?
Your stomach, there's a reaction, I think, between some of the acids or something in the Sprite and the banana, and something isn't supposed to mix well together, and then you supposedly can't keep it down.
That's always a good
Oh,
thing.
you can't keep it down.
Do you have one banana and a glass of Sprite?
I think you might need more than that, but you could try it. I think from watching some of these videos, I think the tolerance was very dependent on the person. Some people didn't need much Sprite, and other people needed a lot of Sprite. But and some people weren't affected at all.
My nickname was Sprite.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Hi, Sprite. Hi, guys.
Now I'm pretty sure that this will work with Sierra Mist also.
Sprite's here, guys. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sprite.
Hey. What are you doing?
Is this
I guess this is
banana Sprite
One
challenge?
of the
that?
videos? Let's take a look at this. I never heard of this one.
What is it? What is this video right now?
Well, it's a video of nothing because it fucking won't play.
There it is.
But what?
And then immediately drink two.
All right, hold on.
All right.
We're already about to throw up. We just had a Waffle House, so we're already sick.
All right. So they have the two bananas, which they're doing in fast motion now.
One banana down. I'm not feeling so good.
Why? That's just banana. That's
2
easy.
a.m. in the morning.
They're probably
2
drunk.
a.m. It's actually 2:30. I'm about to throw up, man.
Let's get to the soda.
Yeah.
2 bananas.
Big deal.
All right, neither of us are feeling very good. We just ate 2 bananas. We're already like full from Waffle House. Sprite.
What's that?
Oh!
All right, they're drinking Sprite.
Yeah. The fast forward.
This is the point in the video
He's
where
sweating.
you need to mute your audio if you don't like the sound of throwing up.
He's got tears coming out of his
So
eyes.
right now, go down to that little speaker thing
He's all
and
flushed.
slide it down to nothing, because that was my first spray.
I'm right here.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
This guy is booping like a
Puking up
fire hose. It's coming out his nose. Oh, here he goes.
He didn't stick his finger down his throat either, right?
No.
I lost my entire dinner and midnight snack.
Midnight snack. I had a rap about that. Alright, so far I'm beating Brett. I've only thrown up a little bit. He is... Oh my god, I almost gagged looking at it. He's thrown up a little bit more than me.
Dude, let me see carrot.
You need to cut that shit out.
I mean,
That's disgusting. I'm about...
There's a bullfrog in the background. What part of the South are these motherfuckers?
Oh, that's the night. Apparently my stomach is unflinchingly rigid. I have not thrown up. It has been about 4 minutes. I'm still drinking my second Sprite. Still drinking my second Sprite. But things are looking promising. Guys, so we just finished. Brett threw up everywhere. I kind of want to show it to you guys, but I don't think you would appreciate it. I, however, didn't throw up. I kind of threw up a little bit, but I don't
Video
consider it.
stinks.
Yeah.
So
Good
in
when he,
conclusion,
good when he pukes. The
Yeah.
other guy
Oh,
puking.
absolutely.
Does the other guy
That was a
puke?
lot of
He definitely
puke.
projectile vomited.
That was a lot.
I don't like my nickname being bandied about.
Oh no! What are these muscle heads? What the fuck? There's a big bucket.
Big bucket.
You know muscleheads will get it done. They always gotta go way too far.
Projectile vomiting all over the floor.
look at this swag.
There's one bucket in the middle of the floor.
Wow. The one guy sprayed the other guy with vomit. There's a third guy drinking it.
He's pushing his head away from the bucket in mid-puke. Oh, my God.
Are you guys kidding me?
Dude, that happened way too fast.
I'm gonna finish my Sprite because I'm not.
I had no idea this was a thing.
I never had a good time throwing up with all my friends. Like,
Nah.
I would love to do that, then go in for a meeting with Bladder.
Do you really need the Sprite bananas?
All right, we'll break. We got Greg Gutfeld. He's coming in to promote his new
he's coming
book.
up.
Yes.
The Joy of Hate by Greg Gutfeld. How to Triumph Over Whiners in the Age of Phony Outrage. Cool. We haven't seen Greg in a while on this show, anyway. Stay there.
Sirius XM. The Opie and Anthony Show.
Let's do this. Greg Gutfeld in studio. New book, The Joy of Hate. How to Triumph Over Whiners in the Age of Phony Outrage. It's been a while, man.
It's been like at least a year or so. I think the last time I was here, somebody urinated next to me.
Nice.
Oh, do you remember that?
goddamn, yes.
Well, I don't
That'll
remember
be two
that.
times in a row because I
Yes.
feel one coming.
Yeah, you were testing the stainage on one of your interns because he had gotten drunk and denied that he had wet himself. So you had him recreate it next to me.
Test it.
And at 9 a.m. with a hangover, it was the worst possible thing you could do. I almost threw up.
That was
funny.
bad.
We do this shit on a daily basis, and we just forget about
forget,
it.
yeah.
But to the guest, it's like a memory they'll never.
It scarred me.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know what it was. The thing is, when you walk into a bathroom, you kind of you become acclimatized to the smell of the bathroom when you go in there. But when you're in a small room like this, that smell.
Yeah, normal bathroom smells make you almost vomit, but then in the bathroom you're just like, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it.
Danny, who was this? I don't remember this at all.
That was intern Evan, Swivel Hips.
Swivel
Danny,
Hips,
are you
okay.
farting in this motherfucker?
No,
Jimmy?
No.
Not me.
That was fucking Jimmy. God damn it.
No, it
It's
wasn't.
terrible.
No, it wasn't.
So give me a break for like 1 fucking hour.
I
I want to
tried.
play poker with Jimmy Norton.
It's my fault for bringing up the gruesome
damn,
odors.
it's terrible.
Baby
Oh, my
powder
God.
spray.
That's
First
a-
invention ever.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is that what they give to lap dancers?
Yes. They always smell like that and sweat.
Yes.
It
And
doesn't quite
desperation.
cover. Yes, a lot of
That's the
desperation.
best smell.
They smell like forgotten dads.
Yes. I got to ask you something about
Sure.
yesterday, the 5. I saw Bob
Yeah.
drink your Twinkie concoction. It was 4 Twinkies and milk in a blender.
Yes.
And you poured it out. You took a little sip. Everyone around the room took a little sip and went, wow, that is really tasty.
Yeah, and then he had to Bob always has to outdo everybody.
Of course.
And that was just because I heard, like, they were going to liquidate Hostess, so I thought, ooh, liquidate.
Let's liquidate.
That's how I hear.
Liquidate Twinkie.
Yeah, that's why you get the big bucks.
Exactly. That's him in the high 5 figures.
Yeah.
And so he... of course, it's Bob, so Bob has to outdo everybody, and he downed the whole thing, which was 4 Twinkies.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was that thing. Everybody knows that feeling when, hey, that was awesome, everything's great, and we're about to do something, and then you get that kind of like cold panic sweat that something's happening, like an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And you saw it on his face, and he just kind of like. I thought maybe he was going to throw up right there.
Right there.
But then he he's never done that before. He took off the mic, he took off everything and
He
ran out.
walked off.
Yeah, he walked off.
Has anyone heard from him since?
Yeah, he's fine, apparently.
Okay.
He's fine.
I was wondering if you put him in like a diabetic coma or he vomited.
Wouldn't it be great, though, but by some weird discovery, it cures something? Like it comes, all of a sudden, he's like, he's got like a full head of blonde hair. And so Twinkie Shakes actually have some kind of...
He's conservative.
Yes.
He's changing political views.
The Twinkie Shake.
Yeah, it flips you completely no matter where you are.
Exactly.
What a mess that whole situation is. They're trying to save 18,000 jobs. We didn't mention that before the break.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a biggie. It's like,
the
I don't
judge
know.
is basically saying, look, we can't afford to have 18,000 people out of work, so let's try to figure this shit out, guys.
Yeah.
So they give them a couple days, huh?
Yeah, when you look at it depends on who to talk to. You talk to management, it's all union's fault, and then the vice versa. But from what I've seen in the past, a lot of times these unions will negotiate their way right out of a job.
Yeah, it's like
it's astounding.
They know the end result. They can see the end.
Yeah.
And they still walk right at it. They go, well, anything we do is going to kill jobs, but because of our principles and our, I don't know, just the way we think about, our role. It's not about the worker, it's about the union. It used to be about the worker, now it's just about preserving the union. They walk right out that door. The one thing that amazed me about the whole thing is I didn't know. Like, it's a baker's union.
Right.
Who knew that you baked a Twinkie?
Yeah,
I thought you pulled it out of the ground. It's like it really is like a...
Just chemicals.
It's a chemical, but it's a beautiful chemical.
That's what I figure, like more of a chemical plant worker or a machine shop.
I would assume it's
someone
more,
that's just extruding these horrid cakes.
Right. It's like when you see those stock photos of people who work at like Apple when they're in these sterile environments in the clean room
with the mask.
There's this one Twinkie there, and they have to like move around it.
Baker.
Contaminated.
I don't picture the guy with the big white hat on, baking. There's dough and fucking flour around. No, it's Twinkies.
They got to get rid of radioactive material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Twinkies.
I haven't eaten one in 10 years.
I don't think they're that great.
I like Ho-Hos.
Yeah, Ho-Hos all good.
Ho-Hos were good. And then
Frozen
if you remember,
Ho-Hos.
Frozen Ho-Hos.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
How well does that cream freeze?
It's great. It's great. You slice it. It's almost like an hors d'oeuvre. Like if you're entertaining a frozen ho-ho.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The forgotten Hostess cake that no one ever wants to
Ring
reference,
dings?
though.
Yeah.
No, Funny Bones.
Funny
that
Bones.
was a peanut butter Yodas.
Oh, they're so good.
Those
I ain't
were
into
good.
that.
I
Funny
enjoyed a
Bones are
good
the
funny
shit.
bone.
Who made the ring dings? Maybe not Hostess.
Ring dings are Drake's.
It was a ripoff.
Drake's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
I
ring
feel
dings.
like there should be a rumor started about a mid-'70s rock star in a frozen ho-ho. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm getting some.
Why did it? Yeah.
It's in page 84 of the Rod Stewart autobiography.
Yeah.
It's about how he had to go to the ER to get a frozen ho-ho removed.
We should get one of our gals to, fucking fool around with herself with
please.
with a frozen Twinkie.
Oh man.
Why not?
Does Hostess owns Drake's?
No, Drake's. You know what it is? It's like Hellman's and Best Foods. Do you
Yeah.
ever know when I grew up on the West Coast, Best Foods did mayonnaise, and then you came over to the East
Best
Coast,
Food.
and it was
Ah,
Hellman's.
okay.
It was free. And then Lay's is on the West Coast. No, wait. Laura Scudder is on the West Coast, and Lay's is on the East
I
Coast.
never heard of Laura
That's potato.
Scudder?
That's a
Yeah.
potato chip.
What's that?
Scudder's the big
Just no
potato
Lays.
chips.
Yeah.
I never heard of the other one. Laura Scudder.
Laura Scudder was the national or the
Drake's
major.
owns,
West
Is this going to affect Drake's cakes at all? Because
Yes,
I
it's a
love
Hostess
it.
brand.
I love a Yankee Doodle.
What? I'm glad it's going out of business. Bunch of fucking fatzos have nothing to eat.
To coffee cakes.
No!
Dude, the Drake's coffee cakes. and
Goodbye.
stuff?
Those
Why
are
is everyone
so
talking
good.
Yes,
Twinkie
they
when
are.
Drake's has like the shitload of
I
better
used to
things?
like the
Drake-
coffee cakes.
Yeah, it's the one with the
Way
creamy
better than
center.
the Twinkie.
The
Oh,
one
I
with the
remember
creamy
that one.
center.
I didn't need the
That was
creamy
goddamn
center.
good, too.
I like a creamy center.
How much-
And I have one.
How much sweetness do you need?
I don't know.
lot.
It's weird though because you do enjoy it, and then afterwards you get shaky.
Yeah, you
and
just don't like it.
I mean, it is a cause and effect.
Let's run down the
Yeah.
products really fast. I see you had it in front of you there. Dan.
Wonder
Go
Bread.
back one more.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
We got.
Oh,
Well, this is
hoes?
just a cross section. Too.
Okay, let's do
But
this.
We got some donuts.
I love donuts.
Yeah, those are great.
Don't forget those Hostess cupcakes with this twirly do on
Right.
top.
Not a fan.
Never liked
come
those
on.
really.
You know, the worst thing was the Suzy Q because when you
Suzy
bit into
Q.
them, it would just get all over your hands.
And
Yeah.
it would almost, you feel the granules of sugar in that
Yeah.
cream kind
Yeah.
of
I
crunching.
like a Suzy Q though.
you get, and yes, and
I find it a delightful snack.
No, he had none. No, he was just stating a fact. That's all. Not everything leads to a joke. He just
That's
loves
right.
Suzy Q's.
That's right. I don't play games with Drake's
That's
Cakes
right.
or
He
Hostess
doesn't fuck
products,
around
Greg.
with
You'll learn that about me.
What else we got? We got the
Ho-Hos, the
fruit pies.
donuts, the
Yep.
cupcakes, the
Yep.
Twinkies, the Suzy Q's, going bye-bye. Fruit pies.
I used to love the fruit pie.
I will say a fruit pie. I had one recently.
I used to do cherry, I think.
They don't hold up.
Good shit.
They were amazing. Like I would smoke pot when I was in the 80s, but now they don't quite hold up. I had one a couple years ago.
they were fun when you were a kid because the flaky outside exterior
yeah.
was
Yeah,
great.
it's delicious.
And then, but you know what beat them? The McDonald's apple pie.
Oh,
when they
fuck
invented
yeah.
that. When they invented
Game
that, then-
over?
yeah, Hostess just said
I
like
think
we
I liked
can't.
the fruit pies over the
Oh, it was like
They're- oh,
a
it's great.
chimichanga filled with hot apples.
They're fucking.
Yeah, remember you
tribute to
burn everything.
You
They're
burn
tribute-
everything in your mouth.
It's a tribute to Vietnam's napalm.
It
That
was-
shit.
and you would have this. You have amnesia about what you might have had one a week earlier and burned your mouth.
Yeah.
Forget that's what you
You
do.
can never let it cool enough.
Yeah.
You always
Shards of
burn
flesh.
something. Your
Yeah.
tongue, your lips, your
Again,
fucking
slice.
chin.
You should cut it open, let it cool. There should be classes.
How about honey buns? Are those?
Honey
I had one. I had one on a flight. That was their breakfast.
Wow.
On a Continental United was a honey bun.
Pretty goddamn good.
That's Little Debbie's. We're in luck.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
let's stick with Drake's and Hostess, please.
Yeah, honey buns are amazing.
What?
What are we doing? Sorry. You want to go back
did you
to this?
do all of them?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
that's
we're
the ding dongs, fruit pies.
I love
don't
a
even know
ding
what a
dong.
zinger is.
I don't remember
Come on.
zingers.
We should come up with new but non-existent Hostess.
Like just weird names
Crackles.
for those.
Crackles are amazing.
Hostess Crackle.
Hostess Crackles.
I love a good
like
Klurdsmerk. Yeah, that's a cookie filled with spinach.
That would be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
What's it called again? Do you remember?
A Klurdsmerk.
I don't think it would be a big seller.
And it would always be stocked at one of your relatives. That would be the only thing they have there.
Hey, while you're out, why don't you grab a pack of Shorns?
Oh my god.
I love
this Shorn.
A Shorn is delicious.
What's in a
What's
Shorn?
that?
It's made out of seaweed. It's cone shaped and it has one chocolate chip on top. These are terrible. Yeah. A Hostess Shorn. Have Hostess Shorn parties.
Worst products names ever.
That's great.
Someone's beating you to your spinach cookies.
Oh, see, I told you they're delicious.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a.
Do they have chips in them at least?
What's that?
That looks like zucchini.
I hate zucchini.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Zucchini bread's not bad.
Zucchini
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah, it's just ask-
Always.
Yeah.
You can
No,
do
I
it.
don't
Spinach
like that
cookies.
shit.
There you go.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why do people want to do that?
With adzuki.
If I want spinach, I have spinach. I want a cookie, I want a cookie.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
the 1970s. They
Yeah,
created
yeah,
the
Right.
idea that somehow your parents' sweets or your parents' desserts were not correct.
Not good. So
Yeah.
we'll try to bamboozle you.
Yeah.
You can't even get a gerbil anymore. I used to love a good gerbil.
What
What's
was
in
it?
a gerbil?
What was in a gerbil?
A gerbil was a circular, and it was a coconut flaking with tuna fish inside. It was wet tuna fish and dry flaky coconut. And what you'd do is you'd put a gerbil at each cheek and allow them to dissolve in your mouth.
Do you know what? We're similar in age. Do you remember when that it was a very early promotion of sardine Pez, where it was just the Pez dispenser with a sardine jammed into it, and you just open it up and you bit the head off? See, it didn't work for me.
No?
Wow.
Are you serious?
That was a joke.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
I was sitting there like, wait a minute.
I'll tell you why you didn't get. You
Your
got
acting's
me
too good.
because you said when we were. You remember when we were young? I was like, all right, maybe this is a legit thing.
Yeah, yeah. Concept is funny.
See now, everybody would have laughed if you'd said it, but I ruined it by trying to do a preface, a story.
Yeah, you had to
It
let people know
happens.
it was ludicrous. Like, how about this one is a ridiculous?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I've had different Pez flavors before, but never anything of sardine.
I'm
we
ex-
all just left you hanging on that like a bunch of creeps. Like, oh, Greg, that was legit.
Nice try, Greg.
I want to read this book there, sir.
Yeah, let's delve into The Joy of Hate. I absolutely just got the title immediately. I understand it. If
You
anybody,
should.
yeah,
You should.
What's the
if
problem?
anybody reads my tweets and hears this radio show, they understand. I know what the joy of hate is.
Yeah.
And like you've said, and you've described it in this book, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's a chore.
Yeah.
But there's such a joy that comes from utter hatred and just despising people's phony outrage.
Exactly. And the funny, it is the people that claim to be the most tolerant.
Yes.
That are by far the most intolerant people you will ever meet. And it's like somebody who says that they're your biggest fan when they go to a comedy show. There might be one joke that upsets them because they might have chronic fatigue syndrome.
Right.
And they've been following you for 8 years. And then you say a joke about chronic fatigue and then I can't listen to you anymore.
Right.
You are not funny.
You know, that isn't
crossed the
very
line.
funny.
That isn't very funny. It's like, well, wait a second. So you were laughing at all the fat jokes.
Right.
You
Until it hits too close to home.
Yeah,
Right. You're fine with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, people create these false ideas of offense. Like, that's too close to home. And they go, but no, wait, you're not even part of that group.
Yeah.
You're just doing this because you see a scalp of contrition. You can go and you can see an opening where you can use your emotion to hurt somebody. That's what modern hate is about. Gotcha. It's about they don't really even care because then they forget about it. After they get you, after they force you to apologize, then they move on and then they're like they don't even remember it.
It's attention seeking too.
It's attention seeking.
They use the words of a performer. They're like weird, like weird parasite special interest groups where they will as soon as a performer they got a gotcha.
Yeah.
They jump onto your back and they make you parrot their message.
Right.
So their outrage is very insincere. They just see it as an opportunity to get some attention.
Yeah,
for
to get a
themselves.
celebrity endorsement.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
And then they're
what?
off.
The guy.
But hold on, before you move on,
Yeah.
why do we deal with that shit as a society? Why?
Because
we should know better.
I think we have become paralyzed by the idea of being perceived as mean. We are in a sensitive. This country is so sensitive right now that even compliments. If you tell people, you know what, you should get up early, go to work, which is a compliment because you're assuming that they can do it. That's considered mean. Like just basic common sense is now unacceptable or even bigoted.
Like I told a
a lot
woman
of
one
things are
time,
bigoted, yeah.
like the workplace, you can't. Like there's a girl who started working here, so I said to her, like, "Wow, the way that dress hugs you. If we were in an elevator, I'd probably take it out and tug it." And I didn't even use any profanity, but all of a sudden, she has a problem. Yeah,
that's not what I really talk about in the book.
Right.
That's not page 58.
No, that's not in the book. No.
By the way, Greg is doing a bunch of signings too, and it's G Gutfeld, GUTFELD.com. If you want to get a
GG.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Because it's Greg is the first G, so it would be GGutfeld.com.
You know,
GG
or dailygut.com is the other.
I randomly opened your book to the chapter that's entitled "Poop Stars."
Yeah, that was about. I think that's about Occupy Wall Street.
Oh, okay.
And how the press hated the Tea Party because it reminded them of their parents, even though they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't break anything. I always say they never throw chairs through windows because they own both of them. Whereas the Occupy Wall Street, they were young, romantic. The media saw themselves in Occupy Wall Street, so they cut them so much slack to a point where these guys are pooping on cop cars. There's sexual assaults. There's drugs everywhere. But instead of the media focusing on that, they walked away from it. They stepped back and they said, nothing to see here. Even President Obama was like, he gets the sentiment until they saw that it was more than sentiment that was being all over the floor.
You're not wrong at all because I went down to Occupy Wall Street a lot, and most of the people very close to the movement down there didn't take them seriously at all. They pretty much openly would mock and laugh at them. But then how the media portrayed it was completely different.
Yeah. You know what it is? To me, the reason why Occupy Wall Street was so successful or appealing is because there's no good open-air concerts anymore. It's like if we just had more Lollapaloozas and more Day on the Greens, we'd have all these people at concerts and we wouldn't have to have them
You're outside, you're partying, you're
high.
hooking up.
Instead, they have to go to Zuccotti Park and crap everywhere.
I had fun going down there every day.
There were cute girls.
It was amazing.
Yeah, but then
the drumming alone was great every day.
But you know what's funny? The press made it seem so big, and when you look at it, it
Tiny
wasn't big.
space.
And then the poor, I loved it. The tourists would come down because they'd hear about it. It'd be like seeing the naked cowboy, except it's the half-naked heroin addict. And they would take pictures, and then all of a sudden it would get uncomfortable because there would be people that had become part of the group that were either ex-cons or just homeless people, and then you don't want if you're a tourist from Germany, you don't want like 4 guys with no pants, surrounding your kids.
What I noticed as the weather got colder, you got much more scarier people hanging out down there.
Yeah.
When it was warm, it was all fun, bunch of hippies, smoking pot, drum circles. But when that weather started hitting, you did see the convicts and the people that
they started getting their free food and clothing, and that's the only reason they were there.
Problems.
I love the celebrities that would go down there and like one day for an hour.
Yep.
Here's some food, and then they kind of go, we got to get out of here. And then all disappear. And I think Jay-Z was one of the first people down there, but at least he had the guts to say, this is BS. And he was like, you know what? I'm a capitalist, and these guys don't like capitalism. I'm paraphrasing it, but he was like, I guess he was there with Russell Simmons, who bought into it completely. By the way, Russell Simmons should look and see that these are white liberal intelligentsia. These are not revolutionaries. These are people that are either were paid, their student loans were paid for by daddy and mommy or paid for by us.
You raised a brilliant point one time about the Tea Party and how the press went after them and mocked them for their being racist and terrible, when the reality is they were protesting against higher taxes. They were protesting for something that most people can kind of relate to. And yet these other ridiculous movements, whether it was the way Code Pink goes about business or somebody else, they don't attack the way they ridiculed the Tea Party.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And the Tea Party actually was, okay, if you look at celebrities, they like to see themselves as very edgy and speaking truth to power. The Tea Party actually was speaking truth to power. Occupy Wall Street was like French kissing power. They wanted bigger government. So the people like Jon Stewart, making light of the Tea Party. So he was actually mocking people who speak truth to power, which to me is like that's completely not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to align yourself with these people never protested. They didn't know what the Tea Party people didn't even know what they were doing.
No.
The worst thing that happened was like grass stains, or they got in an argument over potato salad.
People were always trying to accuse them of being racist and yelling out things when they were gathering somewhere.
Or MSNBC doctoring, like editing so that they didn't show that a guy who was wearing a gun was black. They just showed like his waist.
The gun.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah, they did.
Another thing with the Tea Party is their whole platform, not the whole platform, but the hugest part of their platform is they want to elect Tea Party candidates that are completely against raising taxes.
Right.
There isn't a compromise. There isn't. That's their platform. Their constituency has said, we don't want our taxes raised.
Yeah.
So then they goof on them about not compromising. But that's what they're representing their people honestly.
It's like
they're actually saying we're not going to raise taxes.
Yeah, it's like going to a football game and complaining there aren't enough innings or something. It's just like, no, that's what they do. You moron.
Hey, Occupy Wall Street, it's like there were celebrities that go down that give treats. Like I went down there one day and I handed out lemon curds.
What Hostess puts those out?
Yes, they're the size of an everlasting gobstopper. They're lemon and it's filled with milk and salmon eggs.
Oh God. The worst combination. Salmon eggs would be bad enough. The milk makes them run down your face.
Of course. I love a good box of lemon curds.
Okay, this has to be a book of Jim Norton's magical treats.
Yes.
You can just get a great photographer.
He still hasn't written his other idea. What is it? Boats down there?
Oh yeah,
he's got another idea.
I wanted to take photos from bridges of boats and just call it Boats Down There, and just have
it's going to be a coffee
table book.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So he's got to write that first before he does his snack book. Well, what else is in the book there, Greg Gutfeld?
Just
The Joy of Hate.
Other crap. Talk about being a smoker. Do you guys? None of you guys smoke,
I
right?
quit smoking.
No.
You still smoke?
Yeah, I still smoke a little bit, not as much as I used to. But it's the idea that because in our culture you cannot make fun of people. Oh, there's boats down there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, see?
Because you can't make fun of anybody anymore, smokers are an acceptable target. So
That's
I have
true,
a whole chapter about how people have heckled me while walking down the street, not because they know me, but because I'm smoking.
Well, you guys just look silly at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, where you could stand in a 2 foot by 2 foot.
We are lepers.
Smoke.
We are lepers.
I do find it funny.
I find that I miss that because I've gone out with you guys after the show and stuff, and you know, when you sit and then you guys take off and go outside to smoke.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out on half the conversation because I'm only getting the inside the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the outside the bar
and
is where the good
they're
shit is
hanging
being
out
said.
talking. I'm like, what's?
A, you can hear the person. B, you can definitely shit talk.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It also forces you to be with, because you might not like the person you're smoking with. So you're out there with that person making conversation when you just want to be alone.
Here's haven't you had fascinating conversations under those circumstances where you know someone smokes, you're like, oh fuck, let's have a cigarette together, and you're talking to someone you most likely would never talk to? Or
no, I think it's the opposite. I think you're out there, and generally there'll be the drunk women who are out with the girls' night out, and they never smoke, and they've had like 4 chocolate, and like, oh my god, this is now they're going to smoke, and they look at you like a cigarette tree. It costs $15 for a pack of smokes, and so I say no, and it's great because a woman like in her late 20s will come up and they'll be very, oh hi, how are you, blah blah blah, give me a second, and you say no, and then they just unleash invective.
Yeah.
It's like screaming. I go, oh well, that's how you really feel about me,
because they can't grasp that you're not fucking kissing her ass and giving her a cigarette.
I'm not going to give you a cigarette because you think you're cute.
When did you stop giving away cigarettes because they were just flat out too expensive?
When they went up in
but
price.
At what price?
I think around $8.
And they're now $15 a pack.
About 13 and a quarter.
Oh, yeah,
but
13
$14.
Crazy.
Yeah, but no, I can't. Now it's like. You basically ask. I go. You're no different than a panhandler. You're asking me for $1.
Yeah.
You know, and I see the same people on where I live, and I engage them. I go. You spend so much time bothering me when you could just work and buy yourself a pack of cigarettes.
Do you know? Here's the conversation you're missing out on outside. Yeah. It's fucking cold. I gotta quit.
You're right. You're right. That's right. I'm trying to. I mean, it is. It's. Oh, but the thing is, I worked at Men's Health. I did a long story on cigarette studies. Most of the studies were done on heavy smokers or people that smoked a pack, or maybe I think the minimum was 10 a day. I never rise above like 7 cigarettes a day, and I think that like anything, that's moderation,
right?
Light moderation, and
you don't feel different health-wise. Now that you've been at it a while,
I can tell after a long night of drinking and smoking, the next day is horrible. But I can't figure out which one is doing it.
It's amazing to me that you're as productive as you are, because Gutfeld writes a lot of just these when you would do the fucking. Oh God, what were the monologues called? The Gregologues.
Yeah.
And now doing this show, you're extremely high functional productive for a guy who basically lives like I did in 1985. Greg gets a lot of stuff done.
A lot of drinking,
but
Greg.
You know what I always have that internal discussion that all of this stuff has to go at some point. As I'm 48, but I wonder what happens. I don't know. Like,
you'd be more productive. You're not going to lose you. We convince ourselves that these weird addictive behaviors are a part of who we are, and a part of our being, and a part of our makeup and personality and persona, but they're distractions. And I know because I'm still that way with sex. It's really like, what will I be without it, or what would I be without cigarettes? And I'm much more productive without cigarettes.
What's your thing?
Boy, you must have been really not productive.
A lot of drinking, Greg.
I drink a lot of wine.
A lot of wine.
A lot of wine. Yeah, I probably drink like 4 times a week, and I probably have maybe 3 or 4 glasses.
Wine is some good shit, man.
Yeah, but it's the
horrible hangover.
I don't get the hangover with red wine. White wine I do.
Brutal.
But then I end up smoking, and I can't figure out if there's 3 variables: lack of sleep, the wine, or the cigarettes that makes you feel bad. I don't know.
I remember the cigarettes though were terrible because when you're out drinking, you do smoke more. Holy shit. And especially when you could smoke in the bars, it was just insane. You would not even. Sometimes you forget that you had a cigarette,
and you light up another one.
You light another one, and you're like, "Oh, I had one lit."
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing, especially when you're traveling and you end up in a state where you can still smoke in a bar, and you have to do it, and you feel like you're in Mad Men. This is the greatest feeling ever.
You forget though. You forget.
Yeah, how that was. But I
Where
mean,
you came
hacks.
home, I mean, as a non-smoker, and everything would
Stunk,
smell.
dude, and I can't believe we didn't notice that back then.
Halfway there, yeah.
Or
You couldn't even go to a
your
sporting
cars.
event.
Everyone's car
Yeah.
just reeked of cigarette smoke.
Exactly. And
Airplanes
you would go on
everywhere.
a road trip for 4 hours with somebody who smoked, and you never complained. And he'd just be going like this and putting it out in this big. Remember, the ashtray would be overflowing,
Oh, my
like
God.
with 50
Yes.
cigarettes, and you were just kind of like. And then you would run out of smokes, so you'd go into the ashtray.
Yeah,
and
find a clip.
Find anything you can that you
Yes.
can smoke.
And I forgot. Remember ashtrays? Like how I like now because I have a line of ashtray hats and earrings I make. Where they're really
You're so creative.
It's like a little. It's a glass ashtray that you go on your head and it rubber band ties under your chin, and it's listed on my website. Lovely cigarette accessories.
You should come up with some nicotine snacks.
Yeah,
That would
that's
be delightful.
from
If
Hostess.
they could do marijuana snacks at these medicinal joints.
Yeah, what's wrong with a little tobacco?
What
Yeah.
a little bit of little tobacco candy for
Yeah,
adults.
a cigachew. You call it a cigachew. It's
I remember being a kid, my dad driving and just smoking his Tarrytons like crazy with the windows rolled up completely. And you're just basking in a smoke cloud. The ashtray, too, that giant pull-out ashtray, right above it on the dashboard thing, it looked like a window from a house that had a fire. Like it was just all black and goopy.
Yeah, but you know what? So what's happening then is we, as a people, are evolving into these weak creatures that if we smell cigarettes, we get nauseous. It's like, or we do the fake cough. Whereas when we were kids, we could be in a tight, tiny Honda Civic, like in a cloud of smoke, and our eyes wouldn't get red, we wouldn't get nauseous.
Nothing.
But now we're like weak.
But even worse than that, our parents were smoking when they were pregnant with us.
Yes, my mom was.
So
Yeah,
right to the
That's
womb,
definitely
we were
smoking and
we were
drinking.
getting some fucking smoke.
Smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
I
Smoking
went
and
cross
drinking.
country in a
That made
Ford
us stronger.
Pinto with my dad and his girl and my brother. And she smoked Marlboro Lights, he smoked Tarrytons, and we were in the back laying down in that Pinto hatchback. That car was that's great. That car was smoked out the entire drive. 3,000 fucking miles.
The windows would be all cloudy because of the smoke.
And they would get that brown, like, tinge to them, everything. The headliner, remember the headliners on the old cars?
Yeah.
They were like white with the little pinholes in them, it looked like. And it would turn like brown. Just turn brown.
This is what young people are missing in life. I mean, how can you get? I mean, that was abuse. That was abuse.
Like Jimmy's asshole is right now. No, it would be considered abuse right now. Literally would be considered child abuse.
No, they do say you can get in some
Putting it on my
states.
wall. Thank you.
Some states, you can be arrested or fined. I'm not sure which. If you are smoking with a kid in the backseat, they introduced this bill.
No kidding.
I don't know if they passed it, but I remember. Isn't it great how I have 10% of a news story?
That's all you need.
And I'm just saying that it happened.
And you're different than
But we're
us.
not-
How?
We're nodding like we've heard it too.
Yeah, exactly.
We're right there with you. I never heard this.
There were
one.
even other things like that. The back window of the cars used to have that shelf. It used to have like speakers in there and stuff. As a kid, I would crawl up there and just like lay down as my dad's doing 70 miles an hour. I would have been the little projectile.
Yeah, no seatbelts.
No
No wonder
seatbelt,
everybody
no
was
care.
dying.
But it was
When
a
you
little
were growing
warmer up there too.
Yeah, you
like,
always knew people that were dying because
car
of
accidents
car
were like all
accidents.
the time.
you were like a lizard, just sunning yourself.
Just
And it was
sunning
just
up
a little
there.
warmer up there. Ah, nice.
Any tap the car would take in any direction, you were a fatality. Didn't matter. Everything was
amazing.
iron. Everything fucking metal.
Do they even still do those things in school? Those
Hamburger on the Highway and those films.
The films that
Oh,
like
I'm
were
sure they do. Yes.
I don't remember like.
They
Yeah,
put-
I remember
Mine
when
was
I was
Red
a kid seeing
Asphalt.
that. Red Asphalt was a good one. Yeah, we
Which, by
called
the way,
those
is one of
Hamburger
your-
on the Highway.
One of your snack cakes.
Yes, it is.
It is, Jimmy?
The red asphalt. Yes.
What's in it?
Well, it's a chocolatey, delicious treat with a lot of Tabasco sauce in it, and it's called the red asphalt.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah, it is. It's delicious. And it's spelled ASS-FAULT.
it's like an
and there's a
asphalt.
winky face after
Because
it.
of what happens afterwards.
As in, see what we're doing here. huh?
Asphalt.
Yeah. What else about the book there, Greg Gutfeld? I want to make sure we sell a lot of copies
This
here.
Joy of Hate.
I love how you go after the mainstream media. I'm a huge fan of that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Huge
it's like
fan of that.
they're the biggest dupes in the what I would call the modern tolerance movement, and they don't even see that it can turn on them, because they will join with the rest of the clowns. Let's say if you say something on this show, there'll be other people in the media that will dive in and say and go after you for
with
it.
their outrage.
With
yeah.
their outrage. But then a month later, one of their guys will do the same thing.
Yep.
And it's now Twitter.
Kyle Roker.
Yeah. Twitter has created an entire universe of people apologizing for something they tweeted. That guy that I have it in I have a chapter on this. The dude Roland Martin that tweeted about David Beckham.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, the guy that had to resign from the Oscars because he said rehearsal
that
is
was
for
Brett. That was Brett
Ratner.
To your
Brett
point
Ratner.
earlier, he was able to parrot a glad letter within an hour. With the moment he made that comment about gays, he said rehearsal is for the F word, and then he resigned in an hour. There was already a letter. It was like a very, very articulate letter, which he didn't write, saying how he was going to be, get more involved in these issues, and he's going to create a dialogue. And
You think he's done any of that stuff?
He disappeared.
Yeah,
And then he disappeared. No, he said what he did. He had to go through that period of.
But he wasn't talking about the gays.
I know.
And everyone knows that, especially our age.
That's the point of outrage.
Especially our age.
Yes. You know what it is? I have a chapter talking about the word misconstrued. Everybody knows what you mean, but they misconstrue it on purpose. It's like, we know that you weren't being homophobic, but because you used a word that we deem evil, we're going to come after you and say that. And it could be like, I have a chapter about a guy who said that he was in a Texas politician who said that all the paperwork was going through into a black hole. They were losing it, and then the judge and everybody said that's racist, and they attacked him for saying black hole.
Like it meant nothing.
We know what he meant. We know what he meant.
The problem is, too, when people are attacked with this stuff, you're right, it's a dishonest, it's not even misconstrued, it's a dishonest ignoring of the real meaning and the intended meaning.
Yes.
And people do not fight back with venom.
Yes,
like, they take an apologetic, I did.
Yeah.
Instead of attacking the dishonesty of the outrage.
They're immediately put on the defensive, and people, instead of attacking back and going, screw you, I didn't, they're like,
you apologize.
Well, I'm sorry, but look, I didn't mean.
Because the worst thing you could be called is a racist or a
homophobe or whatever. Sexist,
homophobic.
So if you're on a show, you make a mistake. The rest of the media should be going not even if it's a mistake, if it's just misconstrued. I'm trying to think of other things that you said or you would say 20 years from now, but because they could be misconstrued.
Don't be short with me. We'll eventually be.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't be allowed to say that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And Coulter took some heat for that.
Oh my
retard
God, calling
line.
Bob retard.
And Piers Morgan was just kind of going after her, and she just.
Yeah.
She's unapologetic.
Yeah,
I love it.
I envy her because she doesn't have a boss.
Right.
Yeah.
So she could just walk through life and say whatever she wants. And then she does what you do, what you said. If somebody comes at her, she says, screw you.
Yep.
She just says, screw you.
But even though she doesn't have a boss to answer to, let's say she did and everything happened the way it did. It just goes to show that you don't have to fire these people. She's been fine. People actually, when you fight back like that, they leave you alone.
Right.
They want the easy marks.
Yeah.
So if she had a boss, let's say, that let her just do it and didn't
They
tell her to
smell
apologize.
cowardice.
Yeah.
And they're bullies.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, too, about we have this modern bullying movement.
Yeah.
It's how hilarious is it that generally these people that are anti-bullying are the people that are bullying.
They're the ones bullying.
The only argument I heard that made sense to me, because this was after the Tracy Morgan said gays, or he said faggot, or he said something that was very, very unpopular with gays on stage. So I did a show on the Comedy Channel where I wanted to interview gay comic friends of mine and say, how do you feel as not only gay guys, but as stand-ups? And they kind of felt like, well, they don't like the language police. But a guy named Jim David raised an interesting point. I said, does it bother you that there's a double standard in the language? Because there is, and as a comic, that drives me nuts. And he goes, it doesn't bother me as much because he said it's not a level playing field in life. If it was a level playing field, it would probably bother me. And I'm paraphrasing. But I looked at his point, and I'm like, all right, that is a valid point. Like, he feels as a gay man, he's discriminated against, or he's not given the right to marry, or all these other things. So he doesn't feel bad for people if they have a disproportionate amount of being penalized in language. And I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I kind of see, like, it's not a crazy person's point of view.
Fucking robotic level playing field everybody wants. It's called fucking organic life.
No, but I'm
it's
saying
not level, and sometimes it's going to change year to year. The gays, I think, have a lot better now than they did years ago, like blacks and a lot of minority groups. But to keep saying that the field isn't level, then level it yourself through your actions and through perseverance and hard work.
But fair enough. But do you feel that, like, but when you're on the other side of the unlevel playing field, it's frustrating. Like with taxes. Yeah. I'm on the other side of the unlevel playing field, and I don't look at it like tough shit. I look at it like, stop taking my fucking money.
Stop taking my money.
I see how angry that makes me. But he wasn't being irrational. He wasn't saying, it's like he just can't live life the way he wants to live life because the government says you can't.
But how is me saying my friend's being a faggot because he won't come out and hang out at a bar that night?
Right.
Which means nothing sexually.
Agreed.
It's absolutely just he's being the old vernacular,
Right.
me growing up.
But you know what? I'm like fine with like getting rid of words. Like not getting, but like not using words. What bothers me is the outrage that comes from saying the word is so beyond what the crime is.
Right.
It's like, if let's say you said that and you're in a gay bar.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
And I probably wouldn't say it in that circumstance.
Not saying you wouldn't. It's funny.
I know.
wouldn't
Did you
say
hear
that.
Yeah.
You're not saying I wouldn't be in a gay bar. You're saying you're fucking mind your P's and Q's.
But the question is, where does it end?
Yeah.
Where does it end before
that's
enough
just
with
it.
banning all these words?
It's a very
because everyone wants their word banned now. Right?
Yes, everybody wants their fucking.
It started with the N word, and then it was the F word,
It gives
and
your
the R
little
word.
interest group a power base to be able to say, hey, look, we got a word that no one could use.
But
where does it end?
I'll tell you what's happening. I'm okay with like not using words if it makes sense. It is when they call it code words.
Oh, that
when
even got worse.
When it's like it's not. It's now 2 levels removed.
Yeah.
If you mention hip hop, somebody's into hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, what does that
Well,
mean?
Chicago at one point was being looked at like, he's playing Chicago politics.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well drop the N-bomb there and say that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
That becomes ridiculous.
This whole thing about what's the woman's name who's involved in the Benghazi thing? Rice.
Oh,
Susan Rice.
yeah.
Just actually criticizing her. Now it's like just criticizing is considered racist. It's like
can't
she's
imagine.
an African American woman.
Right. They cannot imagine why, by the way, the conservative, the right, the Republicans are getting on her and saying, because the left is pretty much saying, well, she was just given these notes and reading them. Yeah. How do you blame that? It's like, I remember another black woman named Rice that apparently just read the company line from her president and got shit on.
Yep.
But for some reason, she should just be left alone and leave this alone. She shouldn't testify. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? How this Benghazi thing is kind of bubbling over?
You know, the thing that bugs me is it should have been bubbling over before the election.
Exactly.
And everybody played along. The media played along.
They hid the scandal.
They hid the scandal, and it's crazy. And then on top you have the sex scandal, which is absolutely
fantastic. I can't get enough of this.
No, but at least you're honest about it, because the media would say, "Oh, we're so high-minded, we need a real thing." But then they avoid Benghazi and leap at Ben cheating because that's more fun.
That part of it,
that's more fun. And by the way, it is more fun because it's not as grim,
right?
But the fact is, the grim story is how you create Woodward and Bernstein's, how you win awards.
Yes.
You know, I can't believe there's no enterprising young journalist going boy, this Benghazi thing. The Washington Post should have somebody on
this.
It's
amazing how they just toe that line of the left and the Democrats. The fact of the matter is, I just saw that stat that came out the last week of the election. Not one negative Obama story on MSNBC, and not one positive Romney story on MSNBC.
Yeah.
For a whole fucking week, you couldn't find one thing, especially with Benghazi going on.
Yeah.
One thing to criticize the president on?
Why am I surprised? And it's a really weird disappointment I have in liberals. I'm kind of like libertarian, I think, like yourself. And the conservatives I've found to be very irritating with a lot of their free speech issues. And I have a lot of criticisms about Bush and the way the FCC was handled.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised. I don't know why I continually feel disappointed by the medias and liberals. I guess I still have a lot of. Why am I shocked? I know they're hypocrites. I know the conservatives can be hypocrites. I'm not shocked. Why am I shocked when liberals try to be hypocrites? I don't know why that still shocks me, but it does.
The worst thing, though, is, you're talking about the media is supposed to be the champion of free expression, and nobody cares that filmmaker's in jail.
Right.
Even the ACLU.
Where the fuck is he?
It's like nobody even talks about
no
him.
one.
They blame this whole thing on a filmmaker, and they find out it's a lie. So they find out the whole thing's not true, that there was no spontaneous mob. So they have this guy in jail, and they're saying up for a parole or a probation thing.
Probation
but they never would have known that.
Wouldn't have known it, and without any
Hillary,
of this,
Hillary
no
swore
one
they were going to pick him up.
No one ever would have spent this much time in jail for that type of violation.
But for a film, can you imagine in Obama's America, a filmmaker's in jail?
Filmmakers in jail.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy.
And where's the left?
Crazy.
That's why I hate the left lately, because they do not defend people anymore that they disagree with. The ACLU will sometimes fight for the Klan and things like that. But
they
the left,
did actually recently.
They do.
That's the
the left
easy
as a
thing
whole,
they're supposed to do, though.
because it's so obvious.
And when you say you're surprised, you're constantly surprised for some reason by the left. It's the perception of the left and the right.
Yeah.
The right's perception is these stiff motherfuckers.
Right,
so they
right.
don't disappoint you because they're acting like they're presented to you.
Rigid,
The
yeah.
left is being presented as this
Cool.
liberal, open-minded, look at us willing to accept.
Yeah.
And then so when they pull this shit, you're like, wait, this isn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
You guys are bullshitting us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's disappointing to me every time. And that's why I hit liberals a lot harder than conservatives. Because, again, I expect they claim to be this place of free thought and free expression. And I know they're just as full of shit, but yet every time I'm shocked and angered by
When the
it.
liberals call out Republicans or the right, it's never a surprising thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is... Occasionally you get the foot tapping under the bathroom stall door, which is a treat.
Larry Craig,
when that
yeah.
happens.
But also, it's so predictable.
Yes.
Their outrage. Like if they find out that I work for Fox News, it's the same kind of like faux news lies, or that kind of like and it's like, do you watch it? He goes, no, I don't watch it. I go, shut up.
Then
but
shut
it's
the
always,
fuck up.
Yeah, it's always the same kind of like tired thing, and the worst thing about it is they pretend to be edgy.
Yes.
They are not edgy.
They're fake mavericks.
Yeah.
They're fucking safe cornball rebels who are really towing a big company line, but they act like they're really screaming, like you said before, truth to power, and they're not.
Yeah.
I have seen so much like political diversity on Fox. More so than any other fucking...
Red Eye is a zoo.
It's
of
crazy.
weirdos.
You get fucking
weirdos.
hardcore. I think the last time I was on, I was sitting next to one of the most lefty motherfuckers, and we were laughing. But I've seen most of the shows I see on Fox. They present two sides. They have the left and the right.
Bill Schultz is very liberal, and he's Greg's co-host.
Yeah.
When I watch,
he's the most lefty person I know.
Oh yeah. You watch MSNBC though. Nary a fucking even somebody in the middle can't be found.
With that said, you ever run into the MSNBC guys?
Well,
and how do they treat you?
I every now and then I'll see somebody on the street, but there's no conversation. And I know Etsy.
You give each other dirty looks.
Yeah. But Etsy was a regular on Red Eye. Now she's their token.
She's the token conservative.
But I saw Ed Schultz once walking
what a
up.
blowhard.
He was wearing oversized khaki shorts and black socks. He looked like a German kid at fat camp. It's just fun.
Take that, Schultz.
We're sitting at that bar that we were at, the one we went to when Breitbart had the picture.
Oh shit! Yeah, was it Langen's? Or?
No, it was that other place.
Oh, the other place.
Pig and
With
Whistle,
the,
whatever.
yeah.
And he was we were out there and we were just watching Ed Schultz walk by, and it was like he looked like also he could have been drawn by the Mike Judge in King of the Hill. It's like with the shaky, squiggly line.
Seems like he's a bit of a phony.
Yeah, he's that guy is pure manufactured anger.
Of course,
they were campaigning for the president.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of the media was. You look
right?
at NBC and a lot of their edited things of Romney to make it seem like he was coming off like a buffoon instead of tagging on the last part of what he said, which pretty much justified the beginning. Like shit like that it's criminal.
Yeah,
it's fucking criminal.
Yeah.
The way they edit, like I twittered something about the 60 Minutes releasing the Obama.
Yeah,
that piece
a couple of days before the election. Yeah,
and I didn't care about that either way. And the people are like, well, why does it matter? My anger wasn't at the political side of it. It was at the media not releasing that, even after a stupid Candy Crowley interrupts incorrectly and backs up.
Amazing.
That's what bothered me was how that was not her job. This dummy interrupts wrongly, siding with the president. And I didn't care who was right or wrong. That issue didn't really matter to me. It didn't matter.
The issue was that she did anything in that situation.
And my issue was the way the media handled it, or when they edited in the Trayvon shooting. And NBC won't release the name of the scumbag who edits this. And the issue is not how you feel about race or politics. It's that the media is editing this stuff.
Editing it.
That's the disgusting part.
Oh, what does he look like? He's black! And they just cut out everything. Her saying, is he black? Yeah, I think he's black.
There's a whole industry, based on that. If you take away racism, then there's a lot of people out of work.
Oh yeah.
But, going back to that, the other thing too, that Crowley thing was bigger than you think because it scared
That's
Romney.
not a nice way to discuss her.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She was a monster.
Her interrupting changed the next debate.
Yes.
She scared Romney off the topic, and so the final debate, which should have been about Libya, he mentioned it twice. That was it.
I'll say that's Romney's fault though, because that's where Romney. Like,
I agree.
And I'm going to
patting Obama on the back.
Yeah,
that foreign policy debate. I thought Obama looked much stronger,
and Romney's
got
to work through that shit.
Yeah, he has to.
He's got to understand that. He's got to try to work through that.
Somebody told him not to go there, and that was bad. Between the combination of that and Hurricane Sandy.
And, the Sandy thing fucking
didn't help, right?
Yeah, and I mean, what are you going to do? So it's like. By the way, I mean, still, these things are cyclical. In 2 years, usually when you put liberals in charge, certain things happen that create more conservatives.
Right.
It's just the reason why Obama won and Romney lost is the Republican Party just doesn't know how to articulate their message. And
make it seem relevant.
Yeah.
They have a hard time with that. I think midterms. I think we're going to see some changes happen, but
it's unfortunate that there's just not a third option, and we talk about that a lot, and everybody talks about that. But I don't identify. Like, I envy people who have, like Ann Coulter, who I love. I disagree with not half what she says, but I'd say about 30% of it. I'm on the other side of the fence, but I envy the genuine conviction she has, like that feeling of this is who I am and how I feel. Like, I don't have that. I go back and forth, like I don't know.
People
I can't commit to one side.
Dedication to a side and actually look at it like you're a racist or homophobic or you can't. We've gotten to the point where you can't criticize the president or you're racist.
Yeah.
I mean, and not even just like by the idiot on Twitter. I mean, politicians, people that are supposedly running this country are saying, "Oh, you can't talk like that to the president. You're gonna, you're a racist."
It was actually a genius move.
Right? Brilliant.
It's like
can't criticize.
The Republicans got to find a gay Native American.
There you go. How dare you?
Yes.
Yes. You want to be able to say "How dare you," and the person go, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Holy, I'm sorry.
Raise my
I'm so
taxes.
sorry." Please.
What else in the book there, Greg? What
can I say something I opened up and saw in Greg's book?
Yeah.
Which I loved. It was a brilliant point about how they're complaining about it's racist to ask for IDs at the voting booth, Eric Holder. But when you want to go visit him, you have to show ID.
You have to show ID. Some guy, I can't remember who did that experiment. He would just try to walk in and they would stop him. But the whole thing is, it's like, you can argue about immigration all you want. But just the idea of talking about borders is now racist.
Right.
But every country has a border. In fact, the people that are leaving their countries to come here have tighter and better borders than we do.
Right.
And somehow, if we just say, look, we just want some kind of organization about immigration, just a way to get in, and I happen to think it's the more people, given the laziness of some of the, of the people born here that I know personally, I like, immigrants are great for a country, but you got to have a system.
There's got to be a system. But the second you say that you want some kind of system in place, they make it. They'll tell you these speeches about, this nation was built on immigration, and if we didn't have the people coming in, we wouldn't have this diversity and great. It's like, that isn't the argument you're making here. The argument is people swarming over here without being checked. I mean, it's dangerous to the economy. It's dangerous to national security. A system.
But just by using the word swarm.
Swarm is a bad code. That's a code word.
It's a code word.
Swarm.
You're comparing immigrants to bees.
Right. Just ruining us. Locusts. Eating the environment. Leaving devastation in their wake. Exactly.
Yes. So you're going to have to apologize for that. No, so the simple debate on borders, the argument of racism will always put you on the defensive.
Yes.
And,
but it shouldn't. And if you argue that point, if you argue, I guess, I want to say with rancor back, it backs people off because their argument is garbage anyway.
Yeah.
And I would never allow that to take place. I would never take an apologetic tone. And the problem is people are so scared by that, they take an apologetic tone.
I get into a lot of racial discussions on Twitter and whatnot. And I am absolutely unapologetic. I try to argue with as many actual statistics as I can and whatnot, but I will always be called out as a racist because it's the easiest thing to just peg on you. Once you have that scarlet R on your shirt, you're somehow, your point isn't valid anymore.
Yeah, especially when you put out that newsletter, I'm a racist.
Right.
Which is like,
I published that.
That's so brave of you, but it really does it puts a target on your back.
Does it?
Yes.
I just thought it explained a little more.
Yes,
my whole stance.
Yeah, it's White Hood Publishing is the name of it.
Your manifesto.
I guess I shouldn't link Stormfront to my Facebook page.
Yeah. KKK-LOL.
The fact that you know Stormfront scares me.
Yeah.
Stormfront's always a scary thing when you get a Google alert and it's Stormfront and if you go, oh God.
Yeah, what is this?
Hey, I'm beginning to like what this guy says.
Yeah, oh boy. I actually was reading a tad off of Stormfront, and David Duke was writing some shit for them, and I was reading it. Now, all I was thinking was, here's a guy, and obviously he was involved with the Ku Klux Klan.
He was the head of the Ku Klux Klan.
Involved, head of the Klan, who then decided to try to enter the system, the legitimate system. And I really don't see much of a difference between him and his hate group and him then going what they call legit than I do with Reverend Al and what he did and his instigating
Reverend
over
Al,
the years.
The fact that most people these days do not remember Tawana Brawley is an injustice. I mean, we all. I guess I was living.
Freddy's Fashion Mart, all that. The Greek homos, all these things he said.
He said horrible things.
Yeah.
The instigator in the Crown Heights episodes, where it was Reverend Al, and that he was invited to the White House to meet with the president over economics. It's like, what? Do you remember what he did? Would you have David Duke?
Yeah.
There. If David Duke said, oh, that was the past. Yeah, I was the head of the Klan, but look, now I'm just talking about conservatism. And no, they would never have him there.
Yeah.
Reverend Al gets a pass.
Yeah.
And goes after everyone else for doing the same thing.
Exactly. Oh, please.
That's what's amazing.
Al Sharpton went after Imus for saying nappy-headed hose, yet what he said...
But he said way worse.
Yeah. And he was responsible for people getting killed and ruining lives.
Yes.
Did you think he must hire somebody to scrub the web? Like, he must get that. You ever see that ad?
What's that service?
Yeah. He must have to do that every day because it's like his past is like poisonous weeds that grow.
Just keep growing.
I mean, there's so many incidents in his life that are just so despicable.
Right.
Like, you don't hear about it.
People don't hold him accountable.
And then MSNBC hires him.
I do think because he's also religious that I think that's
the guise of religion. Yes, because I don't think it's an honest religion.
Imus should have never went on his radio show.
No, Imus should have attacked him for what he did.
That was disappointing.
When he said, "I'm sorry, I said that. I didn't mean to say that."
And then
why you apologize?
And then basically he takes his spot on MSNBC.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. So
speaking of Imus, I was told that Greg mentioned me on Imus.
I did.
He said it was a nice thing. I didn't hear the clip though.
I can't remember. It's because I think I thanked you or something in the book, and then he said, "All right, Jim Norton's a great guy. He's a funny man. He's a funny man. I didn't read your book though.
I read it.
Bernie is a good guy."
Bernie will love.
Yeah, kids are doing well.
He's got sitting down with Imus.
He comes up with some thought starters.
He's.
And then you take that and run with it.
He's a good guy.
What do you do with that if he says it?
I just like doing this voice.
I know it's
great.
Coming up, fun though.
Coming up, we got a lot of stuff.
Give me one more topic in the book that's not politics, just so we make sure we sell this properly for you.
Moobs.
What?
First chapter's on moobs. This is a perfect example of fake tolerance. When there is a wanted poster of a criminal that is shirtless, a male criminal, and if he has male boobs, they will blur it. So to me, that is a metaphor for phony outrage. Those aren't female breasts; they're male breasts, but they have to blur them because they appear to look like female breasts.
Come on,
that's exactly what this book is about. It's about people who know that's not really the outrageous thing, but we're going to pretend it's outrageous.
But it looks a little too much like it.
But we still know that that's a guy. Those are male breasts, but it offends me that it looks like a female breast, so we must blur it. He goes, it's not really offensive, and you know that.
Yeah.
That's the story of this book.
Wow, very good.
All right.
That's a great
very
metaphor,
good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to reading this one.
Very cool. I guess Jimmy's going to be on Red Eye
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
awesome.
I'm trying to
come up with more snacks.
Oh, I'll have a bunch.
He'll have a bunch for you tomorrow.
Yeah. I have.
You should make one and bring it in for the guys.
Well, you know what it is? I'm waiting. I order lima beans because my lima sherbet is very popular. Where it's a warm with hard lima beans inside and a nice lima coating on the outside.
It's weird until you call it a sherbet, but it's piping hot.
Yes.
It's really weird.
Yeah, that's the irony of it.
It tricks little children who want to eat it quickly.
Mama, me man sherbet.
And it's a terrible thing. Lots of hospital visits because of your lima bean sherbet.
And New Year's Eve, I will be in Buffalo at the Helium Comedy Club.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You and me both. And my new CD, which was taped in 2007, is called No Baby for You, and it releases the 11th of December.
Great.
I'm now on Netflix by 1 hour special.
Greg Gutfeld, The Joy of Hate, available now. A lot of people talking about it. It's just one of these. It's a great book that is honest.
It's timely.
And it's shit you don't see these days.
And it's
like
funny.
It.
Greg's a brilliant
calling
writer.
out these the fake outrage.
Yeah.
It's outraging.
Wait. That's funny.
What?
You fucking did your own thing.
I did my own thing, yeah. I have plugged my own book.
He's got Dennis Miller talking about the book, Ann Coulter, a bunch of other guys, and then Greg Gutfeld talking about his book.
Yeah, I for
funny,
one,
man.
did not recommend
Has anyone
it.
picked up on that yet?
Nobody has because nobody ever reads those. So that's why I did it. I just decided to put myself
You
on
know
the
how
back.
books have the quotes from all these people? That's really good. Bravo to you, sir.
Thank you.
Also, let me see here. My brother obviously is telling me to plug our gig.
When is that?
I don't know, but I got a lot of Atlantic City tweets in the way here that I was supposed to. I was supposed to actually. Let me load earlier. Oh boy. Oh, is that it?
What is
there
it?
There it is.
That's in December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay though, because people can go to 89 northmusicvenue.com. 89northmusicvenue.com. We're at 89 North in December on the 23rd. Rotgut,
night before
To
Christmas
You,
Eve,
and
Journey.
the Journey cover band. Yeah,
Actually,
almost
Journey. Journey's stopping by.
It might as well be.
Yeah,
Awesome.
They're better than Journey.
Yeah, check it out.
I got to go because I'm doing Stuart Varney in 15 minutes.
Ooh,
So I got to run.
Stuart Varney.
Fox Business.
Okay.
Fox Business.
It's across the street, but I got to run down and put on some makeup.
All right. Our show is over.
Greg, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow.
See you
Don't be a
tomorrow.
stranger.
I won't. I'm always around.
The Opie and Anthony Show is pretty much over. The show will be available later today with SiriusXM On Demand. After O&A Live is next. SiriusXM. And now, the Opie and Anthony Show continues. This is After O&A Live. Here's your host, Sam Roberts.
That's my name. It's After Opie and Anthony Live. Phone number to call is 866-WOW1-WOW, 866-969-1969. If you call and you just start hearing the show, it's because Sal's in here cleaning up the studio, and I put you on hold. You don't need to get scared and hang up. People do that all the time. Just because I don't talk to you right away doesn't mean I'm not going to eventually. Big show today, and I'll tell you why. Number one, always great to hear Mr. Greg Gutfeld on the radio, host of Fox News Red Eye. You know, we get to, the hardcore O&A fans that pay attention to everything that the guys do. They get to see Greg Gutfeld quite a bit because Norton will be on Red Eye, Anthony will be on Red Eye. You know, he's associated with the show in that way. But he's not on our show all that much. And so it's always nice to see The Joy of Hate is the name of the book, which, again, it ties right into the show. As Ant said, if anybody can sympathize with that, if anybody, empathize is the word I'm looking for. If anybody understands the joy of hate and what it is to just spend your days hating, it's Anthony. As he said many times, he actively looks for things to get him upset. They hung up. They got scared. See, normally I can put somebody on hold and then I can pick somebody up and real quick put them on hold. But if they hang up immediately, you get the dial tone. But yeah, and it's also always good to hear somebody who's on television talk about the things that we talk about, because normally the people on television can't really point out the hypocrisies and the bullshit that happens as far as being politically correct and thought policing and chasing people for apologies and just all the nonsense that happens on all these TV shows and that all these pundits do to everybody who's on the radio or anybody who's expressing an opinion anywhere, whether it be on a comedy stage, regardless. Anybody who's expressing an opinion gets thought policed by these pundits, and it's awesome that there's one guy who's actually on one of these news channels that will come out and say, yeah, you guys are right. It's bullshit. That's why I wrote this book. That's why I'm not fighting the system. I'm trying to get in and change it from the inside. That's the way you got to do it. Like, what's his name in Homeland? He's not trying to blow up the country. He's trying to become the vice president and then blow up the country. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the show yet, but that's kind of the crux of the whole thing. So yeah, it was great to hear Greg Gutfeld again on the radio, and then the big comeback to the Opie and Anthony show that everybody's been waiting for. They've been asking for the last 365 days, what happened? Where did he go? I've been dying to know what he's up to. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it, this will be the show that you want to catch on the replay. This will be the show that you want to download on the SiriusXM.com on-demand feature or app or however you listen. This will be the show to save to play for your grandchildren, because today was the return of Bobo. The return of Bobo finally to the Opie and Anthony show. The triumphant return, I should say. And boy, did he return. He made it clear that he would like to be on the show again. And Travis was right. Travis said, welcome to the phone conversations we have in our office all the time. This kid, I don't remember how he ended up getting our office phone number, but Bobo, he calls our office constantly, and he says, it's been a long time since I've been on the show, and we go, yeah, it has been. And he goes, well, I really want to get back on. And every time the follow-up question is, okay, Bobo, well, what do you want to do? Well, what do you got for the show? Well, what do you want to come on and do? Like, for instance, Greg Gutfeld. If he had called up and been like, hey, guys, I really want to be on the show, we'd be like, what do you want to do on the show? He'd go, I want to talk about my new book. We go, okay, Greg Gutfeld, you're in. That sounds like a good appearance. And it was. Bobo, on the other hand, and maybe he doesn't have quite as much to promote. Maybe he's not quite the cerebral guy that Greg Gutfeld is. But Bobo, on the other hand, calls up and he just wants to be on the show. And I can't imagine why, because every time he's on the show, somebody comes up to me and says, it's really not right the way you guys abuse him. It's not fair to him. He doesn't know any better. But then he calls every day that he's not on the show asking when he's going to be on the show again. We'll go to area code 347. You're on After Opie and Anthony Live.
Sam.
Yeah, buddy. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm one of these people that, I work in a gas station. I've been working here a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'm in the booth and I'm doing my thing. I'm either listening to Opie and Anthony or I'm watching something on my iTouch, and just for whatever reason, like when people pull up, it becomes an easy reason to hate them because they're interrupting what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if like a girl pulls up with a BMW on the full serve side and I see her, and once we connect eyes, it's just like instantly like cunt.
You think people? Okay. Like you're saying that you work in a gas station and you'll see women and you'll instantly think they're cunts?
No, if they pull up on the full serve, because then they interrupt me and I got to come out of the booth and help them.
Well, isn't that your job? Isn't that what you do?
I got an even number, right? No, you could get gas on any pump you want. Oh, yeah, if it was odd and even, I wasn't sure. No, it's not odd and even, sir. Yeah, whatever you want.
Is this guy a cunt?
Yeah, you.
Are you mad at that? What is this, gas station radio? I can't put up with this anymore. 606, you're on After Opie and Anthony Live. You're on the air.
What's going on, Sam? It's Stumpy in Kentucky.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I learned something kind of cool today. I learned that any topless photo of E-Rock needs to be blurred out because it's offensive.
Well, you can't show titties everywhere. You know what I mean? You can't. We were going to send E-Rock down to the Today Show, but we didn't want an FCC violation against us.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah, that was cool. The Today Show. It's so weird. Like, the Today Show decides, so they played the clip of when Opie and Anthony sent a woman down. It was like the year 2000, I think they established. But they sent this chick down, and she's wearing a WOW sticker, and she goes outside the Today Show on NBC, and she flashes them titties. Because that's what WOW is all about. And when it happened, the Today Show was completely outraged that anything like this could happen. Like, why would they do this? This stupid radio prank. There's no place for this on NBC, the National Broadcasting Company or channel or whatever that C stands for. There's no place for that type of nudity on our channel. So then you fast forward like 10 years later, and they're just like a little side note as they're doing a story about nudity in San Francisco. Hey, you guys remember when there was that girl flashing her titties outside of our studio? Yeah, you were upset about it. You're all smiles now? You bullshitters. We will go to area code 205. You're on After Opie and Anthony Live.
Yeah, hey, Sam. I'm confused. Why are we rehashing what happened on Opie and Anthony? I'm here for my new and original Sam Show content.
So we've gotten to the point that the after show is actually getting complaints when we recap after.
Yeah, it's annoying. I heard that already. I want to do something new.
All right.
Monkey dance.
All right, let's do something new then. You're right. I'll dance for you. That's hilarious. I used to get shit for it. Well, I will say, I don't know where Roland's at, because I want to talk to him about how he feels. Opie came on the show this morning and said, and I'm trying not to recap the show. I don't want to upset anybody. But Opie came on the show this morning and said that Roland needs a show. Now, the food court I thought went well, but we're now at the point where people are taking his recommendations for restaurants and demanding more Roland. I don't know if he's comfortable with it, because he was very scared going into food court, if you remember. That was the show that was on Saturday, which, by the way, both Roland and E-Rock shows are on demand right now on the SiriusXM website. You just go and you go in the worst of Opie and Anthony on demand section, whatever it's called. But you can download the shows that way and listen to them whenever you want. But I would love to hear what Roland thinks about the fact that Opie wants him on the air regularly. John in Texas. John, you're on After Opie and Anthony Live.
The great primetime Sam Roberts.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Carly Rae Jepsen won an award. Since you did actually make her who she is, when is your award coming?
It's amazing to me, John, and thank you for the call. It's amazing that after all this time, I mean, you talk about original content on After Opie and Anthony Live. We sat here, Troy Kwan, I don't know if we've ever said his real last name on the air, Troy Kwan and myself sat here and broke Carly Rae Jepsen to the masses. Before us, it just wasn't happening. It wasn't working for her. Justin Bieber was trying to push her, and it just wasn't happening. For whatever reason, she wasn't clicking with the audience. Rebecca Black, you threw her on YouTube. She clicked right away. Thanksgiving Girl, phenomenon. Psy, Gangnam Style. He's dancing with MC Hammer now, all because of this internet. Carly Rae Jepsen needed a little something else. She needed radio play. She needed to get famous the old school way. She needed to find a young disc jockey that would take a chance on her record, Call Me Maybe, and introduce it to the masses. And what happened after Opie and Anthony Live met the challenge? We played the record for the first time in a major way, let's be honest. It was here and there before that. But we played that song like 9 times on one show. We got it in all of your heads. That song wasn't stuck in anybody's head until after Opie and Anthony Live happened. Now, not only is Carly Rae Jepsen not thanking this show when she goes and accepts the award for Best New Artist at the AMAs Sunday night, we still haven't even gotten her in studio. We haven't even gotten the chance to talk to Carly Rae Jepsen. Now, I know that she knows this because she's following both me and Troy on Twitter. So she's heard all your tweets saying, listen, Carly Rae, we all know who's responsible for your fame. If you could acknowledge it, we would appreciate it. Be honest to your fans. But she doesn't do that. She just sits there, you know. And Justin Bieber thanking the haters. Get out of here, Justin Bieber. See, Justin Bieber will thank me, but Carly Rae Jepsen won't. It's ridiculous. Michael in New Hampshire.
Hey, Sam, how's it going?
I'm pretty good. How about you, Michael?
I'm hanging in there. We're almost Thanksgiving. I had a question. The other day you guys were talking about in studio about, like, annoying people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And specifically, you talked about that picture you took of yourself, and you're like, yes, you're the only person that ever made the mention of Sideshow Bob.
I remember.
Is that the most annoying thing that you find that people, like, keep Twittering you about and, like, keep retweeting you and stuff like that, or is there something else that's more annoying?
Well, I don't know if it's if there's anything quite as repetitive as that. And people really, like, I'm starting to get tweets now where people search my app mentions and then they go back and apologize because they didn't realize how unoriginal and overdone the Sideshow Bob comparison is. Like, yes, I understand my hair sticks out in every direction. I've realized that. For a long time, it was pulled back. Now it sticks out in every direction. This isn't a surprise to me. It's not news to me. And so, yes, I understand that there is a visual similarity to Sideshow Bob from the cartoon The Simpsons. It's been pointed out to me a few times. I got it. But still, every time there's a photo of me or a video of me going up, what is that, Sideshow Bob talking to that girl? No, it's not. It's me. I think you know that by now. Why would Sideshow Bob have the Twitter handle @NotSam? First of all, Sideshow Bob is the color yellow. Second of all, he wears a green skirt made of leaves. Third of all, he plays a slide whistle. Anthony can play a slide whistle. I have no idea how they're played. The similarities between me and Sideshow Bob end at the hairdo. And that's something everybody's got to realize, that joke has happened. Like, everybody's got to just come to terms with the fact, even though you thought of it and nobody told it to you, you guys have got to come to terms with the fact that it's been thought of. Like, a lot of people already thought of it. So when you're tweeting going like, this will be a good one, it's been done. I don't even know what the thinking is behind somebody who's like, you know what? I'm going to respond to Sam's Twitter, or anyone's Twitter for that matter, with something insulting, but I'm just busting balls. I don't know you. I don't need you busting my balls. Like, I've never actually read something that's insulting about me and being like, good one. I've always been like I always click the name and say, he follows me. What a fucking idiot this guy is. Every time. Especially the Sideshow Bob ones. What's up, Troy?
People that listen to this show that want to fire insults at us, they use a few words too much.
Like what? What's the word?
Douche is the word that everybody tweets.
I always find that they tweet whatever Jim Norton says.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whatever insults, like, AIDS, for instance, is mentioned quite a bit. Like, it would drive me crazy to be Jim and know that every time I come up with something original,
everybody steals your humor.
Right. There's 150,000 fans that are tweeting it out to everybody you know.
Right. And when they're in their little small towns tweeting what Jim has said or talking to people,
right,
like using some of the same jokes that don't listen to the show, it's like, okay, cool, you're funny. Oh, that's just a funny joke, because they don't listen to Jim.
Mm-hmm.
But when you tweet people that work on the show the same jokes.
We work on the show. Like, we know Jim.
Yeah.
We heard where you got it from.
Yeah. But douche is the one that everybody has to always use the word douche when they tweet me as an insult. They can't think of anything else to say.
Because douche is like an easy one.
Right.
Douche is like something where, like, I could just say, well, I don't like Troy, and I don't know why, so I just write douche.
Right.
I get douche a lot, too. Because that's just an easy, without adding any descriptives after it.
Right.
Like, you could explain what makes
it doesn't really require too much thought.
No.
And then all you do is you take something that they've talked about on the show, like they say, oh, you're a hipster. So it's like, shut the fuck up, you hipster douche. And I literally see like 50 tweets that say that exact same thing.
Because Opie and Anthony and Jim have gone to the effort of assessing your personality and what you look like and making judgments on that.
Right.
Once that's done, a lot of the people on Twitter will just be like, oh, that work's done. I'll just use that judgment then.
Right.
And then it can be my opinion, too.
Right.
Like, luckily somebody's made an opinion for me, and I don't have to use my brain.
But they're completely wasting their time because everybody is saying the same thing, so I'm not paying attention to any one of them.
Do you block them or just ignore?
Sometimes people will just keep going, and I'll just be like, oh, who cares, blocked.
Yeah, like,
I'm
tired.
Like one insult, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's the same way I am. Like, for the most part, I don't do a lot of blocking, but there'll be some, like, I will, like, sometimes click the name and see what else they tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And if, like, I'll see people who literally just start Twitter accounts to bust balls with people who are on this show, and that's all they do.
Right.
Like, I just go through their timeline, they're going, at Anthony Cumia, underage girl joke, at Opie Radio, whatever, shitting on the beach, or YouTube joke, at Jim Norton, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just like, well, I'm going to block them, because, like, that's all that they're here for.
And what do you think that is? They just need some sort of connection with those guys?
I don't know. Like, we have phones. We're such an interactive show. But you know what? Like, if you do, this is what is crazy to me. Nobody on this show has ever blocked somebody for being like, good job today. Or like, hey, that was really funny when you did that. Like, if you want to establish a connection with somebody on the show that badly, just mention something you appreciated that they did, and they may even tweet you back, oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've tweeted back, thanks.
Sure.
But I've never tweeted back like, that really hurt.
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't said that. That one hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny to get for people that actually get into Twitter wars with people you don't even know who the fuck they are. It's just like, you look at this guy, it just looks sad.
Yeah. Well, that's what I never understood Roland, like, the amount of emotion that Roland puts into these Twitter wars, and the amount, like, people sting Roland when they start tweeting him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, for me, I'm looking at him like, you're just another
you're-
scroll.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. But there are, like, for some reason...
But that is funny when Roland does it.
I mean, it's funny, but it's dangerous. Like,
Why
he
is that?
goes way over the top.
What are they going to do? No one's going to do anything.
No, but it's like, I mean, I don't want the karma of, like, wishing retardation on children, and...
He's not worried about it. I don't think he's worried about that, though.
He doesn't. He has karma doesn't...
I don't think that even, like... I don't think karma is even in Roland's vocabulary whatsoever.
He doesn't...
It just doesn't...
Is
No, it doesn't
that
even-
a restaurant? No. Okay, no, I don't understand what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Like, he knows serendipity, but that's because it's a dessert place. He doesn't understand the idea of, like, serendipitous things happening.
Right.
He knows that they make great floats and great sundaes.
Yeah. I think Roland likes a lot of, like, instantaneous gratification. Like,
He's not-
that's more important.
He's not a spiritual guy.
No, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to feel good right now.
Right.
Like this insult, firing this back at this guy that said something mean about me. Like, I got you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then the guy stops and he's like, I won.
Right. You will have pain. Oh, good for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is very definition of bad karma.
But that doesn't matter.
It doesn't, and
Nope.
you don't even know the definition.
No.
Kevin according to Sal Bouston, Bousteen. Is that Houston or Boston?
Both.
A little something from both. Mr. Across the country, Coastal Kevin.
South the worst.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, you know, one of the things that you can always tell with these listeners that like the Jim Norton, you know, slip in a puddle of AIDS joke, he hasn't used that joke in probably 7 years.
Because he knows it's like, okay, that's been done. Like, Jim, if you watch his stuff now, he's developed and he's moved on, and he's gotten, you know, he's talking about things that are relevant today, and he's actually he's grown as a human being and as a performer. Whereas these guys are like, puddle of AIDS. I get it, because AIDS is bad, and a puddle is like a puddle. Right.
Well, and it's the same people that call in and, you know, happy birthday, Jimmy. I mean, just stop already.
Knock it off. It's so funny. You know what's funny to me? When people call up and say, good morning, boys. And you always hear Opie, Anthony, and Jim go, ugh. Like, every time they're like, ugh.
All right, punch it out. Have a good day, guys.
All right, thanks, buddy.
And he just did
Wow,
it.
yeah.
And he just did punch it
Punch
out.
it out. It's
and it's
hard.
like, dude, where do you draw the line? And
How
the
do
other
you-
thing is,
Yeah.
what's the other one that everyone always says? Long-time listener, first-time caller. Who cares?
Now, Sal,
Who fucking cares?
You have taken, in the recent history, probably the most shit. Because what happens is whoever's taking shit on the show at the time takes the shit from the audience, which makes sense. I mean, the audience listens because they like the show, and that's just where they're going to go. You take a lot of shit on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even... What's your Twitter name?
I'm Sal617 on
Yeah, I
Twitter.
guess we should clear that up. I'm not Sam. You're Troy Kwan, Quan, and you're Sal617.
Yes.
So you take a lot of shit.
Yeah, some of it's really funny, though.
You like it.
I will admit, some of it's amusing, some of it's retarded.
All right, well then keep it coming. We'll play a game called Make Sal Laugh, and you send your most horrible, nasty
hurt
tweet.
Sal's feelings.
Or hurt Sal's feelings, yeah.
Because
Hurt or help.
I guess it's not working, so you guys need to try a little harder.
Right, either try harder, or if you just want to make Sal laugh, because you like him, now you know what makes him laugh is if you send terrible things about him. So either way, just the worst possible things you can imagine.
Yeah, I just, you can't let it affect you personally. It's because I don't know these people. I've never seen them, you know.
Do you block people?
Like, I will say any Angry Panda thing gets blocked. But if it's funny,
Is that what
I'll
happens
usually
when you make the panda angry? He blocks you.
That's true. And then, but yeah, like sometimes they are they actually have a good take on it. So that's when I'll respond or I'll retweet or something like that.
What's the good take to have? Your production stinks. That's
Yeah.
the take, right?
Yeah.
Bob in Texas.
This show is kind of have a cult-like following, and we can all tend to be, well, fat, unoriginal. And, you know, when they call in an attack, we go after the attack rather robotic-like. You
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, I don't mind the attacks so much. Like, the attacks are always funny because you just see the same things over and over again on somebody's Facebook page. Like, I like the attacks. I'm more talking about just the day-to-day, like, this is what you're spending your day doing. Like, it's not like when we're like, okay, we got this Facebook page and everybody as sort of the O&A community is going and attacking that Facebook page. Like, we can all laugh at that. Like, that always ends up being funny. I always end up feeling somewhat guilty, but it is always funny when people band together and they start posting the pictures and everything. I mean more just like just spending your days doing it. Like, just I'm tweeting something like, hey, I just posted a new video on YouTube. And then somebody's like, oh, you're Sideshow Bob with AIDS. And I go, all right, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I'm not laughing because I've heard it before.
It's just easy for us to all be a bit unoriginal, though, because this show is it's like a damn religion for me. I've been listening to this fucking thing forever, and
I respect that because, yeah, before I got here, I mean, I was listening to this show since high school. But I'm telling you, if you want, like, you could just be like, hey, you're on our team. This is what we like. And then when we attack, you know.
I just find myself easily slipping into the insults that I hear on the show.
Do you do it in your personal life too?
Oh yeah.
You should have seen
people. And in Texas, people look at me like I'm from fucking Mars, and I love it. You know.
It's funny because Jess, my wife, gets so frustrated whenever anybody makes a show reference, because it's been her, obviously, because she's not a fan of the show. Like, she didn't listen. She had no idea what Opie and Anthony was before she met me. And it's just inundated her life for 7 or 8 years, however long it's been. Like, it's been all encompassing because I work so much. And so she goes crazy whenever anybody in her personal life, like, at our wedding, our DJ happened to be a big fan of the show. And we didn't know until a week before the wedding. Like, we didn't get a deal. We didn't hire him because he was a fan. But he just happened to be a fan of the show. And, like, we told him, like, to the point where a week before the wedding, we're having, like, the last sort of music meeting with him. And I sculpted the music at that wedding. I wanted to make sure the music was right for the whole crowd. And music is important at a wedding. It gets the mood. And, you know, you also have to remember, like, you got this one table with, like, Troy and Roland and E-Rock and Monica and all these people. And this is, like, the young table, right? So they're going to want a certain music. But then you got 5 tables of old people. So you got to make sure everybody's satisfied. So I'm talking to the DJ about all the music I want played. And Jess is there. We're Skyping or whatever. And the DJ goes, and, you know, I was just thinking, just a shot in the dark, you know, because I just found out where you work. Do you want any, like, Drew Boogie remixes thrown in there? Yes. And I was like, I guess I'll leave work at work this time. You know, I love Drew Boogie. I love what he does. It's hilarious. But I don't think I need it at my wedding. At my wedding day. We'll probably leave work here, and then I'll go get married. And then he goes, oh, okay, I get it. And Jess goes, no, really, like, I really don't want any show references. He goes, okay, yeah, I got it. And she goes, like, professional. And he goes, right, no problem, Jess. I'm on top of this motherfucker. So we get to the wedding, and I don't know if you caught this, Troy, when you were sitting there, but right before we walk out, so we're standing right outside, we're about to be introduced into the reception, Jess hears the DJ. And I don't know if he thought he could slip it in because we weren't in the room yet, but it's on a microphone. It's a PA system. We're going to hear. The DJ goes, I did want to say one thing before we introduce the bride and groom. Happy birthday, little Jimmy. And Jess looks at me. She goes, did he just say happy birthday, little Jimmy? And I go, just relax. We're about to be introduced. Just be cool. I swear that'll be it. Like, she was about to flip out right before we walked in.
Yeah.
But then that was it.
Yeah. I did hear that, actually. And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, dude, really?
Like, you don't want that here.
Yeah, like, why would you do that?
Like, I love the show. I love Jim.
Sure.
Love Opie and Anthony. Love all the references, but I don't need
the
that.
The temptation was just killing him.
He was. You could tell,
he was
right?
waiting for the right spot. I bet you had butterflies doing it. And he was so nervous, and he's like, I got to do this.
All right. Sam seemed cool, but Jess seemed a little like, she was very particular about this. But they're not in the room right now. I haven't introduced them yet, so technically, this is my room right now.
Yeah.
They're not in here yet. Before the bride and groom get introduced, this is my audience, right?
So why do you think that happens? Like, what do you think he's just like, I have to show off for these guys, or do you think I want them to talk about this the next morning on Monday?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just like we're very close to the show, so we don't really relate to it the same way because this is a huge show, and people love it the same way you love your favorite band or whatever. Like, that's how I felt about the show before I got here. When I was in high school and stuff, like, I listened to the show religiously. And I came to high school every day with my friend who also listened to the show, and all we did was talk about the show. We did jokes from the show, and we sang songs from the show, and we did all that. So I understand it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, by the way. But I think it's just like, you know, when your favorite band's around, you want to acknowledge that you want them to know you're a fan. And it's tough to just be able to go up to them and be like, hey, I really like what you do. Like, you want them to know you're one of the next level. Like, I'm really a fan.
Yeah, but don't people realize that's creepy? Like, don't they realize that it's a lot cooler to just, for that person, for Jim or Opie and Anthony, just to be like, dude, I've been listening to you for years, man. It's an honor for you to be here.
It's a hard line to draw. And honestly, like, playing devil's advocate for this guy, like, how many people that he thinks are cool, like Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton, do you think show up at weddings in Bumblefuck, Connecticut? I don't even remember the name of the town. Middletown, Connecticut. There aren't a lot of celebrity weddings going on up there. So when Norton and Opie and Anthony roll in, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, shit.
You think it'd just be cooler just to shake their hand and then try to get a picture later?
Yes, it would be cooler, and I would have no problem with that.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes you get excited.
Sure.
You know, you're a fan.
Yeah.
What
I
can
get
you
it.
do?
And now people are tweeting me nice things, by the way. Which
They
I
are?
appreciate. Yeah.
But I do love the listeners because they're all just like fake nice things.
Yeah.
Really like you, Troy. Really appreciate what you do. Just don't be an asshole. Yeah, Anthony in New Orleans.
Good morning, Sammy, the king of the after show.
What's up, buddy?
Troy, I want to stop all the hating here. I actually want to thank you for my autographed Jesse James book. And I was also wondering, do you have any more wonderful things to give away?
What do I have? I don't know if I have anything right now.
Actually, I'm going to hang up on Anthony because Joker is on the phone. And Joker got all pissed at me. And this is a legitimate tweet. I read your tweet, Joker. He got all pissed at me because the day we were giving away a Call of Duty game, I think, I didn't answer his call. And he was like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, Joker, I can't take your call every time. Like, I went to a call and it wasn't yours.
Right.
What's up?
Joker's gotten stuff before, too.
Well, this is his problem. Joker, explain.
This is it. Hey, Troy.
Yo.
First off, let me explain. I am an Uber fan, Sam. I have followed you since the day you showed up on that show.
You're the
I
man.
watch every show you have. Every show. My problem is, Troy, you had a signed Motley Crue Nikki Sixx book. You have to understand that back in the early 70s and 80s, my brother and I opened for Motley Crue all over Southern California. We opened for Van Halen. We opened for White Snake. We opened for all the big bands out there at the time.
Now, let me ask you this, Joker. Do you now, are you bitter that nothing happened with your band, or are you happy to have the life experience?
Oh, no, it's great. It was
okay.
wonderful. It was the best time of our life. We were young. We were getting high constantly, party every day.
Fucking lots of bitches.
I would imagine.
It was awesome. It was absolutely.
You ever see Tommy Lee's dick in person?
No.
I've heard it's very big.
I've seen the video. It seems to be.
Were you ever, when you watched the video, were you like, oh, fuck, I could have seen that shit in person? What?
Yeah, I could have hardly wait to touch it.
Or like, that could have been me. Why is that not me?
Oh, yeah.
I could have been honking the boat with it.
Do you have a Tommy Lee dick, Joker?
Well, it's not a Tommy Lee, but it's definitely impressive.
You could have been fucking Pamela Anderson on that boat.
Oh, then I could have had all the fucking diseases.
You could have been getting that hand job while they were driving wherever they were driving to.
Anyway, Sam,
and then it could have been Joker Goes to College, the failure of a reality show.
Anyway, Joker.
Anyway,
we went off on a tangent somewhere.
Yeah, we had that book. Troy was sending it to me. Somewhere along the line, it didn't show up.
What?
I don't know why. I don't know how. And Sam, I talked to you on your Sunday show.
That's right.
And your instructions to me were, hey, call me on the after show. We'll take care of you. So that's why you got a phone call about the game.
Yeah.
Because, hey, that's great for my grandson. That's wonderful for my grandson. And according to you, all I had to do was call you.
I don't know why that book would have it was sent out.
It was definitely sent. We send everything.
Oh,
all right.
I know.
I'm going to put you on hold. Sal, take down Joker's information, and we'll send you something or other. Okay, Joker? We'll send you something good.
All right. Sounds cool, brother.
All right, buddy.
Thanks.
See, Joker's a good guy. Like,
Yeah, he is.
I like the people who call up regularly and contribute and everything. And I don't like the people whose names I just see on Twitter. Like, when I see some, like, I met somebody when we went to I worked one of Jim's comedy shows because Club Soda Kenny couldn't go. So I worked the merch booth and, you know, timed him and everything. And I went up to, like, somebody came up to me and he goes, Sam, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm always tweeting you stuff and trying to get you to block me and you never have. And, like, in my head, I'm just going, this is a fucking asshole right here.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, that's, like, what type of fan are you? This is an asshole in front of me.
Yeah. I was DJing once, and this guy came up to me, and he said, he's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Big fan of the show. I was like, oh, cool, what's up? He's like, can I take a picture? I was like, yeah, fine. And then he was like, oh, you blocked me. I was just kidding around with you. I said something, and you blocked me. I was like, well, don't say stupid shit.
Right, I'm not going to unblock you.
And he was like, yeah, can you unblock me? I was like, I don't know who your name is. And he tried to tell me. I was like, I won't remember that.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Some guy who works here, like a couple weeks ago, was like, oh, Sam, I was listening to the show today. It was really funny. I go, oh, cool, thanks. And he goes, yeah, when they were making fun of you. I go, oh, cool, thanks. And he goes, yeah, I love when they make fun of you. And I'm like, are you trying to start shit or are you just saying that?
Okay, if you just punch him in the face.
I should have.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Spit on him. Like, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I love? When you get kicked in the fucking gut. How about that? How about we both end up happy today? Bobo?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, just like to thank you guys. That's all.
Now, were you feeling triumphant with your big return to the show today?
Yeah, I was kind of feeling sort of triumphant when I called in.
That's good.
Hopefully.
That's awesome. I just want to get that information out there. Dave in Connecticut.
Hey, Sam. How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy.
Hey, I don't know if you've caught this. There's a couple of show references, since you're talking about show references, on WWE over the last couple of weeks. The first one was probably, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, with JBL and Josh were going back and forth trading insults on SmackDown, and Josh says, or JBL says to Josh, yeah, well, you called 911 for a flat tire.
I did hear that, and I saw some stuff on Twitter about that. Josh Matthews, the commentator for SmackDown, he got made fun of for calling 911 to change a tire. And I'm friends with him, so I texted him. And I go, like, what the fuck? Did you hear that on the show, or did that actually happen? And he goes, no, dude, I called 911 to change the tire. So now, I got, when Josh is back in town, I got to get him on this show so we could just do the 911 tire show.
Yeah, that would be a great show.
Who else has done that?
Nobody else has ever
I got so much shit for that because everybody was like, who the fuck would do that? This dude on TV, on wrestling, he did it.
And if you remember, JBL was on the Opie and Anthony show just before he went to do his hike of Kilimanjaro.
That's right.
And you guys talked about Opie telling you, yeah, well, you called 911 for a flat tire. So you know he picked it up there.
Maybe he did. Thank you, Dave.
And there was one other
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. There was one other one, I think it was like 2 weeks ago on Raw. Mick Foley was talking to The Miz, and he walked up to him and said, oh, by the way, Amy Schumer says hi.
We played that on the air. That was funny.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
I texted Mick after that, and he said that was absolutely improvised.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He just added it in at the end. That was very funny.
Okay.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Take care.
All right. Dolph Ziggler is a wrestler. He fucked Amy Schumer. He dated her, but they also had sexual relations, for sure. She talked about it on Howard's show. I did want to play this. Yesterday, Opie played his new thing. It's up on YouTube, YouTube/Opie Radio. His prank call that he did for Dr. Steve, because Dr. Steve, and if you're listening, you could call up if you want to, but Dr. Steve has been doing this weird thing. I played it on my birthday. He's been calling me and leaving me voicemails in character. And I don't know what the character is, but it freaks me out that a doctor who prescribes people medication is calling people in character. But this was, let's play this first. This was Dr. Steve, yeah, we'll play it from here in a second. Dr. Steve does a show here on the channel called Weird Medicine. It's a call-in medical show. It's pre-taped, but he tweets out the phone number when they're taping it, so you can call in and do live calls. I think Dr. Steve is probably his Twitter. But this was Opie, and you could go to YouTube and watch it. Opie Radio on YouTube. This is Opie prank calling Dr. Steve.
Ronnie from Charlotte, 516 area code. What's up, bro?
Big fan, Dr. Steve. I lost a corner of my jaw.
a big fan of your show.
Thanks, dude.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a rash that goes from my wrist all the way up to my elbow.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Okay.
And a friend of mine said that it could be a form of syphilis, and I find that weird.
Okay.
I haven't had sex in quite a long time because of my medical condition.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out if the rash is and if it's possible that it's some kind of syphilis.
Okay. Now, what's your underlying medical condition? You're having some difficulty breathing, so what's up with that?
It's not that I had difficulty breathing. It's that I lost a corner of my jaw.
Okay. Okay.
And it just makes it difficult to talk.
Okay. No problem, man.
I could breathe fine. It's just that I have to hold my jaw in such a way.
Yes.
So I could talk.
Okay.
So I don't want to because it is quite painful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't talk any more than you have to, bro. Here's the thing about syphilis. Let's talk about it because.
But I really want to know what this rash is because, like I said, someone says it could be a form of syphilis.
Right.
But I haven't had sex in quite a long time, but I mean, we've all heard it to get syphilis from a currency, so I'm wondering if it's possible that I got this rash and it is syphilis without having sex.
Yes. Okay. Here's the story. Syphilis can have late manifestations. So syphilis is like Lyme disease. You get an early rash, which is called a chancre, which is usually a painless nodule on the penis or vagina that will divide and divide again. So it'll be one nodule, then it'll be two, and then four, and then it'll just go away. And then you have this latency period, just like you do with Lyme disease as well. And then you have the tertiary phase where you can get a rash, and you can also get what's called neurosyphilis, which is where the bacteria starts invading the central nervous system. Now, and no one can tell just by looking at it. I mean, they got poor Ronnie out there, and he's already having a rough time, and then some guy goes, dude, that rash on your elbow could be syphilis. Come on. You've just got to go to your doctor and let them do a test. It's a real simple blood test, and if the blood test is negative, you don't have syphilis. And then they can go ahead and treat whatever the underlying problem actually is.
My friend said that it could be related to the fact I took a lot of baths.
Now, your friend.
Syphilis outbreak.
Okay. Stop listening to your friend.
Yeah, stop listening to your friend. Just
ask us.
Just stop listening to him. Go to your doctor and get checked out, and let me know what they say. Okay.
No, he's not messing with me. He actually said that it is possible that you could dry out your skin by taking too many baths, and that could have somehow caused a reaction.
That could cause a rash, but that could cause a rash, but it's not going to cause syphilis. So anyway, all right, man. Hey, email me, and if you want to continue this conversation at weirdmedicine@riotcast.com, and we'll go from there. And I really appreciate you calling, Ronnie. You're a good man.
Okay, you guys
I'm thinking he was for real.
I do. Yeah, I sort of get, but it's close.
At first, I was like, so it's that fine line between is somebody messing with you or are they for real? I think Ronnie was for real.
So there was no fine line there, Dr. Steve. It was Opie. And he called you up asking if he had syphilis or if he was taking too many baths. There was no fine line. Although Opie did a good job disguising his voice. I mean, you'd think that after Ronnie, where did he say he was from?
It was like Charlotte, or I missed the beginning part.
But when Dr. Steve, he said like Charlotte or something. But when Dr. Steve picked him up, it was area code 516, right?
Yeah, Long Island.
Right. So the area code doesn't match up at all, and he just kept talking. Ronnie kept talking. I'll pick up the hotline, Sal. Hello.
Yeah, it's Kenny.
Kenny, how are you?
Hi, Sam. I just want to tell you and Troy how much I'm enjoying the after show today.
Kevin from Connecticut tweeted me, and he wrote, "You have sideshow AIDS," which is funny.
No, he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't, does he?
You just mentioned Dr. Steve, and there's another thing that was annoying about him lately.
What's that?
when he posts on Facebook, he's going to record my mouth.
Kenny, your phone's crapping out. If you got to get a Facebook plug out, get it out now. Oh, he's gone.
Club Soda Kenny on Facebook.
Thank
We'll
God
just
for
get
you.
that there, yeah.
Thank God for you. So then...
Thank God for Kenny.
Like 2 days ago, and I never called him back, Dr. Steve, because it was on Friday, Dr. Steve called me and he left me a voicemail. I go, oh man, what's Dr. Steve want? And this was the voicemail that was left for me.
Well, I heard you got to try some pecan sweet potato pie. We call that shoe-fly pie. It's right good. It's tasty. Got to be careful, though, because it makes your blood sugar go up. You know what that pie will do to you. And if you don't brush your teeth afterwards, you might have to get you a cavity filled.
What the fuck is he doing?
Well, I hope you're all right, though. That old shit Paul, he's a big one.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
He can't hardly walk no more because he's so fat, but he sure does make good pie. And I know that y'all appreciated all the hard work that went into that. I know.
He's talking about the pie that he sent.
You think he just does stuff like that because he knows you'll talk about it?
You think so?
You don't shit yourself. Well, if you do, don't fall back in it.
I don't even know what he's talking about. There's a minute left in the voice. There's still another minute to go on it. You think he's just doing it because it's just a cry for attention?
I think he's just like, he'll know that you'll talk about it on the show. It'd be funny if he was doing all sorts of weird pharmaceuticals and starts doing that. I would think that was fucking hysterical.
But I don't even understand the character at all. At all.
I don't think he does.
Is he just doing a voice and then he's talking about shitting yourself?
Yeah, and he just tries to do like weird shit. Dr. Steve's the man, so.
He is great, and his show is awesome.
Yeah.
I told this to Dr. Steve, though. Your show is awesome when you're taking phone calls. Not when you're leaving weird character voicemails for me. Hotline, you're on After Opie and Anthony Live.
Yeah, saying what I was saying, like that.
There
That Dr. Steve is annoying.
Yeah.
Like when he wants people to call into his show, he'll post a number like 1-800-BIG-TITS.
Right? You like that or you don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
Why?
It's very immature. Let him just post the number.
Well, don't you think having a number like that will stick in people's heads a little more?
No. It's a turn-off.
He says...
It's not a right thing.
This is coming from Kenny.
I don't go for that.
When did you become Mr. Class?
Listen, like you said, he's a medical doctor.
He is.
Exactly. And the other thing I want to mention is Troy's mixtape. The latest mixtape, Troy, is terrific.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Kenny, I got to go.
Sam, and you know, your podcasts are good also.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, I'll talk to I'll talk to you later.
Like tomorrow?
Yeah. It'll be tomorrow. I had to hang up on him.
I like that you're now aggressive with Kenny and his phone calls. Because for a while there, you would just sit. He would just try to see how long he could be on the phone with you.
Well, he never stops. He called me on my phone last night, like while I was at home.
Mm-hmm.
It was the longest 10 minutes of my life.
Sometimes I love when Kenny calls. Sometimes I'm really in the mood for it. And there's other times that I'm just like, I can't do this right now.
Because he called me and I missed a call. And he didn't leave a voicemail. So I was like, fuck it. And then he called back later in the afternoon. He's like, Sam, you didn't call me back. And I go, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. What's up? And he goes, well, I wanted to talk to you about the AMAs. It's like the American Music Awards? Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch them. I just read about them. You didn't see Kesha? No. Justin Bieber? No. Rihanna? No, I didn't see any of these people. And it just goes on and on. He's talking about nothing for 10 minutes. I finally had to be like, all right, buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice talking to you.
I love Kenny, but I think he's a little lonely sometimes.
I think so, too. He's got a lonely life. Listen.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
Tomorrow, big party at 675 Bar. It's the Thanksgiving Eve party, 675 Bar, 13th and Hudson here in New York City. Come out, I'm DJing.
That's the night to go out, right?
Yeah, they say it's the best night of the year, and tomorrow's going to be insane.
And you got your DJ gig going at 675
It's going to be a lot of fun. TroyKwan.com as well.
Go check out TroyKwan.com and NotSam.com. And we will be back with more of this tomorrow. Stay tuned for Ron and Fez next, and goodbye.
Opie and Anthony Show is now over. For real this time. Check out the O&A Show on Facebook at Facebook.com/Opie and Anthony. And catch Opie and Anthony live Monday through Friday from 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Ron and Fez are next.
Hey.